Hello and welcome to podcast number 70!
70!
It's our Christmas special!
Woo!
Welcome on in, Iain and Andy!
What's up?
Today we're going to be catching up on the recent film and TV news after catching up on the films and shows that we've watched.
Yes.
In the second part of the podcast, we're just going to free-for-all chat about Christmas.
I have Christmas presents.
Oh, Ian's got Christmas
got
presents.
Christmas
Oh shit, I
presents.
best sort something out during the break.
Oh, yeah, I did tell you.
Did you? I don't remember this. Set me up like a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's what it's done.
And then, of course, in the third part of the podcast, we will be answering your questions. So, starting off, Andy,
Yeah.
where have you been?
Yeah,
You
where's
missed
it been, man? It's
podcast
like 2 months, man.
69.
Fucking, where were you for the...
Oh, mate, do you know
We're
what?
gonna have a
I'm
naughty
devastated.
one.
I didn't get to yell 69 on the internet. I'm
know.
fucking devastated.
I was going to call this one 69 Part 2.
Part
Because
two.
I was
a
gonna,
number that good deserves a second.
I was going to wear my Vikings jersey that got me with 69 on it. I was all prepared. But no, yeah. Oh, okay, so this is our Christmas podcast, and I don't want to fucking bring everyone down, but I'm gonna for a minute, all right, and then we're gonna get back to Christmas. But
Yeah.
2024 has been an awful fucking year for me personally, and like my family and stuff. So we've had, unfortunately, and this is the reason that I've dipped out of the last couple of podcasts and why it might happen. now and
Yeah,
again
you've
in
been
the future,
super busy.
basically,
Yeah.
we've had more death this year than we've had in any previous years. We've had, we've lost, between me and my wife, we've lost a grandparent. We've nearly lost a parent in a very scary moment. And very recently, we'd lost a really close friend as well. That's affected another close friend very, shattered their world basically.
Yeah.
So we've been dealing with that. I've had redundancy scare in work and stuff that I've had to work through. Like, touch wood, that was all right, and I managed to keep my job. And it's just been this relentless sort of attack on us this year. It's felt like, you know what I mean? I mean, we managed to like get a holiday away that was where we had a scare where we thought we were gonna have to come back during the holiday because someone was gonna die.
Yeah.
It's just been brutal. So and I've kind of in the last couple of months come to real. I've been using the word burnout a lot. And I think a lot of people do, you know, you kind of like, you work.
Use
Me
it
and
to
you had a
cover.
conversation a little while ago, didn't we, about just general
Oh,
pressure
God.
of life when you're working, married, you know, your husband a provider. Not to take anything away if you've got a different situation. I'm just saying as someone who's
Just
you know,
life.
married and, you know, you're working to provide for your family and then you've got all this other stuff. Pressure can really mount on you. And
Yeah.
I've been dealing with it by kind of going, like, I've just got to get to the next thing. This
Yeah.
thing's happening in work. Once I get that done, it's all good.
Yeah.
Something else comes along. And then you're doing that thing and you realise that you're just... Burnout's a real thing.
It is.
But this is the 1 year when I've had to actually stop for a minute and call it depression. And that's what I've had.
Yeah. And
So-
the thing with burnout is it catches you off guard. You don't even know
Yeah.
sometimes if you're about to hit that buffer until you've hit it a few times
Because you
and
tell
know
yours-
where your limit is. Yeah.
You tell
Like-
yourself again, I'm just get over the next hurdle.
Yeah, you're like,
The
I'm just
next
tired.
hurdle.
I'm just, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I've just got this. And
Yeah.
you make more excuse. No one makes more excuses for yourself than yourself, you know? And then you have days where you literally can't move. You can't get out of bed. You feel like you've got a fucking kettlebell on your chest or something. Or you just, you know, I've spent days lying on the fucking sofa. I'm always like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
move.
God, yeah.
I don't know what to do. So I've had to try and work on that, you know.
Yeah.
And I have been drinking my feelings, and will continue to do so until New Year's. But
Yeah, it's
the
Christmas.
next year, exactly, it's Christmas. So but the next year is like, let's fucking. A lot of people
Yeah.
do that like New Year, new me thing. I'm gonna do a New Year, old fucking me. I want to go
Nice.
back to 2019, Andy.
Nice.
That's where I want to sit. So that's what I'm going to work on doing. But that means that I might have to I've had to say no to a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
have to
this
sometimes.
we're normally really busy at Christmas. We always joke
Yeah.
about like fitting stuff in like this. It's like, you know, fucking hell, how do we find a day to do it? Like, you know?
I've come to realise organising something like this takes at least, for me, 6 months in advance. I got to take the time to go, okay, right, we're in the middle of August. I've got to think about Halloween and Christmas. So I'll get some plans in, keep people talking, keep them in the loop. And then like 2 months before, it's like, oh, where are you going to be on the 23rd of December? And everyone's
don't
like,
know, I'm gonna be in
I don't
2
know, Ian,
minutes.
what the fuck? I've
Dude,
got so much to do.
yeah.
I'm like, well, let's just pencil this in and we won't change anything. And if something happens, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we're here and we're like, where's the fucking year gone?
Mate, it's crazy. This has been probably the fastest year of my life, to be honest. So that's it, man. It's just like It puts a lot of stuff in perspective for you as well, you know, where it's just
Yeah.
like, what's important, what's not. Like, to be honest, you're not going to hear me fucking spend a lot of energy on stuff I don't like anymore. Like, if I'm watching a movie, if you don't grip me within the first, like, 20 minutes, you probably lost me. I'm just...
Turn off.
I'm like, yeah, I ain't got time
That's
for that
fair,
shit.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still going to hear me talk about stuff I didn't like. We'll get to Joker 2 in a minute. But...
Yeah.
But you know, like, I'm not gonna like fucking rant and rave about stuff like that because fucking life's too short for like stuff that's.
But
that's
contraire,
not,
friend, I want to hear how good Joker 2 was, please.
Is there somebody in the room that liked it?
All right, so yeah,
Well,
right.
before you move on, I just want to say, and also back up what Soldier in the chat also said, that, yeah, big bro hugs to everyone who has had a rough 2024.
Yes,
And
yes.
here is to a much better
Fist bumps all
2025
round.
for everyone.
Too
Hell
right.
yeah. But Andy, Joker 2.
Yeah, on spot, mate.
Yeah, we'll get to some movies that I enjoyed.
Nice.
Okay, so let's look, and again, I'm not gonna fucking see it. Just, you know, fucking run it into the ground.
Please.
We ain't got that kind of time. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't work for me. Okay, so first of all, have you guys seen it?
Yes.
No.
I refused to go see it in the cinema after all of the backlash. And
You were smart.
and then I decided to go see it anyway.
This is the killer for me as well, right? Because we'll come to another movie. Is me and Donna were about to go to Tenerife for a week for a holiday, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I need to go to the cinema. And I wanted to go and watch The Substance,
Nice, yeah.
but I didn't want Joker 2 to get spoiled. So I was like, I'll go see Joker 2.
Fair, yeah.
And I fucking, within 15 minutes, I was like, I wish I'd watched The Substance. As in, at that time, I hadn't
Yeah,
seen it and was like, I
yeah.
really should have watched that. But anyway.
You knew it was a musical walking in.
Oh, no, okay, right. Here's the thing. I mind that, though.
Okay,
Okay,
but
listen.
you knew that, and
I
you
knew
knew
that.
Lady Gaga was in it.
But also, wait a minute. Don't mind that either. I'm going to argue that it's not a fucking musical. But hang on, let me get there. First of all, when they announced that it was going to be a musical, in a way, I was like, that makes perfect sense. The first one's full of interpretive dance. It's almost a fucking musical in the first one, isn't it? You know, so when they said that, I was like, okay, cool. For me, this isn't a musical. A musical is me and you are talking, right? Then I start singing about the thing we were talking about.
Yeah, like Grease.
And then you start singing back to me, yeah?
Yeah,
and then this guy over here who wasn't even in the fucking scene starts
He's
dancing
like,
around us and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and we're all
that's a
singing.
musical, exactly. Right?
Podcast musical.
This was
no,
like
no, I can't.
this
Knees.
was just
My knees hurt.
every song choice apart from being dreadful for me personally, for the songs were fucking shit, were just kind of like you could have just said that. They added nothing
Yeah,
to what
well,
was
it was
going
the
on.
fact that some of
whatsoever.
Joker's songs didn't even have music. It
No,
was just
and
him
oh my
talking
God,
his
on
lyrics.
the bit on the phone, I nearly chewed through the seat in front of me. I was like, just end this.
Yeah.
But the fact that they make them sing badly. Like Lady Gaga can sing. I'm not a big fan of her pop music, but Star is Born's fucking excellent. She can sing.
Yeah, she can
They
sing.
make her sing badly in the real world. Now it's like if you've seen the trailer, there's the sort of fantasy sequence with like Hotel Arkham and stuff like that.
yeah.
If that was every
Musical piece.
it
no,
might
yeah.
have worked, maybe. It at least would have had a better chance because then it would have been a more traditional musical. But
Yeah.
man, you could just tell he just didn't want to make the movie. I mean, the fucking ending alone. He was like, there ain't going to be a third one.
Nope.
But the worst thing it did for me is it just undid the first movie, which I loved. It shit in the first movie's mouth by having him basically come out and go, the Joker isn't real, it's just me, I just did it,
Yeah.
I'm just fucked up.
Yeah.
You know?
So, well,
And
I
there were good parts of it, you know what I mean? So, Nicholas in chat, Tim Dillon, when he was talking about it on Rogan, was fucking hilarious because he plays one of the security guards, and he's in the studio just like, this piece of shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like,
they
he
all
knew.
knew it was
That
on
it.
set.
But I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There were points I liked. It's nowhere near enough to rescue the movie for me, but it still looked great. Like some of the shots were still amazing. I mean, it's kind of like almost like leftovers from the first one.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first one looked really good.
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson can do no wrong.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson was really good in it, and those Phoenix was really good with him.
Yeah.
Them interacting and stuff.
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
he gets too familiar, like clips him around the ear and stuff. I really
Yeah.
like that. There's also a scene in it which is one of the best scenes of the year. It just happens to be swallowed up in a terrible movie, which is when the little Gary is on the bench.
Oh, yes,
and
yeah.
he's testifying with Joker.
Yeah,
as
'cause
the
Joker's
Maker's
now-
cross-examining
yeah,
him.
yeah.
And he's talking about what happened in the first movie and about how it gave him PTSD, and it is
Really good,
amazing.
yeah.
He's such a good actor in that moment. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's one of those where you're like an hour into this movie that's a piece of shit, and suddenly you sit forward like, oh my god, it might get good. It might get good. Oh, he's gone. Oh shit, it's gone back to shit again. Oh damn it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it was like a moment of levity.
So what do you think's missing from the movie? Because like some movies
don't
are
think
too
they wanted to make
obvious.
it.
Yeah.
They're the
It's a
heart
Dude, do you
bad
know
fell out.
what?
story.
It's like you've got
The heart
poorly
fell out.
told.
You've got half of the movie is set in Arkham and then the other half in the courtroom. This could have been fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets what's the
Few Good Men.
no
Yeah.
no
Killer Mockingbird.
No. Oh, what's the one with Edward Norton in where he flips?
Yeah,
Shit,
the
I've forgotten
one. Yeah, the one where he. Yeah, the
God damn
courtroom
it. Chat,
drama.
help. This is why you're here.
It's like First Degree or something.
Something like that. Yeah. So it could have been a mixture of those two. Do you know what I mean? And it just wasn't. It just.
Yeah, I tuned in because
just
I
didn't
wanted the
work.
courtroom drama stuff, and then having the
Primal
the prison
Fear.
stuff.
Sorry.
Primal
Sorry, that
Fear.
just dove out of my brain.
Nice.
So yeah,
It could've been
it
those-
didn't gel.
There you go, Nervo. Primal Fear, exactly. Yeah, it didn't work. So, and another one, I'll be honest, it didn't work. I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not, but I was really looking forward to Long Legs, and
Oh,
that didn't work for me at all.
Wait, I
unfortunately.
think in the last podcast you might have dissed on Long Legs as well.
No, I hadn't seen it. I only watched it fairly recently because I rented it.
Oh
on,
no,
like,
maybe I
Amazon or
was just
something.
talking to you before. And you just
yeah.
But, that's what I
I
did
really
say.
He's
enjoyed
slaying
Long
on
Legs.
Long Legs.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
really
See, this is
enjoyed
the
it.
thing. Is like I liked Nicolas Cage in it. Shame we only got him in 3 fucking scenes.
Yeah, short scenes as well.
This is the hype of horror that I
Yeah,
hate.
it was hype.
Is I mean, I remember seeing a poster for the movie. It literally said "scariest movie of the decade," and I was like, "This isn't the scariest movie I've watched today." Like,
Yeah.
It's in
it
cartoons.
did
The scary.
it just did nothing for me, man. It was like there were some nice shots in it. Don't get me wrong. The people that were like, "Oh my god, you will love it because you love Silence of the Lambs," I'm like, keep that good movie's
That's
name
pissed-
out
that
your
pissed
fucking
me off.
mouth. It's nothing like Silence of the
That
Lambs.
comparison,
Yeah.
yeah, annoyed me as well.
Yeah, I was like,
I
what-
really didn't enjoy the lead protagonist. She had 2 modes. It was one was silence, and the other one was her going fucking constantly. You know,
Yeah.
and the fact they.
was she
I need to
asthmatic?
give it a second watch because
I don't know.
I really enjoyed the cinematography and the
I
shot
thought it had a
composition
great
and the
style.
color grading and it
And
was
no
how it
story,
played with the
and no
shadows. Yeah, I don't know.
they
the
so
plot all comes
overused-
at the end.
It doesn't all. They didn't really do.
Yeah, but like
there
Andy
was so much
said,
they overused the devil in the background thing. It's like it was in so many shots. I was like, it's not even subliminal anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like he's in every shot.
yeah, if a film doesn't
Like-
grab you within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you waiting 2 hours for this plot.
But
reveal.
it is a slow
Same
burn,
With me with
like-
Yeah, I don't
same
mind
with me
that.
with
I just don't think the
Audition.
payoff was enough.
Like, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
I what else to be? What was good? Okay, all right. And again, just to keep it sort of up to date.
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine was fucking excellent. I think
Fucking
I
Oh, hell yeah.
talked about it before, but I watched Terrifier 3. It
Okay,
was a Terrifier movie.
it was a Terrifier movie.
So
There was.
I was like,
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to.
I wanted to watch. I mean, I rewatched the first 2 because I was going to rewatch just the second one.
It was a Tuesday afternoon. Andy's like, let's
No,
watch
it's Halloween.
Terrifier.
It was on Halloween.
Oh, right.
As in, because something funny happened because I was in the middle. I was watching it on my tablet. They were both on Prime. I was in the middle of watching Terrifier 2, and obviously I was on my own because the girls were out. So I'm periodically opening the door to little kids. giving them
Yeah,
sweets.
yeah.
So I'm watching it on my tablet, walking around the house. So I'm just like pressing, putting it down. I didn't press it at one point and just put it to the side. Open the door, and all you were like, fucking scream. And these 2 little girls dressed as witches looking at me. I'm like, ignore that. How'd you go?
Like,
Sorry, but
sorry to just go on tangent, but would it be wrong to have that set up in your
Yes.
front door porch?
Yes.
You know the shot from the first movie where you just have like a hacked girl, but it's like it's made out prosthetics, and people come out like trick or treat. And you're like, look at this shit.
Guts dripping from the walls.
The thing is,
Alright.
the only reason I really rewatched it is because I was like, okay, so if I'm going to watch the third one, obviously this one's been massively successful. And don't get me wrong, like I love the fact that it is successful. I love
Yeah.
the fact that he's kept it. Damien Leone's kept it. He got massive offers
Yeah,
to give
to
it to a
sell it.
studio. He went, nope, I'm going to do it my fucking self.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's paid off. That you can see he took on too much because of they were ripping pages out of this script, and you can tell when you watch it.
Wow,
But
okay.
he's done really fucking well, so I'm super psyched for him, and I hope that I said to you the other day, I was like, we're gonna get 10 of these, and I'm fine. with
No,
it.
I said because I'd read an interview with him on the last podcast, and he said he's got an idea for like 3 more movies, but he's aware of the criticisms that his Terrifier films are too long. So he said, okay,
And no
I
plot.
will cut some of the stuff out and make it 90 minutes. He thinks he needs to
Yeah, see,
adhere
that-
to
that's
a
the
normal
reason
horror.
Yeah.
because when I was only going to rewatch the second one, but when they both popped up, Terrifier 1 is like 80 minutes long.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it's really tight,
ooh.
really hard to
I was like,
The
fuck yeah, I'll
second
watch
one
that.
ruins it by becoming 2 hours long, and then the third one's almost 2 hours
It's
long.
not
as
even
well.
so much the length of the film; it's the length of the scenes.
Yeah.
which I'll
Yes,
get to.
that's
which is
what
the problem.
drives,
So,
yeah.
But the reason I rewatched them is I was like, right, Terrifier, there's not really a story in Terrifier, to be honest. But in the second one, they obviously try to drip feed a little bit of lore. And that's what horror movies are all about when you've got a big franchise, about the fucking lore of the characters.
Yeah.
I love Art the Clown. I think Art the Clown is fucking awesome.
Me too. I think
love
he's an
his
icon
report.
of
I
horror
think
now.
He
yeah.
is. He's probably the only true 21st century icon of horror when you think about it.
Considering all the remakes and
Yeah.
regurgitated ones.
It's
nice
there's
to have
not
new
been
one.
a lot of new ones.
Yeah.
It fucking gave us an amazing song and video by Ice Nine Kills. That was
Yeah,
fucking baller, that song. That's been on my playlist all year. But I wanted to like, come on, let's pull some fucking story out of this. And it's so drip fed in the second one, and they continue to drip feed it in the third one, that I'm like, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough story. No. So I watched the third one, and I mean, I enjoyed it. For what you enjoyed. Look, there were some great practical effects.
Yeah,
so good that Tom Savini even turns up.
Yeah. There's a lot of like is it Clint Howard and there's so many other faces.
It's almost like a legacy horror movie.
Well, the guy who plays Michael from Lost Boys was her dad.
That's right. Yeah.
They even called him Michael in it. Well. So I was like, that was quick writing. But you know, I wanted to see more of that, of the like the story of like, oh, so she's like the fucking angel to his demon and blah blah blah, and you got more demon possession going through this and stuff. But again, it's not enough. They don't give you enough.
Well, we said it, didn't we? This guy has to maybe go off and make his make another movie with a really good story,
and make that
a success, so that Terrifier
Damien
isn't the only
Leone
thing.
may be being tapped for a Friday the 13th remake. So he said he wants to do Jason for a new audience. Terrifier style.
Do you know what's good though? No, but that might be good for him as a director to work within the studio system
as well. Yeah.
Because this one, you can tell they bit off more than they could chew a bit with this one, I think. Because I mean, look, all the kills are fucking grotesque.
Yeah.
If I talk to people in work, I'm like, oh, are you looking for Terrifier? Like, yeah, I love gore. I'm like, oh, you're gonna have the best time. Like, this is gory as fuck. But
the chainsaw kill's not as good.
No, but here's the thing: is every time there's always it's the bedroom scene, it's the chainsaw scene.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I'm like, in the second one, I thought the kill at the end with the girl that he throws the acid with, I was like, that was way more fucking brutal. Probably because the bedroom scene goes on so long that it ceases.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes comical at the end.
Yeah.
In this one, the chainsaw scene, the scene with the rats, it all goes on. You know what I mean? Like, a little too. It's still amazing. It's still impressive. Don't get me wrong. I thought the most impressive kill in the fucking third one is when he scalps that dude.
Yes,
I was like, that looks so real. I was like, are we absolutely sure he didn't fucking scalp him then? Like, it's
he pushes the envelope though. He pushes the envelope though. Like that whole Christmas sequence where he goes in and he drops the bomb among the kids. With that kind of stuff happening in the media,
but they played that. They played that just right, I think. Yeah, you're right, because mate, the opening scene where the little girl, I was watching it going, "Oh, are you about to turn me off this movie? Because I'm not watching that." And they don't. They show they show enough to keep you like, okay, we know what happened, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So I thought they walked a really good line with that. It's the stuff that they cut that would have added to it. I mean, there's just bits missing from the movie. So she's like, the whole thing of like, the jump is kind of like a bit weird. Like, ways, I'm just going to sit in this chair for 5 years.
Yeah.
So you have time to go through trauma counseling.
Yeah.
That seems to be the only fucking reason. And then you've got, is it Sienna, the main character? She comes back and is talking about all this.
Yeah.
And she's like, she figures out, I've got to get the sword that's left at the old, Terrifier.
The magic angel sword that she uses.
So she's got to go back to where this happened to her as she's been dealing with all this trauma counselling. That's going to be, it's all right. In the next scene, she's back. She's got it. And she's fucking gift wrapped the cunt as well. I was like, where was that scene?
Yeah.
You know? And then, get spoilers, by the way, sorry.
Spoilers. If you haven't seen Terrifier 3 by now,
it's so strange as well. There's no reason for him to turn up at Jonathan's university.
No.
He just rocks up there.
Yeah.
For no reason. Then Jonathan is maybe, we're led to believe, killed off screen.
This is the brother,
the brother. He's killed off screen and he's brought back.
And then when him and Vicky
like,
go... but when they go to the house and get Sienna, I was sat there going, why didn't you just do this? You could have done this already. What was all the other shit for? You could have just gone here and done this.
They had to bring out Jonathan at the table and go, look, we killed your brother.
Help himself.
But I at the same time think they added and wasted the whole Vicky stuff. You know, this is a character you.
Well, again, I think they drip fed it.
Drip,
it's not enough.
Mate, drip fed. You're fucking you're parched from basically because it's like this is the girl from the first one who's now giving birth to his head in the second one. And in the third one, spoilers, she does that crazy thing with that piece of glass.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
And then move over Regan.
And then she's dead. And it's just like, what was the whole point of having that there other than
Again,
to elongate
it was showing the whole demonic possession part of it, wasn't it? I suppose
Absolutely,
that was a little bit of growth. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm
shouldn't
agreeing
she
with you.
hate him for what he did to her sister in the first one?
Fuck that! What he did to her?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the point.
But
It's not her, is it? She's
possessed
possessed by a demon.
now.
But
Yeah.
I mean, look,
demon?
the fourth
We
one
don't
is.
know.
Well, we're going to find out because the
But
fourth
as soon
one's
as you
going
know
to be
a
in hell,
demon's
isn't
name,
it?
you render it
Look,
useless.
I mean,
You
me and
weaken
Andy
it.
said, like, what they should do in the fourth one is that she goes to hell, because at the end of the third one, there's that whole
Yeah, the kid gets sucked
portal
into
and
the
stuff.
or comes
She
out.
goes to hell, and you're just going to have that scene from Spawn, where it's just like shit ton of
art
Clown.
art
Really
clowns.
bad, like,
But
yeah,
they're
that'd
all
be great.
different art, the clowns, every single one is a different
Oh,
one.
so like
Every time-
Deadpool.
PlayStation
Yeah,
2.
so
So it'd be like the Deadpool
So
scene.
every
where
time
it's
one
like a
dies,
Welsh art
one
clown
will come
and
up.
stuff.
There'll be a fat art. There'll be a thin art. There's just thousands and millions of arts. You have to fight them. But she manages to get out in the fourth one and avoid the portal, and it closes behind her.
No, I mean I'm all for it, but
But
I
she
just
gets
I
back
got
to
to
her
admit, I openly was like, right, I'm not gonna just watch this to be the gore movie because I like the character so much, and I really enjoy the actor's performance because I think he's an amazing performer.
He's a great
that I was
one,
like,
yeah.
come on, give me something.
Make me
And
laugh.
they just didn't quite with the third one, but
I don't know. He still delivered the laughs and the gore. So for me, it
delivered
won.
the movie he needed to.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad it did well. Do you know what else it did, which is fucking adorable? This
Adorable? Terrifying, pretty
this made my
adorable.
mate.
I've got to hear
mate,
this.
This did my heart good. So
Okay.
in the States, a movie came out alongside it. Something about a robot, the good robot, the something robot.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It was a
It's come
Pixar
out.
movie?
the
Oh,
same-
yeah, the good
an
robot.
animated
Yeah,
Pixar
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
right? Had massive uptick. Did more than they thought.
Because people bought tickets.
Because teenagers that were underage were buying
Were buying
tickets and
tickets
then
for that.
sneaking in,
Sneaking-
and I was like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that with New Nightmare. I
Yeah.
bought a ticket in the Odeon to see like Mighty Ducks 2. or
Ian and I
something,
were talking about
snuck
In a
to see
review,
New
it
Nightmare.
was Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
and
there was a film out. Was it '98? It was
Was
Mr.
it
Bean and Starship
Troopers,
Troopers.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Mr. Bean did millions and millions and millions.
Yeah.
And Starship Troopers didn't. And it's like there's all the kids went and brought Mr. Bean tickets and went
Mate,
and watched
that's
Starship
awesome.
Troopers.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
awesome because I was like, we did that.
Yeah.
In a way, it's
Yeah.
like we've all as much as we've like. Because don't get me wrong, all the hype around it. Oh, people are fainting. I'm like, no, they're fucking.
No,
shut the
fucking-
fuck
Yeah,
up.
I kept
Like,
saying that. I was like, that's just marketing. We've been hearing
but
that
in a
since
way,
The
I'm
Exorcist.
like, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm waiting for like this generation gets to maybe go through like a video nasties that we did.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
try fucking someone telling you couldn't watch something because you haven't
Right.
had that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
So you know, it's a Terrifier movie. You got what you fucking expected.
Yeah. Just got a
Much,
3 on the end.
much fucking better movie that I watched. I gotta admit, for me, was The Substance. And I
Yeah,
watched
I'm
this
glad.
last
I'm
week.
glad to hear you say this.
So I haven't watched Heretic yet, and I know you're
Okay.
going to talk about it.
Yes.
Unless Heretic does something spectacular, I think The Substance was my movie of the year.
Yes.
We're a month away from deciding on this.
I haven't even thought about my list
Yeah.
until I watched The Substance, and I was like, I'm not sure
Mate,
what beats
When
that.
the substance finished for me, I started my list.
I would.
Now I know I'm working backwards.
The crazy thing is, I wikied both those movies,
Hmm.
and after reading the plot for Substance, I was like, that smashes Terrifier 3 out of the water for being so
Oh man, from a
original.
filmmaking
every single way,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Listen, dude,
Yeah.
there's the best compliment I can give The Substance. It actually does a lot of stuff in a movie that would actually put me off a movie. Like, this is gonna sound so stupid in a way. I'm not a big fan of like really gratuitous nudity in a film that I'm watching. I'm like,
it was
I am
important
if I'm
in this
watching,
film, though.
It was.
Yes.
I'm like, there are films for that.
Yes.
And I'm watching them for that, you know. So when I'm watching an actual film, I don't need. But oh my god, yeah, it absolutely was right. I'm not a big fan of like really like agenda-heavy movies, but it worked in this one. The fact you've got like Demi Moore stood in front of a mirror, completely naked, in her 60s, looking
naked?
amazing, completely naked.
Really?
Completely
Demi Moore.
Mate, and this is the thing, she looks incredible. She's
Yes.
got an amazing body. Never mind for a 60-year-old. Fucking there are 40-year-olds,
Yeah.
30-year-old women looking at her going, wow.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
She hates herself because of the character
How
she
many
is.
times do we see in a movie? Great example, we were talking about Rocket Man. Right?
Yeah.
Taron Egerton playing Elton John.
Yeah.
Elton John is a right ugly bastard. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think it's shocking. Taron Egerton is a really good looking dude.
Man, you
It's-
can't,
yeah.
you can't
It's
say
hot.
that,
He
man.
played Eddie the Eagle, for God's sake.
He play Eddie. He made
It's
Eddie
Hollywood
look
ugly,
cool.
isn't it?
Yes,
Right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
that joke
Hollywood
of like,
ugly.
we want to tell you someone's unattractive, but really we're going to use someone that's attractive. In this, it's perfect because that's the point. Is she's been pushed
Yeah.
to that
I
point
loved it with
of
Demi
the
Moore,
system
yeah.
where no, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Somehow all that
it?
And she could
they
relate
even
to that, hasn't she?
Of course you could, but the fact
films
that
would say, we're not using you, Gamey, because of the way you look.
Yeah.
And so now she's playing that character.
definitely, and you've got the fact that again they could so easily fall into you're just being a pushy agenda of like nothing's good enough for women, but they have like another male character in the film who is literally like the rest of us going, oh my god, you're gorgeous, I'd love to go on a date with you, and when he kind of arranges that, he's so happy that this woman who he thinks is a goddess is going to just meet him for drinks, and she's looking at the other version of herself and she's like, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The body horror
it's haunting.
Insane. This movie has stuck with me. That's why it's
the
so
reason.
good.
with him,
Me too. It's the only film this year that I've watched that stuck with me, and that's why I rate it so highly, because I keep
literally in bed
thinking
this
about
morning
it.
running it through my head. Oh, don't get me wrong. The last 20 minutes is ridiculous.
It is, but it's because you are so ingrained in those. You're invested and ingrained with those characters because they feel believable, even though they're making choices and decisions that will hurt themselves in the long run. They know it. We know it watching it. But because of the way the characters are so strong, you believe it when they make those stupid choices.
There's so many like nods to like Kubrick. Like they literally like what was it? They just steal fucking camera angles. There's one where she's like in the bathroom,
yes,
and she's hitting the door, and it's the exact same shot as Jack when he's like trying to break through the door. The carpet, obviously, in the hallway.
I think the substance also affects older people more than the younger audience because of obviously the older character you're relating to,
the
way that they feel, the way that the world looks at them. So then they become younger. But younger people could watch the substance and be like, "Oh, I've been thinking about that. I've been wondering about if I should inject myself with that weird shit just to make myself look more youthful, and maybe I should not."
Mate, I love as well how like the whole thing is like. So I talked to a friend in work who watched it, and he said to me something. He's like, "Do you know the only thing I didn't understand?" He said because it's got a little bit of Death Becomes Her vibes as well, right?
Yes.
But he said he's like, they never like. She doesn't have to pay for it or anything like that. And I went, no, it's an experiment.
Yeah.
She's an experiment. That's the point.
I
said, why do you think there's only a few lockers when she goes in?
And the numbers reduce as time goes on. It's like, what happened to all the others?
It's like they're gathering data.
Yeah.
Because do you know what the other proof of that is as well? Because again,
this is a good film.
Not a plot. It's not
film.
even a plot hole. So a friend of mine gave it. I said, no. They did it because they wanted them to. They give you the activator, right? Which is basically you do this and out comes your perfect person, right? Says on it, one use only, because later in the film you find out what happens when you don't. One use only, yeah? They give him a fucking vial of it. It's like, it's one use only, just give him a little bit. Don't fucking leave it there.
No, you've got to grow this
fuck it. Like, you know, so.
thing.
But again, that's like, no, because they're trying to, like, is some fucking idiot going to do this? Like, spoilers,
But but that's what I liked about the film as well, that it didn't show who this company is, what their ideology is, what they're after, what they're trying to achieve, their agenda, anything. We don't know why they're doing it for free. It's an experiment. But they have like nothing to do in the film other than be on the phone sometimes, be like, just follow the instructions. The instructions were clear. No.
Oh god, we're not budging. Like, she's done this. Tough shit. Click.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, how good was Dennis Quaid in it as well?
He was a monster.
Grotesque.
Yes,
everything in this movie is grotesque.
And
she's cooking a meal,
and
it's vile.
It's the extreme close-ups, and that's what matches, like the extreme close-ups of female parts, the curves and everything, and then the extreme close-ups of the food, of the eating, the fly on the back of the head. So it's gross in both senses.
Yeah, not that I've seen it yet, but like with the description of the close-up sequences of them eating, does it feel kind of like a Cronenberg 70s kind of 80s Rabid style?
Yeah, it reminds me of like 70s. Existence in a way, you know.
That's definitely. It's like when they go through the process, it was like The Entity.
Yes,
like Like, so there's loads of images. Someone asked in chat about it being on Prime. It is on Prime. You can literally rent it for like $4.99.
Yeah, or just buy it on
or
DVD.
you can get a free trial to like Mubi, whoever made it, and watch it.
Okay, nice.
Like, I just rented it because I was like, okay, cool. But
buy that recommendation. Buy it.
It's got to be the movie of the year for me. It was so fucking good.
It's very likely.
I love movies that are like out of time because it's kind of modern day because of smartphones and flat screen TV. But our fucking apartment is so 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's not a real place because. I mean, I kind of laughed because I was like, "Why would you put the billboard right in front of her fucking apartment? Who can see that? Like, other than her?"
Yeah, film logic.
There's a lot of like '80s decor and stuff, so it's just out of time. It doesn't really give it. The fact that the TV show she's working on is like a workout show, you're like, that's not on TV anymore.
Right,
like, you
morning
don't do
aerobics.
That now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just don't watch morning TV anymore.
I haven't for a long time had a fucking movie that's thrown message after message after message at me, and I've been like, yep, ping, ping, yep, get it.
Nice.
Phenomenal movie. Absolutely loved it. I hope The Heretic's good, but I don't see it beating it. So yeah. Do you know
Right
the
on.
only other thing I'm going to tell you real quick because I missed because it made me laugh and no one else has pointed this out to me yet. I watched Beetlejuice 2 with the girls.
Okay.
I took them to the cinema to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, it was fine. That's my review.
It was fine. Yeah.
So the casting and everything they did with it, like you've got obviously. I thought Jenna Ortega was really good in it.
Yes, yeah.
I thought she was actually probably the best thing in it because I expected her to just be Wednesday and phone it in because she could have got away with that. And she didn't. Do you know what I mean?
She can be Jenna Ortega.
And I liked that they took the head off of fucking Charles because fuck that actor.
Right. I was so glad they kept
I was like,
the
fuck, he's a
character.
gross piece of shit.
but
I don't want him
screwed
near
over the
anything.
actor.
Yeah. Here's the one that got me though, is in a movie. Okay, so Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
is-
Small cameo.
Yeah, but he's-
I know. Actually, no. He's
No,
a bigger
he's
point.
actually
No, I
a
was thinking it was
point.
DeVito.
Yeah, DeVito's a
DeVito's
cameo.
a cameo, yeah,
'cause again, with Monica Bellucci, she's like, I get it. You've got to put your wife in a film, but every time it cut back to her, I kept going, oh, that's right, she's in this.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with
But that was my annoyance was that her scenes just repeated every time she turned up. She did the exact
Oh, it's
same
just her
thing.
walking and doing the thing.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah.
But Willem Dafoe plays an actor
Yeah.
who died due to a prop malfunction
Yes.
in a film that's a sequel that used to star Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
That happens, and I'm like, I'm looking around saying, are we doing this? Is no one else getting this? This is kind of fucked up.
I really
Jessica's like, shut up, Dad.
I really wanted to buy. I really wanted to buy Linda Beetlejuice because we did a Secret Santa at work, and luckily I work with my wife in the place of work, and I actually got her name. So
Out of what, over 100 people?
I think it was out of like
Fuck's sake.
10, 15 people.
Okay.
We had this like app thing we were allowed to sign into, and Linda's name came up for me, and I was like, well, it's on a Friday, so I'll just buy her what she normally buys on a Friday: bottle of wine, some minstrels, and some chipsticks. And funnily enough, that all actually came to £10, which was the limit that we had.
Nice.
And then I thought, I'm going to go get Beetlejuice. So then she can take the film upstairs with her wine and chipsticks and chill on the Friday. And they were all sold out. I could get Romulus up the ass. But Beetlejuice, nope, couldn't find it anywhere.
Damn. Well, I guess that one sold better, or...
Maybe.
Definitely at home.
It did well.
Definitely at home.
I think it did well, didn't it?
It did well. Yeah, it did well enough, yeah.
It was a weird film. Like, do you know what was weird is the fact that they allowed it one F-bomb and then bleeped a second.
True.
I've never seen that in a movie before.
What,
so
were
I understand the fact of like if you go over one F-bomb, you'll hit a 15 rating.
That's
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
PG
so he does
is the first one.
one F-bomb that flies. I mean, there was one in the first movie,
Right,
Yeah.
like on the
Nice
train
fucking
tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
photo.
And then at the end, when she bursts through the door and he's like, what the fuck? But they bleep fuck. And I was just like, why don't you just say something else? Right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
It was
weird
very
for-
strange.
It's weird for a film to actually still use bleep now.
Yeah, I was really spun out. I was almost like, hey, I paid my money. I want to hear, hear my
like,
fuck.
Who's bleeping my
You
movies?
have, you have to buy a whole new unrated cut.
Well, the kid wouldn't have been able to go, I guess. Like, technically. But well, I would have taken him, but still.
Anything else, or should we let Gary just whiffle?
Do you know what? Real quick, I fucking bought and loved Space Marine 2. I didn't buy it,
Nice.
actually, I got it for my birthday, so
Yeah,
I didn't pay
Space
for it.
Marine 2.
Been loving Space Marine 2. And same as you, I bought 2K24 WWE.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
It was 20 quid on Black Friday.
That's
night.
Oh
right.
man, the controls on that is fucking sick.
It's really good. It's got... As someone who's played a lot of them, it's got all the same problems that they never fix. But anyway, whatever, it's minor stuff. The showcase of WrestleMania mode is so much fun.
It is,
The transition between live footage and
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's absolutely stellar, and it's what you buy the game for, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, that was what I got
yeah.
excited for when they announced it. It was 40 years of WrestleMania. Although, after having finished the 40 years of WrestleMania, I would like to say 2K24, fuck you for your bullshit advertising, because it was actually less than 20 years of WrestleMania, because there's a whole bunch of WrestleManias that don't even feature in the game. Not even a single event match from one of them.
This is the problem
So I was
that
a
I
little
have
bit
with
upset.
it, right? Is because I literally rewatched the main events of WrestleMania this year, both of them yesterday, back to back,
Nice.
just while I was cooking.
Okay.
And obviously they're advertising 2K24 during those matches, and I'm like,
Sure.
this is the thing. This is the problem is the games are always out of date as soon as they land.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it only goes up to WrestleMania 39 with Cody failing to finish the story, as it were. And it was like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
good would it have been to then play that now? They could have very easily
A DLC drop.
a DLC drop to that,
Yeah.
but they're nope.
Nope,
Because you're
new
going to
game.
buy that in the next game in 2K25.
Yeah.
For a game that was selling 40 years of WrestleMania when they
Yeah.
only had
39
39
of them.
years.
Yeah, is bullshit.
was fucking
And the
nonsense.
fact that they only include 20 of them is really frustrating.
Think of it.
It's weird as well. Sorry, how they kind of go. Oh, we're going to give you like 2 matches from this one WrestleMania,
Yeah,
but then
right.
skip
And
the
skip
next
the
2
next
years.
three.
and
You're
you're
also
like,
not
why?
gonna you're not gonna buy the next wrestling game anyway. You'll just stream it through Netflix.
Probably. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. Yeah. But still enjoy it for what they do.
Yes.
Technically, it's
Yeah.
I'm still
very
enjoying the game
I-
though. Yeah.
When I came over to play it with Gary, I was just like, he was talking me through the controls, and at first you're like, okay, yeah, that's grab and that's punch and stuff, and then I started to play it, and it's like I'm playing a normal arcadey kind of wrestling game, but the graphics are so nice and the controls are so fluid.
It's
that
really
you're
responsive,
just,
yeah.
You're pulling off all this chain counter
Mate,
wrestling.
when you start countering each other and stuff,
Yeah,
it looks.
and
It
then
looks
they'll-
good.
That look like
Yeah.
a real match.
the
for a
little
little bit
mini
there, yeah.
games start happening, and so you're already
Yeah.
doing it. And I've even said it for a couple of months now. I've been watching pay-per-views, and when the wrestlers are coming to the ring or they've walked down the entrance, there's this filter they put over the camera.
They use 8K cameras now.
Yeah, which makes it.
That's why like Roman Reigns is like, why is a god on TV right now?
It also looks like they've got this pre-recorded, so then they can apply it to the next game and say, right, we want the intro of them walking
Yeah,
down
to match.
look just or as close as it can for that.
Oh, it looks
So
amazing
like,
as a
even
game,
when
yeah.
Gary was playing it, he was just like, I don't know half these half of these roster, but I'm playing it so well that you get behind
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
camera
well,
and you start playing.
Or you
with
can be
them.
like I do and go to the online mode and be like, Attitude Hero. I'm just going to download all these wrestlers.
Yeah.
I know all these.
Oh, it's an amazing created
Yeah.
community, isn't it?
There is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. There's some
thousands
brilliant
of them
stuff
on there.
that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you'd be like, oh, I want Godzilla today. Click. Lovely.
Yeah,
Like, you
I've
know.
had Freddy versus Jason, Alien
Yeah,
versus
man.
Predator,
It's good
Ian
stuff.
versus Art the Clown,
Yeah.
me versus Adam Sandler.
That was a
like
tight
I'm having all
match.
my dream matches.
That's a time
So-
out.
That's
I just
awesome.
steal the pin on that one.
yeah.
That's the only thing that I have with it. I have like it's literally the only game that I have to play on the hardest difficulty. Because otherwise, I'm just so used to the counters and stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you learn each move that you're like, as soon as you throw that kick, Sean, I'm gonna counter
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
you know the timings,
So I have
yeah.
to play it on legend, otherwise it's like not a challenge.
Nice. Well, I've only got a few things to catch up on this
Nice.
month.
Yeah, sorry, I just took like an hour of the fucking podcast.
No, that's fine.
Like,
Yeah, we're almost on the
That's
second
why we
one.
got you in, fucking.
Yeah, it was
Jesus.
nice to have you catch us up, Andy. But yeah, I had PC Nightmare issues moments after, like within an hour of playing the Thing remastered. So I'm only about an hour and a half into the
wait,
remaster.
Sorry.
you played this yet?
Sorry, fuck you. I knew you were fucking gonna come at me with that fucking shit. Fuck everybody. No, not fuck everybody. Fuck. I don't even want to
Fuck
say
Nintendo.
Fuck, I don't
Right.
even want to. No. I don't even know whose fucking fault it was.
I got a
For
phone call
fuck's
about this.
sake.
Right?
I mean, how
you
does
got
the
it yet?
fucking game? How does the Thing remaster get fucking advertised for fucking every fucking single console in the whole entire fucking world? It gets announced for fucking Steam, PlayStation, fucking PS5, fucking Xbox fucking X, fucking Switch. I was watching it for fucking weeks. I'm like, why the fuck is it not out on the eShop yet? How is everyone
Man,
talking
you dropped
about
more
how
fucks
they're
than the Limp
fucking
Bizkit album in that
pre-ordering
first 10
that fucking
seconds.
shit? And then fucking, I'm sat there waiting. Oh yeah, you just fucking wait for this fucking PC Gamer Award thing to happen, and it's gonna get announced during the fucking PC Gamer Awards. And when it gets fucking announced, it'll go fucking live, and everybody will be able to fucking buy it.
Wait,
And
you
I'm
telling
like,
me you've not played Astrobot?
fucking, I don't know how, but it goes fucking live for fucking everybody in the fucking world, and not me. How the fuck does one game not go out on the European Switch fucking eShop, and I have to fucking wait till December fucking 30th just
the
to fucking
demonetization
buy the
again.
game to fucking play it? Like, how the
I'm
fuck?
just saying, that was really easy. Man, I set you off like a Christmas light.
Man.
That
You
was
did, yeah.
really easy, that was.
Fucking, I just couldn't believe it, man. Like, I don't even want to fucking blame Nintendo.
You called me.
Because it worked.
played it yet?
It worked for
Coming back-
the
I was coming back
American
from the gym, I was like,
fucking
what's
eShop.
happening?
Like everybody else in the world other than Europe seems to have got the fucking Switch version of the thing game, and I have to wait till December 30th. But I'll get
Might as
it.
well wait till next year.
It's fine. I'll get it.
There you go,
Everybody,
so 2025 will be better than 2024.
everybody
off the bat.
else has played it, and they've completely. Well,
No,
other
I
than
haven't-
Gareth.
No, I
I've
didn't get to
done,
play
yeah.
it because my PC had an absolute
Yeah.
meltdown and erased absolutely everything on the hard drive.
You did, yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I've had no
yeah.
time where it's like I downloaded that fucking Indiana Jones game when it dropped day one.
Nice,
Like, the other
yeah.
day, Don was like, "Oh, how's that game?" I'm like, "No idea. I haven't had time to play it."
Yeah,
Like-
same. That it's what Indiana Jones is a game I'm looking to play over Christmas. The Thing I probably won't get to play now until the new year anyway. But I got to play it for an hour and a half, and I loved it. The first thing you'll notice when you play the game is just moving the analog sticks and how responsive your
Nice.
character moves and how he
Yeah.
aims.
Oh, that's good.
There's a little bit of extra auto aim because the things move pretty quickly and
Yeah.
he sprays bullets so quickly. It's just like blah. but it feels like they've tightened the controls. Graphically, when you look at it, you straight away still like PlayStation 2 game. Like, that's not going to change.
Yeah.
However, it does look much better than I remember it. So it is an improvement in terms of some of the lighting and some of the textures. They said they weren't going to be able to, but they did fix one of the problems of like, hey, I've just found a medic. Hey, I'm going to give you a hypo test. Oh, you're not the thing. Excellent. Follow me through this door. You walk through the door. He walks through the door and then goes and turns into the thing. You're like, I just tested you. How did you get infected from here to here?
Yeah.
But they've implemented a system now where that character will walk through that door and then be like, I can't take it. And kill themselves.
Yeah.
So I like that they don't just turn into the thing unexpectedly when you've just tested them. So it's not a major fix. Although, interestingly as well, The Thing 2 had a year of pre-production before they got cancelled and the studio was shut down.
Yeah.
Now that this Thing remaster's come out and it's already doing particularly well, they might end up dusting off what they had started for a Thing 2 game. So there's hope alive that we may actually get its follow-up, and it will be a modern game.
I trust Naughty Dog.
Sets a fire under the Thing franchise again.
hell
And Damien Leone gets to direct the studio.
Damien Leone fucking Thing. That'd be amazing.
Can you imagine your head
tentacles coming
exploding
out girls' vaginas and bits everywhere.
Yeah, the Thing's just going to have the Art the Clown face at one point.
I was going to say the fucking dog just turns up with the Art the Clown face, and everyone's like, that's weird. First time he gets to talk, he's like, rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Well, going back to, we were talking about Batman earlier, or the DC Universe. I had been asked many, many times to watch The Penguin. You guys know I wasn't big into the Batman film. And so after being nudged and prodded a fair few times, I got around to watching The Penguin. It was created by Lauren LaFranc, and it stars Colin Farrell and Kristen Milioti and Renzi Fellas. And it follows the events of Batman from 2022 as Oz Cobb, the Penguin, makes a play to seize the reins of the crime world in Gotham. So, like in the Batman film, I thought the Penguin was already established. This Penguin show is an origin series. It's one season, 8 episodes. It is the origin story of the Penguin, and it is one of the best TV shows, if not one of the best things I've seen this year. I was reserved about watching it, but by episode 2, I knew it was good. By episode 3, I knew it was amazing, and beyond that, it was next episode all the way to its conclusion. One of the best, most well-written shows of the year, and I hope, because the Batman universe is still Elseworlds of the new DC that's coming. I hope that this Batman world does still get to flourish with the strength of that writing. I hope they don't get pillaged and picked off elsewhere, because
I like that they followed the film as well. They were like, it was straight after the film, and then it was him.
I like that we got to see the repercussions of what the was it the Riddler?
Yeah.
The Riddler
the
did.
flooding,
Yes, that's right,
the no man's land part
That's right,
of it, which was really cool.
So that was really, really well
Paul
done.
Dano. Yeah, Paul Dano.
Yeah.
You say about like when you ended up watching it all the way through. Because I was away in Tenerife when this sort of dropped.
Yeah.
And then all the episodes were out when I got back. When we got back, for whatever reason, the entire household came down with a horrific gastroenteritis. Dude, I was both ending it. Is all I'm saying. But then the girls got it. Like, thank God we didn't get it all at the same time.
Triple ending.
So I had it for a couple of days, and then the girls were sleeping upstairs. Like, my wife and daughter were just in my bed. I was like, look, I'll sleep downstairs. Anything you need, I'll come and look after you, because you've just done it for me for the last 2 days.
Nice.
So I ended up, I think I'd slept so much I couldn't sleep one night, and I ended up just staying up for 24 hours. So I sat on the couch and was like, oh, all the Penguins dropped. Now's the time, and I just watched all the episodes. I think maybe the last one hadn't dropped or something, but I watched literally the entire thing all the way through, and I loved it, man.
Yeah, me too.
The family, that's always been my favourite part of Batman as well. It's been like the crime families. When you read those, like I think it's Jeff Loeb, the long, Halloween and stuff like that. That series of like 3 or 4 sort of like graphic novels in a run. Has always been my favourite. So brilliant. Clancy Brown.
Oh yes, yeah.
Was fucking awesome. I know that they did. Obviously, they changed actor for Falcone, didn't they? Because they brought in Mark Strong.
That's right. Yeah.
To play, but he was great. I didn't really see a divide with that or anything.
No.
And like we were saying before, the fact that they were like, this is about the Penguin. It's like, oh, who else is in it? No one.
Yeah.
There's a setup for Scarecrow, but it's like, no, we're not going to flood you with a load of other like villains.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Which is hard to do because obviously I think it's fair
It's
to say
whole
that
diverse
Batman's
city.
got the best rogues gallery. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Agreed,
let's
yeah.
shove all these awesome characters in, but they
No,
don't
give
do
them
it.
space, give them time,
man.
focus.
That's after watching that. Obviously, knowing Matt Reeves has obviously got his hand on it and watching what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what they
The
do
new
next,
Batman
especially
comes,
the fact
yeah.
that they're talking about Clayface,
Yes, that's again in my news stories.
and that's
yes.
such a like, whoa,
Yeah, because that's like a
he doesn't
D-list.
fit.
Yeah.
Well, he just doesn't fit in the universe,
Yeah.
does he? Really? So,
So,
that's
yeah.
gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
All right, we've only got one other catch up I want to talk about, and that is The Heretic, or just Heretic rather. This is from writer-directors Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who were the team that did the first A Quiet Place. This stars Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East, and the story is about two young religious women that are drawn into a cat and mouse game in the house of a strange man. Strange man being
It's called
Hugh
Heretic,
Grant.
by the way. I don't think you said Heretic at the start.
I called it The Heretic.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Mistake, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, interesting bit of trivia for you is that Hugh Grant once stated in an interview that he's kind of bored of playing all of the obvious typecast roles that he's had. And the writers-directors heard that interview and went, let's write a script for him and let's give him the part that he's never had chance to play.
Let's make him
so they wrote it
evil.
for him in mind. And he's not evil. He is heretical. But he is... so the gist of the story is, these two Mormon girls go to this house. They've got this list. They go into the house and they're doing calls, spreading the religion, talking them in there.
Yeah.
But he kind of tricks them into the house, traps them in the house, and then
Makes them question their own
their faith, and
Yeah.
he tests them. And it's not like a frickin' saw trap or anything like that.
No.
It's psychological.
It's psychological, yeah.
And it's and it does tackle religion and belief and faith and the multi sort of religious aspect. So it's well researched. It's very well written. And the two actresses were raised Mormons. They're no longer religious or anything, but they have that background in history which they brought into their characters.
That's awesome.
And corrected the script in the direction as it was going. Interestingly as well, in the end credits, it also says no generative AI was used in the making of this film. I'm now going to be looking at that.
That's where
for
we are
every
as a species.
Yeah, that's where we got to.
No generative
No one cares
AI
if
was
animals were harmed. We just want to know if a
whether-
person wrote it.
Yeah, was it made by machines or man?
Yeah.
Now films are literally telling us at the end. But in terms of the story, it was so-so. In terms of the acting, it was fantastic. It was tense. It was claustrophobic. It was interesting. I didn't know at some points whether what I was seeing was religious miracles or another trick. And so I was being led along with the two girls through this madhouse. And it was satisfying come its conclusion. But it, like, once it finished and the credits rolled and the song played, I was like off and on to the next thing. It didn't stick with me. It didn't linger with it. And that was last night. I woke up this morning more thinking like, oh, it's podcast day, I gotta do this and this. Like, I wasn't sat there going, oh my God, the fucking substance, man. What did I just see? So yeah, Heretic was really good. But, and I do recommend it. If you're a horror fan, if you like Hugh Grant, definitely check this one out. It's worth a watch.
I definitely want to watch it for the end of the year. Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, well, I think with that said, I think we're ready to move into some news. Alrighty, well, unfortunately, we have to bring up the sad passing of Jim Abrams, who's passed away at the age of 80. He was the writer-director of Airplane, Naked Gun, Police Squad, Hot Shots, Scary Movie 4, and he also wrote the Kentucky Fried Movie. Man, an absolute legend. And Jordan King of Empire magazine wrote that Abrams reflected on the perennial love fans have for Airplane. The movie he will be best remembered for. His response speaks to both the man's humility and his prevailing faith in laughter as the ultimate medicine, no matter how troubling the times in which we find ourselves living. He said, even in that line, "Don't call me Shirley," he pointed out that there are things in culture and media that we all take seriously that we don't need to take seriously.
Yeah.
And his musings on the infamous "Surely you can't be serious" exchange from the film. He said, I like to think even today when you hear in the news somebody say surely this or surely that, I like to think there's a whole bunch of people around the world who hear that and kind of chuckle to themselves because they remember the line and they know they don't have to take these news reporters seriously.
Sure you
Said
can.
it to Jessica the other day when she said it. Literally, don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me
the other
Shirley.
day.
It's going to live on forever. And so, yeah, sad to see Jim's passed, but thank you for the laughs, Jim. Alrighty, so here's just a little bit of the 28 years later trailer has come out.
Yes,
and
yes.
A lot of people seem to think that the emaciated zombie seen at the end of the trailer was Cillian Murphy,
Kind of looked like him.
but it has come
Oh,
out.
they knew
now.
what they were doing.
We
Yeah.
can say now that it was in fact Angus Neal. Yeah, exactly.
That guy.
That guy.
Angus Neal is an art dealer who specialises in old masters, and he was talent spotted by Boyle, who was struck by his distinctive skeletal look.
You're ugly. Want to be a zombie in my movie?
Right?
Cool, bro.
Now, 28 Years Later was announced as a trilogy, with the first releasing on the 20th of June 2025, and it was recently announced that Part 2 is already finished filming and is now in post-production, titled
Okay.
Part 2, The Bone Temple, which will be out in January of 2026. So we got one next year and one the year after. The
Yeah.
third one, I guess, will be in production, ready for the year after
When
that.
the new iPhone comes out.
Yeah. Excited? Are we excited for 28 Years Later?
Do
Trilogy?
you know what? I thought the trailer was very, very good. I got to admit, I'm kind of like, I like the first one. I have a lot of issues with it, but I still think it's one of the best looking British horror movies ever made.
Yeah.
Despite the problems.
Great
The
soundtrack.
second one, yeah, it was a great sound. The second one I can kind of take or leave. It's all right. I tend to enjoy it when I'm watching it, but it never really sticks out to me as a brilliant movie. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
let's
I remember that as being the first movie I saw. The actor who played Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. That was
Yeah.
the first time I remember seeing
Do you know
him.
what's funny is I'm actually, I know a lot of people are like, oh, we wish we got 28 months later or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm kind of like, nah, do you know what? This is actually a bit more interesting to me because you get to go real fucking mad with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Real
like-
fuck.
So, yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Nice. Alrighty, well, speaking of zombies, Paul W.S. Anderson is back,
Yeah.
working with zombies again.
He's at it again.
He's at it again. He's doing another video game adaptation. This time, the classic Sega arcade shooter, House of the Dead.
Didn't Uwe Boll already do that one? But on
Yes.
an island with, like, I'd be for rave dancers?
Yeah. But
And then he released a video shouting at his fans for not watching it or something.
Yeah.
He was a dickhead.
well, I'm thinking he chose House of the Dead because there's no story, and he can just shoehorn in Miller.
Yeah,
and just be like, shoot some
shooting
zombies.
zombies.
This is the thing,
yeah.
going away. It's like, oh, we're going to remake House of the Dead. I'm not being funny, but who the fuck knows what House of the Dead is anymore if you're not of our generation? It's
Right.
not, it's not
Well,
even in
it
arcades
It got
anymore.
remade, a remaster a few years
But
back.
that's how
No
you
one
get
knows
to,
what
that's
this
how you
is.
get to mess with the audience, and you don't have to stick too closely to the story because you're making it for
But
the
with a
audience.
title like House of the Dead, you know exactly what you're buying.
There
right?
has to be a house and dead people.
Yeah, now apparently he's going to be working with Jeremy Bolt, his longtime collaborative producer, and they've decided that they're going to retell House of the Dead 3 for their
Right.
adaptation, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
okay.
one that has a woman
daughter.
called Lisa, who's attempting to rescue her father,
Yeah.
and it's about Daniel Curran, who's the son of the man who caused the mutant outbreak in the first place, and you got to deal with the sins of the father, and so there's some story.
Yeah.
But apparently we
semblance
don't
of the
have to wait
story.
long until the action starts, because it's House of the Dead and we need people shooting zombies immediately in slow motion. And it's going to be due for release next year in 2025, so we can all scratch that one into our calendars.
I know this is the. I know this.
Sorry, Paul.
I know this is the Off the Shelf Reviews podcast. How much news do you have?
Some
You gotta
needed
pee,
bathroom
haven't
break.
He's one beer in.
It's been a long day. I mean, I'll be right back, but I gotta go pee.
I'm not going to keep them.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Who had 52 minutes in the fucking in the piss pool?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, bro.
All right. Well, next on the news list, we have Predator news. Predator Badlands. Dan Trachtenberg has said that the creature, the Predator, will be the lead of this film, saying the creature is front and center, leading the charge. He's still badass, but there's something there that touches you emotionally, too. Creating a character you connect with, but are also super intimidated by, has been challenging, but exciting. He also went on to say that they had to find another essential piece of cinema that does what Prey did spiritually, pushing the franchise's boundaries, letting us root for a hero we rarely get to root for, but in a different way. And that transformed into this big idea of rooting for the Predator. Badlands is going to be releasing on the 7th of November next year. Now,
Are there 2 movies for Predator next year?
That's absolutely right.
Because isn't there a direct Prey sequel as well?
There is an animated Predator film that hasn't actually been officially announced, but it's out. The people know of it. So it's an animated film also by Trachtenberg.
Fucking Prey was good, man. So
me too. So I'm excited for Badlands. Yeah. Hell yeah.
100%.
And
I love the idea if it's like, we're going to have the Predator front and center, as in, this is going to be him earning his stripes and doing whatever.
I've said it for years. Like, the Predator can star in his own movie. He doesn't need to. I mean, he can imitate. He can talk. He can, like, we saw in Alien vs. Predator, going back to Paul W.S. Anderson. Remember the Predator doing the thing? Like he can communicate to humans well enough. Right. I think this should be really interesting. Now,
so good.
I didn't want to be here. You're right.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
You're all right. We're nearly done.
Let's move into some quickfire news, shall we?
Yeah, new Predator movie. I really hope the new Predator movie works well. I did really like Prey, but like we said, the Predator needs a focus for themselves. You know, it doesn't need some female awesome actor kind of hero coming along in the new film. You know, maybe have another badass Predator, two Predators facing off against each other with humans in the background. But have it so at the end of the movie you're like, man, let's make a second one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it fucking makes sense. There's no drapes and it's not just a complete homage back to all the other previous fucking Predator movies like Romulus was. I feel so much better.
Alrighty. Glad you're feeling better. The rest of us need the bathroom too, but we're going to fire through some quick fire news.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro are returning in Meet the Parents sequel.
Okay. Meet the Grandparents?
This is following, obviously, Meet the Parents, Little Fuckers, and all that shenanigans. This is the 4th one. No plot details yet, or the long
This
time.
is the 4th one?
It will be called Meet
There's
the
3 of
Grandparents.
those?
Yeah.
It will be called Meet the Grandparents, I bet.
Long-time writer-director combo's
still
back. All the cast are set to return. Just no plot details. So, but it's also interesting to see Ben Stiller coming back in front of the camera because he's been doing so much behind the camera the last sort of 10 years or so.
Like a Jeffrey Epstein.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, you just wanted to get that in.
Sorry, I was feeling better.
Kind of a nice segue into the next story is American Psycho is being remade, and Austin Butler has now been tapped to play Patrick Bateman in Luca... Oh, here we go. Guadagnino's American Psycho remake, a new adaptation of Bret Easton Ellis's classic novel. Only other info so far is that they've said it's not a remake of the Christian Bale film, it's a remake, it's an adaptation of the book. Yeah, so we expect the same scenes again. Yeah, it's just them going, not a remake, it's not a remake.
I'm not sure on this.
If he puts on
I'm not sure
Austin
about
Butler.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Austin Butler. That's the problem that I've got.
He's gone now from Elvis to Bateman.
If he puts on a plastic coat and then stands up with an axe and just redoes the whole Christian Bale sequence, you'll know it just won't be as good.
I don't think so either, yeah. Like the Christian Bale one, it's great.
If they're able to do it more updated, because Bale's movie is very late 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're looking at 2025 going in, you're going to need to really update it so he doesn't look at Huey... Was it Huey News and the fucking whatever?
Huey Lewis
in the news.
Huey Lewis in the news. It'd be like, man, Taylor Swift had this album released and everybody wasn't listening, but I was like, Taylor Swift...
So you're just trying to make me leave the fucking cinema, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't say watch it.
Mate, if that happens, I'm like, it's not for me.
Man, all it has to do is do $5 more than American Psycho 2.
That's not going to be too difficult.
So it makes $10?
Oh, dear. Alrighty, well, we mentioned his name earlier, Clayface, but it has been announced that Mike Flanagan, who is already doing the Dark Tower series, a new Exorcist movie, and a bunch of other stuff, is now also working on a Clayface movie for DC Studios. Not much else to go on right now. It's likely Clayface will appear in the next Batman film, along with Penguin. But it's also been said yet again that this is still an Elseworld joint and is not going to be a part of the new Superman that we're seeing or anything else. So I'm like, man, Mike Flanagan, man, how do you not enjoy downtime?
Mm-hmm.
And
he's
why?
Busy, isn't he?
Where is the Dark Tower? every time he's signed on to something else, I'm like, and the Dark Tower? And where's the Dark Tower?
He's signed on Idris Elba for the Dark Tower movie.
He's like,
I just hope he's not spreading himself too thin.
He's like Ryan, is it Murphy? He did like that Monsters, didn't he? He did Mendes brothers, and they did that Grotesque as well.
Yeah,
All came
yeah.
out at the same time. Did you watch that? Did you watch Grotesque?
No,
Or
yeah.
Grotesquerie, I believe it's called.
No.
It was really good up
Okay.
until like episode 7, and then died spectacularly for me. It was like,
Oh dear.
yeah, it was. I was.
That's a shame.
I was. You know when it's like something really that, and you're like, fuck, I'm really enjoying that, and then the last like 3 episodes are just dreck.
Oh man.
So don't watch that.
No.
No. Also, maybe don't watch this too. I don't know. I don't know. Jennifer Love Hewitt has confirmed that she's returning for a late sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's coming out on July 18th,
I know what
2025.
you did 28 years later.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I know what
Freddie
you did
Prinze
last
Jr. is
summer,
also
25
set
years
to
ago.
return in this Legacy sequel. So we can expect those two to be running around with a bunch of fresh faces until they
Well,
all get killed off by a
It worked
fisherman.
for Scream. So.
A fisherman that you ran over a year ago who just happened to wait a whole year to get a fisherman's suit decides
Yeah.
to attack you.
I don't know, maybe Jennifer Love Hewitt's when he gets run over this time and it's Freddie Prinze Jr. who's going to
I hope not. She's got a
put
great
on the
rack.
fishing. Oh, speaking of Legacy sequels,
Yeah.
there might be a new Look Who's Talking in the works.
Oh my god,
As
really?
Amy Heckerling, writer of all of the original films and TV shows, is now writing a new script within the franchise. She also followed up with the announcement of, who knows if it will become a thing, but I'm excited and I am not through with the Look Who's Talking universe yet.
The first two are fucking great. The dog
Yeah.
one, I was like, so now the dogs can talk?
Right.
So now this one...
Is that the third one?
Yeah,
the third one's
the
dog,
third
so-
one's the
Yeah.
dog one because it's Danny DeVito
Yeah.
voicing one of the dogs. But, you know, in the first one you had Bruce Willis doing Mikey, and then in
Yeah.
the sequel
And then you
you
had
had
the
Roseanne Barr
sister,
playing
yeah.
the sister.
Getting her back now would be fucking awesome.
Once you once you made the dogs talk, I was just like, okay, you've ruined this.
What other pets can we bring into this one that are just like
Yeah.
yabbering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? Look who's talking. My fucking cancerous mole. My
I don't know.
tumor.
When I saw the news story, I was actually
Like
a little
the
bit excited.
Substance.
Oh god, I was a little bit excited because I forgot the fact that those movies even existed. I was like, wow.
Oh man, I've got them on
know?
DVD, triple box set.
Yeah.
Fucking
So I was like,
great.
you know what? I honestly will welcome another Look Who's Talking.
The-
Hopefully, it's just good. You know, family
Yeah, it's
fun.
like, if it's
you
good.
know, yeah.
It's the last time Kirstie Alley was really good and relevant in Look Who's Talking.
Maybe. Yeah, I
think
don't really
anything
recall
else.
much
John
beyond that.
Travolta as
Same
well.
John Travolta.
Like, he did those and then he seemed to disappear until he came back for Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
and
Well,
then
it's because
broke
his
down.
career
Yeah, I was
literally
gonna
is
say it
like
tanked, didn't it?
fucking
Yeah.
massive.
Mate, he was in a movie about talking dogs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, other actors have recovered from, you know, talking to dogs. Like, didn't Robert Downey Jr. do a Dr. Dolittle
Yep.
remake? But,
Yeah,
you know,
but
his career was fine.
Yeah, but that was after he came back as Iron Man.
No one
It's
watched
true.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No one watched it.
Fucking
Alrighty.
Eddie Murphy.
Speaking again of legacy sequels, Courtney Cox has now confirmed that she will return in Scream 7.
Oh, yay.
This
Scream
also
7.
joins the casting news that McKenna
making
Grace from the new Ghostbusters movies will be joining her in Scream 7.
I'd have never made it to this news segment.
Just be pissing all over the place. yeah.
I'd be like, fuck Courtney Cox, man, please!
Alrighty, Silent Hill 2 won Game of the Year at the Horror Game
did it?
Awards. Not the Game Awards, but the Horror Game Awards.
People were pissed
While
about this.
Astrobot won Game of the Year at the awards show.
Oh my god.
I don't have a PlayStation, I never played it. It's fine.
I was very confused by the whole Game Awards thing because it just seemed like Sony owns them.
Owns what, the Game Awards?
Yeah, they've
No.
won the last. They've won like Game of the Year from that Game Awards for like the last 7 years.
have
Xbox haven't won anything at all. At
To be
all.
fair.
And look,
think
I
Make
mean,
some good games
I
on
think people
Xbox.
were more
like
kind of
I
pissed
don't,
about like Baldur's Gate
I've
and
not
stuff not getting
seen or
acknowledged.
played
That's
or
like,
done
yeah,
anything with Astrobot. But then again, when you compare Astrobot to some of the games that have come out, I think it was a joke because nobody else is playing Astrobot.
Well, none of us own a PlayStation. Well,
He
Andy
does.
but, yeah.
Have you got Astrobot?
No.
So Game
It's
of the
because maybe
Year.
it didn't appeal to you, but
Yeah.
like none of us have played it, so we can't really
Like,
comment on it. Like
Like, I'm sure if
unfortunately.
every parent with a PS5
Do you know what? I've
bought a
gotta
game
admit-
for their kid because the kid wanted to play on the PS5 and they didn't have anything, then they bought Astrobot and Astrobot bought everything. But
I think
what
I've
is
got like
it
part
about?
of it. I've got like.
Is it a
I've got it as
story?
part of like the fucking VR set or something. Dude, I don't know. Do you know what? I gotta be honest though. When it comes to like the Game of the Year awards, I just don't care.
No, neither do I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I
one
bought
gave me. I'm
something.
like, I mean,
I
I'm
just
sure
saw
if
it
you're
as a
in the industry,
celebration
it
of
means
good
something,
games.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it does,
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just like, I just don't give a fuck.
I had to wait an extra 3 weeks for a fucking game everybody else got, so fuck your Game Awards.
Yeah. But I was just glad to see Silent Hill 2 got some recognition because it didn't get any
Yeah.
at the Game Awards
Yeah, it's always
show.
nice
so,
when a game you like gets recognition, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
Like, Space Marine 2 not fucking winning an award didn't stop me playing it.
Exactly.
it
yeah,
was-
so it's not going to hurt anyone.
They were like, hey,
my
we just dropped a new
God.
update. I'm like, fuck yeah. 40 Emperor.
Alrighty, some more Warhammer news for you though. Warhammer 40,000 TV series with Henry Cavill that's in development at
Our Lord and
Amazon
Savior, Henry Cavill.
under a deal with the Games Workshop has been finalised. Cavill teased the new phase of the Warhammer 40,000 screen adaptation, which has been a passion project for him on Instagram by saying, my incredible team and I, alongside the brilliant minds at Games Workshop, have been working away in concept rooms, breaking down approaches to the enormity and magnificence of the Warhammer world.
Hell fucking
Together, we've been sifting through the plethora of incredible characters and poring over old tomes and texts. Our combined efforts have led us to a fantastic place to start our universe, which has been agreed upon by those up on high at both Amazon and Games Workshop. So it seemed like their deadline to strike a deal was fast approaching, and it was going to fall through after 2 years of negotiating. It's a relief to know it's going to happen, and Cavill's leading that charge.
The amount of IP and control that Games Workshop have actually given up to Amazon is actually pretty unprecedented.
Yeah,
because they've held on tight.
It was only a few years ago that we were actually talking about they went out into the world and pulled all their IP back in-house, which I saw a shift in like quality of what they were putting out there. They were very careful about what they were actually going to release because there was some shit going out the door, unfortunately. So I'm really excited for this because this. Do you know what? I'm glad it's taken them 2 years to hammer out exactly what they're going to do and that.
Well, it's because Amazon would probably try to rush it like they did with Rings of Power and put in like 500 years of fucking lore in like 10 minutes. And Games Workshop would be like, no, you don't understand. You could only do that if you're working in the warp. And then they go, so if we put our entire show based in a warp,
good over Amazon.
Time doesn't work, does it? No, you could go 10,000 years and nothing would change. Brilliant! So, this is our concept for the Games Workshop TV show, starring Henry Cavill. He plays a space marine that gets lost in the warp and watches 10,000 years pass around him.
I think he's going to be Eisenhorn.
Either Eisenhorn or Titus.
Yeah.
But the amount of effects he'd have to spend on the Space Marines, after what he did with Witcher...
That's what I'm going to say. After 3 years, give it 3 years, and Henry Cavill's going to be leaving Amazon and Workshop, citing creative differences.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's going to be recast by another Hemsworth as he goes on, and then maybe joins the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But then Games,
that would be amazing.
But
Just
then
like there's
Games
always
Workshop-
like a lesser Hemsworth just picking up his scraps.
But Games Workshop then end up pulling their IP back, going, sorry, Amazon, you couldn't keep up with what we were
I hope
trying
it
to
works.
put out.
I think they've got a good chance of it working, to be honest, because they've just not gone into it very lightly.
Or Netflix.
Yes, yeah.
Netflix buys it after they get all the money from
They
wrestling.
buy everything.
Alrighty, well, we've got a couple of trailers to go over just before we break. And speaking of DC, James Gunn's Superman trailer just
my
recently
God.
dropped. It's coming to cinemas July 11th, 2025.
Crypto is the goodest boy.
That is an amazing shot with that dog.
The dog running through the snow and then grabbing Superman's cape.
There's going to be a moment, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a moment in that film where Superman's going to be fighting either Brainiac or Lex Luthor or whoever, and they're giving him a fucking good pounding, and fucking Crypto's going to come out of nowhere and go to bite the leg of, say, Lex Luthor in his suit. And Lex Luthor is going to boot that dog.
And break his foot?
No, he's going to boot the dog into a building, right? He's going to boot him right up into the building, and everybody in the audience is going to be like, oh my God! Like, oh my God, could you boot that dog? That was so bad! And then about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes later, when Superman's like on his knees and he's just trying to get that last little bit of strength to fight back, Crypto's going to come flying back out of that fucking building like a fucking speeding bullet and smash into whoever Superman's fucking fighting. And the whole audience is going to be like, whoa! That's like 300 billion right there. Just there for the fucking concept.
Yeah, I think this film's going to do great numbers. I'm hopeful for DC and for James Gunn.
Unless Marvel drops something at the exact same time.
Well, they've
Well, they
got a
will.
track record of doing that.
they will do
Thunderbolts.
that.
They're like, boom, look, Thunderbolts is out at the same time as
No,
Superman.
mate.
No,
No,
Thunderbolts
it'll
ain't
be
gonna
the
be
new
it.
Avengers movie with fucking Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Fantastic Four probably. Yeah.
What a nice release weekend you've got there. Shame if someone spoiled it.
Yeah, so neither of you saw this next trailer, Death of a Unicorn.
No.
Man, okay, I'll take this one. Right, so Death of a Unicorn trailer seems to follow Paul Rudd and Jenny Ortega driving to some strange kind of natural kind of what they call escapes where people go to kind
Retreat?
of retreat. That's right. And as they're driving there, they seem to hit a horse-shaped thing.
Unicorn?
Which happens to be a unicorn. When they get to the retreat, which also has
Horse-shaped thing. You've got like the Vince McMahon sort of
wanna
like
spoil it.
description
I didn't
thing
wanna
where it's
spoil it.
like a box-like
When
structure.
they-
That's a box, mate. It's a fucking box.
when they get to this retreat, they are greeted by Tia Leone and Will Poulter, which really piqued my interest because Will Poulter is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he's pretty
And they realize that this thing is probably a unicorn, and so they start to experiment on it and realize that using its like taking the fucking horn off the top of his head and then breaking it into a powder might rejuvenate their skin and make them youthful. But then a really evil
I would
black...
say, is this Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
Like, does he need it?
Now we know how.
Now we know how.
So it's Paul
Unicorn
Rudd's
blood.
origin
A
story.
really evil black unicorn turns up and starts laying waste to the place and killing people with its own horn and chasing them around.
We
So-
said this in the Cabin of the Woods review. Like, we've never got a
100%
killer
about to say
unicorn
that, yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
But now we've got it. So the only thing in the trailer that kind of looked a little bit off, everything looked great. Everybody's cues and lines worked really, really well. But there was this one shot where you got Jenny Ortega at the end of the trailer where she's sitting there looking all scared, and the horses, the evil black unicorn's mouth is coming towards her, kind of like the shot from Alien 3 with Ripley.
Sure, yeah.
And it just didn't look right.
CGI?
CGI wise, it just didn't look right. But I'm thinking, well, after the thing with Superman's trailer with the colorization, and people complain about that, they can go back and retouch it back up and make sure that they maybe make it look a little bit.
It's A24, dude. They're not going to retouch that.
No,
as
that's
is.
true.
Hopefully they do, because it looked shit. And if everything is relying on that black unicorn and he's going to look like that, people
Yeah.
are going to lose the movie after a while.
Sure,
But
yeah.
could look really good.
Alrighty, one more trailer. This was more of a teaser trailer, but going back onto the previous month's podcast where we discussed how the Return of the Living Dead franchise is rights were in the courthouse being argued over who owns it. I'm guessing that's been settled because the teaser trailer has come out. Explaining that Tarman returns as we see this Christmas zombie walking through the snow, dragging some lights
I
behind
wouldn't
it.
even say it was a trailer.
It's a
was
teaser.
literally-
It's-
yeah.
It's just a teaser, just to say, hey, Return of the Living Dead's still out there. It's not dead yet. It's gone for a walk.
Yeah.
And it's got Christmas lights.
It's got
Yeah,
Christmas
so I'm
lights.
guessing it's going to be Christmas next year then, for the most part.
Woo, Christmas!
Yeah, more zombies, more Christmas. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm good with that.
Alrighty, well that brings us to the end of the news and the trailer segment. We're going to take a quick break to go get some more drinks. And when we come back, we'll be
Gonna pee
discussing
again.
Christmas.
Christmas!
Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the podcast, where we have had a few more beers since the first part.
Christmas!
And it's Christmas, so
Oh,
we're allowed to
man.
drink early in the
Just-
afternoon.
We've just gotten to that point in the year where we work so hard to get to, where you can kick
Yeah.
back and have a beer in the afternoon and eat mince pies for breakfast. And I know everybody says it's a commercial thing and you're not really religious and we don't support Hanukkah and we don't, sing Avi David or whatever it is at like midnight.
What? Avi David? What?
There's like many ways to celebrate like the end of the year.
I've been doing it
Ours
since
is-
mid-November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mince pies and fucking whiskey since mid-November.
Getting those decorations up, getting those lights up, just spending time with your family. Even if you're not spending time with your family and you not knowing what to do, just kick back and say, "Hey, I've almost made 365 days around the fucking sun again.
Nice.
We're
yeah.
heading into
It's true, man.
2025.
Yeah.
Seriously, actually, the way you say that as well about like being as like all three of us being just generally like non-religious and stuff. It's like for me, Christmas is just that end of year like. Oh, we fucking did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Like
we got
high fives
for
all around.
another one, didn't
It
we?
is,
Like,
yeah.
A time to recharge batteries, but also to just spread some love to those closest around you, whether it's gifts or whether it's time, just, or just a kind word, or,
Even just to yourself as well.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
Fucking hell.
Like, you can spend all the time with your family and be calling them, and even if you can't spend it in person, but you've literally got to put your own feet up and go, right, okay, I got to take a breath.
Yeah.
I got to look at what's coming next year. Maybe get planned. Maybe get pre-planned. You can't plan for anything. Look at the last 5-10 years. Shit's been hitting the fan, people. But at the same time, we've made it.
We have. I'd just like to start by just saying a huge thank you, a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to everyone that has watched a single video or a single podcast or tuned in to a single stream this year in 2024.
Here's to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in as well to the live streamed podcast. Having an audience here, absolutely. It's what's the word?
Feels real.
It does. It makes it feel real, and it's nice to have an audience to have a back and forth with as well.
Yeah.
So, and I also just want to quickly thank Rodders, who has just gifted 5 community subs to the
Rodders.
channel. So huge thank you. I hate to miss any gifts that go into the community while we're podcasting, but I just want to say thank you for that gift sub, Rodders.
Man, from the gift subs, from the subscriptions, from the views, from the likes, from the shares, from the comments, from the everything that helps us support off the shelf reviews to the point where we're able to just say to ourselves each week, right, we've got to get the next one out, got to get that next video going, what's the next video coming in, what's the next video going out. It's just an ongoing process, which it was crazy. It was like only a couple of weeks ago we were in Halloween.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
It's gone so fast.
Halloween just came out, and the view's just gone, and then
It was scary seeing the Halloween decorations, and then the small Christmas ones, and then the next week there was more Christmas and more and more. Like, it's Halloween here and Christmas here. It's like, no.
Actually, that's a point.
Yeah, I remember actually going to buy some extra Halloween decorations the week before Halloween.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. And
there was
no,
Easter
they
eggs.
were at the back.
Right.
I was like, "Where's the Halloween decorations?" Like, "Oh, we moved them for the Christmas decorations." I was like, "Bitch, it's not been Halloween yet.
We're still in
what the
October."
fuck? Like, September. God damn it! Like, fine, I'll walk to the back. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Everything does. The fucking life.
Man, that's the
so
thing. Actually,
fucking fast, dude.
it's Christmas Eve tomorrow, and we've actually got our last Christmas review going up tomorrow for the year.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
film is it?
Just can't spoil it.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you then.
By the time
Should
this
ask
podcast.
me.
Hey, is it Red One?
I would have just said it.
No, it's not Red One.
Hey, see, there's one. Like, taking it back to the movies for a second, like good old Amazon. I watched Red One with the family the other day. The Dwayne Johnson one. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay, this is the best review I could possibly give this movie. I was like, this is gonna be absolute shit.
Okay.
I was like, I am expecting this to be complete garbage. But, the kid wanted to watch it. She's seen the trailer, and I was like, that was a solid 5 out of 10. That was all right.
That was a
Okay,
film.
So it's like when your expectations are real low, and you see like they weren't terrible. It's
I
like,
haven't.
it's all right.
I haven't wikid it yet, so let's just go with it. I've got to ask because now you brought it up. Like, so it's J.K. Simmons playing Santa.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Yeah, so it's basically J.K. Simmons is Santa, and he gets kidnapped, and
Kidnapped by
Dwayne Rock
who?
Johnson, who is a
Like ninjas or Iron Man?
no, it's like in a way I don't want to spoil it. It's a bit folklory actually, which I didn't expect. Sort of like the Winter
Bro,
Witch
let's
is
just
sort of
spoil
like
this.
kidnapped him and stuff. But yeah, Dwayne Johnson is basically the head of the fucking elves who hires.
Has he got
what's
pointy
his name?
ears?
No, don't be. He's not going to make himself look stupid, is he? Mate, he still argues a fucking coffin nail in this movie. But then, they recruit Chris Evans because he's like a tracker and a thief and stuff.
Do
like
all
that.
the
But
elves
here's
look
the
like
thing.
right?
Here's the thing. It's just you watch it and you're like. Do you remember when we were talking earlier? When I was at yours, you were watching Santa Claus the movie, right?
Yeah.
John Lithgow in that movie, right?
Yeah.
John
That's it.
Lithgow
Yeah.
is one of the best fucking actors on the planet as far as I'm concerned. John Lithgow's
He's
amazing,
great, yeah.
right? Okay, but when you watch Santa Claus the movie and he's like, "Busy toys," he's chewing the fucking scenery.
Sure.
Like, they didn't need to strip the set. John Lithgow ate it. But you give Christmas movies a pass. You do. You give them a
they're
pass
whimsical,
because
they're
it's a
cheerful,
whimsical,
yeah.
silly fucking time of year and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but they got to be worth the time.
Oh yeah, no
Big
doubt.
Red
I'm not
One
saying there's
doesn't
not bad
look-
ones. No, but this is the funny thing, dude. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you like, oh, it's a really good movie. I'm saying I expected complete shit,
yeah.
and managed to be pleasantly surprised that it was like okay. There's some good sequences in it, man. There's a sequence in the middle of the movie where they go to Krampus's realm.
Okay.
And it's a lot of practical effects. Because when I watched the trailer, you see him in the trailer and he's having like a slap fight with Krampus. I thought it was going to be really fast, but it's actually quite a a long scene, and Krampus comes back into it later.
Okay.
And the dude playing Krampus is the big ginger guy from Game of Thrones who's in it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Me and Donna are watching it, being big fans of Krampus as well. We were like, this is alright, shit, I hate to admit it. This is kind of good. This is pretty good. I'm having a fun time. So it's one of those where it's sort of like, oh, do you know what? I know that it died at the fucking box office because obviously there was all these terrible, the rumours about it being this another Dwayne Johnson movie, basically. So I can see why it tanked there. But do you know what? Again, the best compliment I can give it is when we finished watching it, when it comes to Christmas movies, we were like, yeah, that goes in the rotation.
Next year.
Yeah, that'll go in the rotation. We'll watch that again next year. It was all right. There was it ran the gambit of CGI as well.
Nice.
Where they were like...
The polar bears were a bit dodgy looking.
Do you know what? There was a bit in broad daylight, which is always really difficult, right?
Yeah.
They're on a beach, and these big-ass fucking snowmen turn up. And it wasn't bad because you couldn't hide anything, right? But then there's bits where they're like speeding through the North Pole and it's really dark.
Speeding
and on these like fucking sleighs and stuff.
Cool,
it's like a chasing. But you're like, it's so dark because they're hiding every little transgression. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of runs the gambit of like decent to bad CGI in it.
Sure.
And stuff. But yeah, it was all right. It didn't bother me.
Well, speaking of Santa, I might start giving out some Christmas presents.
Oh.
Go for it. I didn't know about this, so I'm going to look like shit because I bring no presents.
This one says to Andy from Santa.
Santa brought this.
Oh.
Amazing.
And I believe these
Oh my god, is it the thing on the Switch?
are for Gary.
Oh.
Because I've got one.
It's not the thing on Switch because it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, mate.
I got one from Santa and one from Ian. I'm going to open the one
You
from
talked to Donna
Santa
about this?
first.
I already talked to Donna about
Oh,
this.
okay. Just
Man, I don't buy shit and fucking don't
no,
plan
I'm just saying in
ahead.
case
I
you fucking...
died.
Okay.
I
Man,
checked
he's
it.
carrying on this. John Carpenter's The Fog, and they live on 4K.
On 4K,
I've still been
baby.
steadily collecting John Carpenter movies on 4K.
I got you Prince of Darkness for your birthday.
That's awesome.
And like I said,
Nice.
I was looking around and I was just like,
Oh.
he told me about that, actually, yeah.
Wow.
I was quite jealous.
I spoke to Andy's wife about what films he needed, and I thought, well, I will just get him his John Carpenter's collection for 4K. For Gary, that is a 1982 copy or annual of Blade Runner.
£2.50?
Which I tell you right now, that motherfucker was not £2.50.
That's not a label. That's actually printed inside
That is
the book.
obviously it's a comic book film novelization.
That is in insane condition.
Yes.
That is in mint condition.
Yes. Which obviously the film came out in
go to the
1982, and the movie came out. The annual came out in 1982.
You need to fucking put a board in that.
I do, yeah.
Like,
This needs to be preserved.
That's
yeah,
really.
no,
where did you find that?
I have my sources. You know, when you look
that's
on when you look
really-
online for certain books, I've been buying.
Got loads of film stills in here as well.
So for
Really
so
nice.
for Gary's birthday, I did get you Worshippers of Cthulhu for the
it's got that
Steam.
old smell.
Well, it smells like the 80s as well.
smells
It's like
also-
cigarettes and no seatbelts.
I also got him Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which comes out in February.
Nice,
And so
yes.
I was like, I can't get him any more video games for his Christmas because he's fucking done. And then I saw that online, and I was like, how much is that? If I buy that, I can get that for his Christmas, because obviously he loves Blade Runner. And, you know, a book like that would teach him over for a few hours. This also I saw online. It's, spoilers, it's another book.
Oh, I'm seeing some friendly
recognise
faces on the back.
Recognise
And, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right there.
nice. We've got Hellraiser and Freddy.
So...
Nice. We got Sacred Monsters Behind the Mask of the Horror Actor, Doug Bradley. Forward by Clive Barker. Fucking A.
Yeah.
We're going to get some insights into Doug Bradley.
Is it just Doug Bradley every
Talking
chapter is
about
like,
the
no
Hellraiser.
one knew who I was.
Yeah, it basically is. It's Doug Bradley talking about how he obviously nobody knew who he was, but also all the times that came.
Yeah, but there's
Kane
stuff on Gunnar
Hodder,
Hansen and Leatherface
Robert
and Doug Bradley.
Englund, you know, the impact of masks on Hollywood and horror and stuff like that. I just thought a book by Doug Bradley that Gary could
That's
read
awesome. Yeah,
while
'cause
he's waiting
I've
for
only
a
ever
game
seen
to come out.
interviews with Doug Bradley in the behind the scenes of the Hellraiser stuff in the makeup chair, because that's when he's stuck in the chair for like 9 hours, and they get to just ask him questions while he's there.
I think he's writing that.
Isn't
I
that
think
the most perfect fucking time to ask someone questions as well?
But so now-
he's just like, he's sat there probably like, I fucking hate you right now.
It's nice to have it in book form.
I'm not entirely sure how many of the Hellraiser movies come up
Sure, yeah.
by the time he's written that book out, but definitely the first one, because obviously he's been it. So. I think definitely number 2 as well, because he's talking about how they talked about the back history for his character being at the end of World War One and seeking ways to do pleasures. But books.
Yeah.
Books and films.
I'm just going to read a small
Sounds to me
excerpt.
like he's read it. Like he bought it and he knocked it out in 2
I had to make
days.
sure there was no writing in there, and there was
This
no,
is about
like,
the removal of the makeup. It required 1.5 hours of prying, pulling, coaxing, plus special oils and acids. First, the wax eyelids came off. The deep scar on the forehead was pried to a good starting point, and then it was just one pry and push, and acid soaking after another until you were back again. Acids! What were they using?
Nails. Put nails in the motherfucker. Put
He
nails in the
also
motherfucker.
closes by
But
saying, thank God for the age of latex.
nice. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be a really insightful read. Thank you.
yeah,
Ian.
man. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
There you go.
Merry Christmas. I do good presents.
Pulled away.
So I did speak to your wife, and obviously I did talk about films, and then obviously your, John Carpenter.
Well, now I'm mad at
collection.
her because she could have told me and I'd have fucking come prepared. So
If you could pass that one over to Ian for me.
Oh, it's big.
I didn't get a chance to wrap this one, Andy. But
we went through this in the break.
we did.
How did you know?
I didn't. You're welcome, dude.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to stop the podcast because we're going to play a game.
The Escape from New York board game. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I actually tried to get you this one last Christmas, but there was none in stock anywhere at all.
Oh my God.
So I'd almost given up on getting it for you this year because it was still out of stock, like no chance of coming in. But
Well,
I
yeah,
got an
like,
email just
was-
like, we've got 3 in stock. I was like, buy now.
It was Kickstarter at one point, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
But not, like now
Who's
it's
made
like,
it? Who's it by?
It's done by Flat River Group, it looks like. I mean, it's sponsored by Studio Canal
Pendragon.
because it's got their name on it, Pendragon. I mean, the fucking board itself. I want to pop the plastic, but I'm not popping the plastic just yet because once you pop the
I
plastic,
want to have a moment with my love.
yeah, well, that's it.
Alone.
Because obviously, well, the imagery on the cards at least as well of Snake Plissken has got Kurt Russell's imagery on it. Ernest.
Yeah, it's got the,
Oh, that's
it's got
licensed,
the
man.
full
I was gonna
license.
say,
It's full
yeah.
license, yeah.
Man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, this is what Christmas is all about.
Good sharing of,
Like, this is like that.
of
Like I
good
said,
stuff.
like
Stuff we know we're
fucking-
going to like.
you know, like.
I love the fucking look of the board. No, none of you can see this, by the way. Sorry, this is shit. As a podcast, this is shit.
Well, we're
I'm
gonna
like,
describe
this
it.
looks great, yeah.
Describe
No, it's
it,
the fact that
like-
they've used like the old sort of like style readouts when that he sees when he's looking at
Yeah.
his the monitor and
The
everything.
monitor,
like that.
whereas he's flying in on the glider. You've got this map.
See, like straight away, as soon as I
of
read
New
these,
York.
because like when we've played like the Thing and stuff together, where
Yeah.
it's like you can work together, or you might at any point during the game decide to betray your companions. Spoilers, that will happen.
Yes. For a laugh.
If we have it as an option,
It's going to
it's
happen.
gonna happen.
Yeah. Your own personal
Amazing.
objective and escape from New York alone. Whatever your decision, you must face the prisoners' bands of Manhattan, headed by the Duke of New York and 2 other fearsome foes, Romero and Slag.
It's a lot of pieces, isn't it? Dude, that's awesome.
I know, like
That's really
It's
nice.
the fact that it was
That's
'cause
lovely as well. The fact that they've got
the
the
imagery,
iconic
the
shot,
artwork,
yeah,
the
yeah.
artwork.
That's awesome.
That's
This
the
is one
poster
because
art
I've been
that's
going
on
through
front.
the Carpenter movies and getting them on 4K. This is one that I actually sat down and watched with Jessica this year,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Studio Canal sponsored it. The names, that's got some
man.
fucking license.
but
on it.
I was surprised that she really dug it as a movie because I was
That's
like,
cool,
this is so
yeah.
of its
'Cause it's
time. You know what I
old,
mean?
Yeah. Now, I like. Sometimes you can sometimes judge a game
I
by
feel the
its
same
weight.
way because I like reading the
Hold on,
back of mine as
okay,
well.
so this podcast
While you're still getting
this podcast is being recorded, but we are live. So chat while we are live. if you would like me to pop the plastic...
Stop stroking it like that.
I know, mate, I'm fucking struggling. If you'd
Pop
like
it, Tommy!
If you want me to pop the
Pop it!
plastic so I can get the rule book out... Okay. What's easy to put in the chat? What can we get a massive load of in the chat?
Pop it!
Pop it, Tommy.
Pop it, Tommy.
Pop it, Tommy.
We want
Pop
Pop
it.
it, Tommy in the chat. I've never done it. I've never done
It's the best
chat
of the
with
best
you.
comment.
As
Pop
long
it,
as we
Tommy.
get Pop it, Tommy 5 times in the chat, I will pop the plastic and we will get the rule book out and I will look at the rule book.
We got one Pop It Tommy.
Yes, open the thing. No, it's
We
not.
got
that-
two
we got
Pop It Tommies.
We got 2. We need 5.
By
We
the
need at
way,
least 5.
you're now
We got
about
three
you're about to
Tommies.
turn the podcast into him reading you the rules of the thing game. So
Same as our 4. I'm popping it. I'm popping it. I can't help it. I'm a grown man. I'm 14
Hey,
years old.
so while he's doing that aggressively,
Yeah.
I was thinking of something the other day. So while we're talking about Christmas in this section, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is something that you guys do at Christmas that's like a tradition? And I'll give you an example on mine, right? Let's say to you a tradition that probably not a lot of people do. Do you know what I mean? So
Sure.
as an example, me and my wife. Oh, it smells nice. Me,
does, it
me
does.
my wife,
Smell.
and now Jessica joins in with us as well, right? We don't do sort of like say massive presents Christmas. We like to do lots of little things.
Nice.
So we end up with like 10, 12, 50, whatever presents each or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll get up in the morning and we'll tend to open presents from like say other people. We get like family giving us presents, stuff like that. We'll open
Yeah.
those. But then the presents that say Santa has bought my wife, sorry.
Sure, yeah,
Spoilers.
yeah.
And they brought me.
You do them later in the day.
We do one an hour.
Oh, wow, okay.
So once every hour we open
Yeah.
one present, right? And what's great about that is you end up with so don't pop those out yet.
But I want to pop
The
Adrian.
urge
I wanna-
don't do
I
it.
want to pop Adrian Barbeau out so badly.
Pop it, Pop it.
Pop it. Oh man.
But once an hour we'll open one. But it's great for like a best example I've got is like I think last year my wife got me the Kevin Smith book, the really big hardback one of all of his movies and all of his own
Nice.
personal notes. But instead of just opening it and then moving on to the next present, I was
Yeah.
like sat there for like
Taking
an hour,
an hour
like,
with it,
yeah,
yeah.
taking it
Yeah,
in and enjoying
yeah.
some time with it and stuff. So it really sort of like builds the day out. So that's
Nice,
like
that's actually
I don't
pretty
think
cool.
a lot of people necessarily do that. I'm not saying we invented it or nothing, but that's like a weird Christmas tradition we have in our family, I guess.
Nice,
So
yeah.
Have you guys got anything like that?
This is for the
Ian's is wanking
This is
over
for
the
the,
thing.
this
board
is
game
for the
rule
gamers
book.
out there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to try and wait for it to catch up. Right?
It does look
So
box.
There's some
that-
sheen on it, unfortunately, from the
yeah,
lights.
so
but-
there's
white
the sheen from
clean.
the lights. But if you're ever playing board games, so that's the opening setup shot for
Of
the
what the
Escape
table will
from
look
New
like,
York board game with all the cards and all the bits. Like, oh my fucking! Like, you can carry on for a moment. I don't know what the. honestly,
We're going to
like-
have to do this podcast.
Honestly, I was expecting a T-shirt. I was like, "There's no way he can top like a Blade Runner 1982 fucking annual." Like, I've never seen one of those in 4 years. How the fuck is he go? Oh, he gonna get me a board game for Escape from fucking New York from 1981. Like, shit, man.
I love how like Linda's in the chat now, probably like, well, I know what we're doing fucking Christmas Day.
She's like,
Oh.
he just tidied his board games away into cupboards, out of sight. You know, what's it? So, like, I've got Escape from New York. I've got 2 versions of The Thing. I've got Jaws. I've got Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's just 5. I've still got 15 more. I can't remember.
You've got
But,
Top Gun and
Top
Back
Gun,
to the Future and
Back to the Future. 2
Highlander.
versions of Back to the Future. Highlander, Die Hard. I've got Die Hard, the board game.
Die Hard's great.
Sorry, what were we talking about? Christmas.
He
Random
was asking
Christmas
about
traditions.
Traditions, yeah.
I was saying how me
Unfortunately,
and Donna open a present every hour and then you get to spend like a bit more.
well, like my
So I
last
appreciate
5
that.
Christmases, I've either had spent them alone by myself, which I've been absolutely fine with,
Okay.
or I've gone to my dad's house, or that's it. So, like, usually my dad and his partner fly away for Christmas. Me mum goes and spends time with her twin sister, and my brother's got his own soon to be wife and family, so they're all together. And I kind of just float.
Do you know what's funny though? Is it's like I think it's probably difficult for some people as well to understand that like you're truly happy going like, I'm just gonna have a day to myself and like,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot of people would be, oh no, like,
Yeah, I know.
You've
I'm
done
like,
you've
actually,
been,
no.
I know, like we've been down at yours at Christmas and you come over to like,
Yeah,
and
I've
stuff like
been
that,
to
you know,
Iain and
but-
Andy's for Christmas.
But sometimes
yeah.
it's like, no, I'm cool. We're just having a day.
Man, we're doing-
like,
we're
you know.
doing
I'm going to
this-
cook a meal for myself. I've got I've got my own treats. I've got my own drinks. I can put on what I want. I'll jump on Twitch, watch some Twitch Christmas streams. I'll put some TV shows on, games.
Christmas time is the only time in the year I've always truly believed. I've believed this since I was in my 20s, from after I moved out from my parents. And you know, Christmas for us was the same thing. Christmas, December 25th, we got together, we had presents under the tree, blah blah blah. I shared a Christmas meal. Then when I moved out and I was living on my own, and you know, life came along and shit happens and stuff, you're sitting there and you're like, man, I can't wait for December 25th so I can just sit in my fucking pajamas and not leave the house. And nobody bothers me. And then when you tell people that as you're leading up to Christmas, they're like, you can't do that. That's so sad. That's so depressing. You need to get up and be social. You're like, no.
The first year that we were kind of all in the house together and stuff, and we all kind of like split off to do things. And then I think like the last year, we were all kind of just like hanging around the house, just like, we're just going to do our own fucking thing. And
Yeah,
like,
just...
not put any pressure on ourselves to go out and do stuff like that.
Because people are still working on Christmas. You have to remember, people are still working. Certain things are still going. When you realise that, Christmas becomes something else other than, you know, the commercialised holiday that everybody, I believe, believes it is. And it is. There's going to be a point in the future where you'll still go to work and go to school and do everything on Christmas Day, unless specifically you have a licence that says, I fully support Christmas. The government are going to be like, no, you're going to work. No, I'm a practicing Christian, I swear. Please, just give me a day off.
I'll convert. Christmas off.
You know?
I remember like we had a, was it one year, do you remember me and you went down the club on Christmas Eve? I got completely annihilated.
I
And
still have the picture
Yeah.
somewhere of you on the sofa with kebab over your bare
I'm
chest.
dead. I'm so drunk. But that was fine. That was standard. Fuck.
Yeah.
But it's the
It
next
was in that
morning
house.
when I then had to like go to my sister's for Christmas Day, and like I walked the day, and my nephew was like 4 years old, kicks the door open like, Uncle Andy, I've got all these presents, you gotta help me put them together. And I'm like, I look like Monstro Elasu from the end of fucking Substance.
Right.
And I'm like dragging myself into this house. I'm, yeah, buddy, we're gonna fucking do that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't miss that. I've got to
Yeah.
I've always got like a cut-off valve, I swear. It's my Christmas miracle. Is like, because, what was it? Tomorrow night being Christmas Eve, I mean, I'll be out with the kid all day. I've already, like, you know, where do you want to go for food? You're going to go here. We're going to go check out that retro arcade in town.
Nice. Yeah.
And stay there for a couple of hours. But then by the time I get home and we've had food, there's a point where my ass hits the ground and I'm like, it's Jack and Coke time.
Yeah.
And it's Scrooge and it's Die Hard.
Nice.
And then I end up staying up way too late. Everyone else goes to bed and I just keep pounding Jack and Coke. I swear, man, touch fucking wood. Every year of my life, I've woke up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed every Christmas morning, no hangover. I'm like, that's my Christmas miracle.
Nice.
Let's go. Like,
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this Christmas I was also set to spend it by myself. Like I said, me mum again going with her twin. Dad has gone to the Isle of Wight this time with his partner. And I was all set, like, Jess is going off to his family's, Jeff is off to his family's. The house will be empty. I've got the house to myself for the first time this year. It's like, brilliant.
oh, it's naked cooking time. Let's fucking go.
Watching around like Scrooge with his little candle like,
Yes, everyone's away. Turn all the power off. Yeah.
Podcast 71 is going to be Gary going, I was visited by 3 ghosts.
Yes. So I was fully set.
And I was like, get out, I'm playing Elden Ring.
I was like, brilliant Christmas Day. I've got Daryl Dixon season 2 to watch. I've got
nice.
Nice.
The one that you mentioned earlier, the animated games one. What was it?
Secret
Level.
Secret Level that I've also saved,
Right on.
but now those have been pushed now into Boxing Day.
More
and beyond.
importantly, on Christmas Day, you've got a new Wallace and Gromit to watch.
yes,
including
yeah.
the return of Feathers McGraw.
Hell yeah.
There is no bigger event in our house this year, I don't
Hardman
think.
Animations on Christmas or every year, yeah. But yeah, this year, my brother has moved into a new place with his new partner, and a couple of weeks ago, I got the invite.
The dreaded call.
I gotta admit, I was kind of feeling the same getting through November. I'm like, should I check with Gary what he's doing for Christmas? Should I send him the invite? And I was like, well, let's just test the waters for a bit. So through talking to you, you were just like,
I'm looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Psychically, I'm like, he really just wants to spend Christmas by himself. So I had this whole idea of, like, if it was just you
selfish.
here...
I feel selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because, like, I knew you'd be just chilling, you'd just be working, probably finishing off the edits that we've got leading up to Christmas. So the plan was, what you having for Christmas dinner? Oh, I'm just going to make something. Well, tell you what. And then I was going to maybe drive over something.
Oh.
Right? That was the whole plan. Knock on the door. Here you go. Christmas dinner. Thanks
Nice.
for it. He eats it and Gary is just in the zone. And then he told me earlier, he's like, I'm going to my brother's. I was like,
Well, I mean,
he's going to go out.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
like,
you know what?
Man.
This is the first year for, like, since I can remember that we're not doing, like, a traditional Christmas dinner either.
No.
So, like, normally I do all the cook. This is one thing. My fucking job at Christmas is I love cooking. So it's like I've been making, like, these really nice meals. We had, like, goose yesterday. I'd made pate the other day and stuff. Like, you know. Goose. But I have to do it every time. But so, you know, I was talking. We were discussing about Christmas meal. Normally we just get the fucking. It's very traditional. Like, we get the turkey. We get this, that, and the other. Don was like, do you know what? I don't feel like having a roast, like, on the day. I was like, okay, what do you want to do? So we worked out, like, multiple courses through the day that we're just going to kind of prepare when we feel like it.
That's
like,
good.
one is going to be, I said, like, we'll do, like, a seafood course. I got a bunch of prawns and some, like, scallops and stuff like that. It's, like, takes minutes to, like, fry up and put together.
Nice, yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We'll do it, like, Jessica was like, what do you want? She's like, pasta. Like, 'cause the kid is just, you know, pasta course, please. I was like, do you want a carbonara, John? He's like, I want a carbonara. So it is. Mine is, Don's like, what are you thinking? I'm like, I'm going to do a carnivore course. Like, I've got a couple of steaks and some turkey legs and stuff like that. And we're just going to just do them as we're going. And then at some point, we'll take the dog out for a nice long walk. We'll end up at the pub at the bottom of the road with the dog, go in for a pint, back up to the house. It's going to be brilliant.
Nice. Oh, that's great.
Jay, if that turkey's too dry at Christmas, people are not cooking it right. I'm just going to tell you this for now in the chat. People are always like, I don't like turkey at Christmas. It's too dry. Someone fucked up your turkey.
Or you just add more gravy.
For one, gravy is like the fucking plan B.
Or is he looking at the
gravy
pictures?
saves everything.
Gravy is the plan B. But
Right,
no, man, dude, I got one of those syringes. I look like I'm at like IFBB
inject
Pro.
it into the
Yeah, I'm
potato.
just pushing
I'm
fucking
bending my
butter into the bitch.
I'm bending my rule book. It's okay. I can bend it. Like, I'm looking at both.
no,
So
that's
at the
sacrilege.
moment,
Oh, I don't like that.
there is no actual there's no simple actual turn sequence explaining the aspect of the game. But what I can gather is you have your 4 players. You have Snake. You have Cabby. You have Brain, and you have, what is Adrian Barbeau's character called? Maggie.
Nice,
From
yeah.
Escape from
Good
New
call, 'cause
York.
I was gonna get there.
And all 4 of you have to, I believe, make your way through the New York map to rescue the president and get him out of the map. But at the end of each turn...
Yeah, you're describing the film.
Yeah, basically. But at the end of each turn, the person whose turn it is, so say it's Snake's go, at the end of his turn, he then takes control of the enemies of New York and allows them to move around, which then I'm assuming would lead into the betrayal factor. So say Cabby has the president and the tape, but the other guys are at the other end of the street and he's in the car.
Yeah, he's
he
like,
goes,
well, I'm getting out.
I'm getting out, guys, blocks you off and sends you off.
Yeah.
But,
So I love how the chat has now become people sharing their turkey recipes to not let it go dry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Face the dilemma today.
By the way, the butter under the skin thing is life. You have to do that. Absolutely.
Face the dilemma today. Linda asked me if we should have the slab of pork stuffing, that you can get at Christmas, or the balls. And I was like,
Well, I went to the butcher
like
today to
both,
get.
That's the correct
No, do you know what?
but you can have too much stuffing.
Yeah,
I don't think you can. But I'm still making stuff in this year, and no, we're not having the roast. That was one thing I said to Donna. I was like, I'm making a fucking stuff. But I went to the butcher today to get their sausage meat and stuff. So yeah, I make it in a tray like a meatloaf, I guess. Put all like the fruit in there and sage and stuff. That's fucking immense.
Nice.
Trifles.
Like, I'm
Love
hungry
trifles.
now. Like, quite
Yeah,
hungry.
now on Christmas dinner.
And I've got really fat lately. I'm like, I've just been eating everything as well, and not working out enough. Like, I went to the gym the other day, and it's like, normally like I'm a five day a week guy at the gym or whatever, and then like the last couple of weeks I'll be like, if I get to the gym 3 days a week over the festive season, I'm happy. I don't give a fuck. And like I went to the gym in the evening because I thought, I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Fuck this noise. Went to the gym, come back, and Don's like, "How's your workout?" I said, "Well." I got into the gym.
I sat down.
I laid down on the bench press. I rattled out about 100 reps with not a lot, like one plate on each side, and just kept going until I hit 100. And then went, I'll probably do. And then I stopped in Lidl and bought a bottle of wine to go on the way home. It's like a post-workout shake that's grape flavoured. Like,
got fruit in it.
Wait, you drank the wine on the way home?
no, I've got I mean, it's a short drive. I probably could. It's a straight road, isn't it?
You could have ran.
You know.
Could have ran drinking the wine.
Oh no, mate! I'm that meme all over. It's like my gym's 5 minutes away. Oh, so you walk there?
No, because the walk back out of the gym.
I go to the gym to work out. I don't fucking work out.
Jay, have another bowl of Frosties. It's Christmas. Fuck it, have to.
Ooh, second bowl.
Yes, have to. Man, cereal late at night is awesome.
What's all right? So there you go. What's everyone's sort of like go-to treat at Christmas? Because I'm gonna say
whips.
That's a fucking great point. I mentioned walnut whips yesterday. I literally said to someone, I'd love a fucking walnut whip right now.
I could eat a box of 6.
I can show
You know what? Sweet.
He's got
every season. No, chestnuts.
Excellent, because mine's not a sweet one either.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
My father-in-law gives me a fucking great big jar filled with pickled eggs.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, I have 12 days of heartburn. Just killing these things. Just I love me a pickled egg.
Man.
Absolutely.
Steak and mushrooms. Yeah. I like bread though.
Nice.
I was saying to
bread. I fucking love bread.
I don't know what it is at Christmas, but cheese boards. Like I think cheese boards are fucking stupid throughout the rest of the year.
Get some good pickles and some sides and some crackers.
Charcuterie.
Just sit there.
I
can eat a whole bar. I can eat a whole bar of Red Leicester to myself anyway. But at Christmas, it's like crackers, slap it on a cracker, sit there, watch Wallace and Gromit for a fucking laugh.
Yeah,
mate.
You know.
Dude, I was like, because we had the goose and everything last night. You strip the goose down and like really when we were eating, because it's so rich, because it's quite a fatty meat, isn't it? We just had like the breast really between the three of us, but then sort of like the girls went to bed like stupid o'clock at night. I had a skinful, so I just went out into the kitchen, opened the box, and was like, oh, it's just a handy drumstick there.
Just that
a fucking drumstick of goose, like get in.
Some goose. Living a little high life, man. That's some fucking king shit.
It's good.
Yeah, man.
Ferrero Rocher are the tits. I had a Ferrero Rocher martini the other day. That was nice.
Did you?
I haven't had a Ferrero Rocher since I was a teenager, and I thought it was
posh people food, right?
Posh people.
Because they serve it at ambassadorial receptions.
Yes, they did, and I thought it tasted.
But
like,
I can eat
I was
12.
like, it's no Mars bar. So I've actually not tasted one in 20 years or so because it was a
yummy.
bad taste for me then.
They're good.
Yeah,
Lidl like do a like their version of just like they're like hazelnut crisp. I'm like fake Ferrero Rocher. Call it what you will. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They're fucking. I had one the other day. I was like, oh shit, that might be nicer than Ferrero Rocher. Actually, I was like, shit.
I might have to give it another go.
Oh yeah.
So
well, great. Now we're hungry.
Yeah.
So present wise, you haven't watched Prince of Darkness yet, have you?
No, I haven't. Mate, I haven't had the chance.
No, I didn't think so. I think that's fine.
Well. And I really want.
I really want 4K for your birthday.
So I think I had. Where was I going with the collection? Because like, so I bought the thing.
Yeah.
Escape from New York.
Yeah.
You got me Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
I want to say I've got one more.
You've got.
And then these two obviously added to it.
You wouldn't have vampires on 4K.
Oh, fucking trust me, it's not. No, it's
Ghost,
not available.
Ghost of Mars on 4K? Because literally,
no,
I think that's
those are both on Blu. You can get those on Blu-ray. Can't go for.
I think the
I
five
may
that
have
you-
Escape from LA on 4K just as like because it has. It's a collection, so I've got no choice. I may have
Man, the
Escape from LA.
fog. What I love about actually, if I'm
Yeah, go for it.
the fog cover, I never noticed it before, but when you look, when the light bounced off it, you can actually see the skeletal teeth on the skeleton face. I've always seen it as like a shadow on the front, but on this 4K box, you can just make out his teeth that makes him into a. And this,
the thing
that
that
looks
but
so
again-
Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
So fucking Duke
The
Nukem. That is
thing
so
that I love
sweet,
about
the
collecting
whole
these
intro.
movies, because literally it was only just because I was like, look, I wanted to start a new collection of something.
Yeah.
And because I bought a couple of 4K Blu-rays. Oh, 4K Blu-rays, that makes sense. And it's like, let's do it by director. And I was going to start with Tarantino,
Nice.
but there weren't enough of his movies like.
I was going to say he's
4K.
only done what, 9 of them?
Well, it's more sort of like there was only a couple you could really get on 4K.
Yeah.
Now there's more. But when I started, now there's more.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Carpenter, fucking awesome. But the best thing about it has been watching them with Jessica.
Nice.
So like I said,
Yeah.
I was surprised that she sat through Escape from New York and stuff, and then that evolved into because she's on like her little like horror journey of watching more horror movies.
Yeah.
We watched I know it's not Carpenter, but we watched The Exorcist together.
Yeah.
Well, the
And
first one.
the original, yeah,
Ah,
the
nice.
good one.
Yeah.
I
Max von
was
Sydow.
really shocked because I hadn't watched it for a while as well, and it's only when you rewatch it after you've not seen it for a while you're like, "Fuck, dude, nothing happens in this movie until the last 20 minutes, really. Like,
Yeah, it's all talking.
In my
It's all
head, I was
talking.
like, oh, it's just fucking, she's gone through this like horrific experience for the entire movie. It's like, not really. No, it's mostly all happens in the last 20 minutes.
It's the hospital scene in the middle of the film is still the one that I hate.
It's crazy, but it's like she sat through the whole thing. She got to the end of it. She properly like reacted as well.
Yeah.
That was really nice. So it's been, that's the best thing about getting these older movies that are like upgraded to 4K. One, for me, I get to see this kind of like nice version of it, and like it's mostly the sound quality is so much better on them.
Yeah.
But getting to introduce them to the kid because it's on like 4K, she'll be like, okay, I'll sit down and watch that.
man. I like the idea of you going to your shelf to look for a film and then realise that I've got your most
That's
John
true,
Carpenter
man. Yeah,
4K collection.
Yeah.
And then, same with Gary. I mean, fucking
Hell yeah.
Blade Runner angle, man.
Those
Yeah,
were
man.
great, man. I used to
Super
live.
sweet.
Man, I used to live on those when I was a kid. I mean, you don't really get those anymore.
The
And
annuals,
never.
not
I used to
film ones
I
like
used
that.
to
Yeah.
look forward to getting like WWE and WW,
Yeah.
well, WWF at the time and WCW annuals, especially because I could watch WWF at the time, but I couldn't watch WCW. It wasn't really on, so
Yeah.
I got most of my news updates once a year at Christmas.
the annuals.
My mum would
Yeah.
normally put it in my stocking as well.
Yeah.
So I'd pretend to be asleep. She'd come in. She'd fill my stocking. I'd wake up like this, and I'd be sat there like this. This is how 80s I am. I'd be sat there eating my orange.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's put an orange in the
Put an
stocking.
orange in the
reading
stocking.
my WCW angle like, who'd Sting beat this year? Oh, cool. Like,
I will
Nice.
admit, the first year
fucking peel everywhere.
the first year I didn't get my stock in, that was when I realised that my childhood was over. My mum had got me a stocking pretty much all the way up, and it's a tradition for every kid to not get a stocking after a certain day. And you slowly yourself watch that kid
I
go.
think nowadays it's like,
Oh,
where's my
choc-
advent calendar?
Yeah, it's like chocolate, yeah, orange. I don't care about the orange. And it's like, one day, kid, you ain't gonna have an orange.
That's definitely what I see. I got to say, like, so you guys probably do this. I normally used to get like the Cadbury selection pack in my stocking as well.
Yeah.
That's the most irresponsible shit as a parent. Is like, let's shove 9 chocolate bars in this kid's stocking,
No, but
which he will eat before breakfast.
So you guys didn't ever have the jar.
The
jar.
The
No.
jar. So my mum had this thing, right? So that was like me and my older sisters until my brother was born. But we'd get our selection boxes, right? And all the chocolate would be coming in. But my mum would then have...
Put it in the jar.
this kind of casserole bowl thing where we would have to put all our sweets in there, and we would have to wait until after Christmas dinner before we could have
To be fair,
more
your mum
treats.
was just trying to be responsible.
Yeah,
And,
kind of, right?
Yeah.
But did I ever tell you the Turkish Delight story?
No.
Right, okay.
Story time.
Story time, people. Merry Christmas.
Is
Right,
that a
so,
drink?
so, who likes Turkish Delight?
No one.
I do.
No, fuck off. No, you don't.
Yes, I
no,
do.
You don't.
No.
Nasty powdery shit.
Turkish Delight. I don't know what
tangy.
it is about Turkish Delight. People love it or people hate it.
There is a fine difference between cheap Turkish Delight and quality Turkish Delight.
True.
It's in the line, the Witch and the Wardrobe and all that kind of shit. It's supposed to be magical. I don't know what it is. Anyway, one year, my mum has gotten out the jar, and we've had to put all of our sweets into the jars. And this is back in the day where a Yorkie was like 6 chunks.
And not for girls.
Yeah, and not for girls, Mars bars. It was like, what you see a Duo now? That used to be a Mars bar. Now, like, fuck fun size and shit. Anyway, I was really wanting some chocolate. I was really wanting some sweets. I really wanted to get something. So, quickly, without my mum looking when she was in the kitchen, I swung past that jar. And I whipped something else.
Oh my god.
And I ran upstairs.
If we had time for this, we could turn this into a Grinch style. He sunk past the refrigerator.
No, we got time. I snuck upstairs. I had this bar. I didn't know what it was. I go into the bedroom. I hid by my bed. I opened it. I looked up. It's Turkish Delight. And I'm like,
What's
because
that?
it's not something recognisable.
Yeah.
It's not something I knew.
But it's called Delight.
Okay, yeah, it must be Delight. I mean,
Like Angel Delight.
It looks fancy. The advert made it look fancy. You had the Arabian girl there. It's like Turkish Delight. And you're like, oh, okay. Took a bite out of it. My God, I wanted to vomit. I'm like, what the fuck is that thing, man? Oh my God. My mum comes upstairs. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing.
I'm in regret. Hey, do you know what? I just realised. Sorry. Well, before we get onto the questions, I'm going to tell you a fucking story that happened.
Bigger
I've
than the
told
Turkish
you.
Delight story.
This isn't. It's not a Christmas story. It's not a Christmas story. You know it because I told you about when we were on holiday. But it paints me as a twat, but it will make people laugh, so I'm going to just tell it.
Oh, right. Okay. I know the story. Yeah.
And then I'll let you ask your questions. So obviously me and Donna went to Tenerife for a holiday for a week in October, I think it was. And to be fair, this is the first time that like me and Donna have actually gone away without the kid abroad. Like we go different places and stuff. We've taken the kid abroad a bunch of times, but this is the first time since we got married in Hawaii that we were like, we're just fucking going away.
Kid, you're staying home.
First night, it's like all inclusive hotel, nice and easy.
Nice.
And Donna had already been there early in the year, so we get there, we're getting our bearings, and you start drinking or whatever, right? So gets to about maybe 5:00. We realize we've been drinking all day, and we're like, okay, maybe we've had a skinful. Let's go back to the room. Let's crash out for a couple of hours, and then we'll come down later and eat, and we'll get dressed up. We'll come down, see the entertainment, all that kind of shit you do at an all-inclusive. Okay.
Have some food during the.
We wake up, realize we're still pissed, and get dressed, come downstairs. And as we're coming, down the elevator, we come out. There's like one set of steps you have to go down, and then there's a bar sort of here where we're looking. So we're heading towards that bar. Now, as we come down this last flight of stairs, there's a lady clutching on to the banister for dear life, shaking, like trying to make it down the last with her husband there, like trying to guide her down. So she looks absolutely shit-faced and like obviously drunk off her ass.
In fairness to Andy, who's drunk and shit-faced, she looks shit-faced.
Yeah, so you can imagine how bad she looks. So I made some dumb fucking comment as I walked past.
What was
the
comment?
I just don't get me wrong, bad. I just said, like, come on, love, I'm sure you can make it. You'll be all right. Something stupid, whatever. It was off the cuff. I didn't even think about it. So I get to the bottom of the stairs and we go, like, the bar is there, but there's like a pillar behind us. Me and Donna just stood there at the bar waiting to get some drinks. That couple then sit on the table immediately behind that pillar. Right. So I can hear them, Donna can't. And some guy comes up and starts talking to them, and the husband says like, oh no, you're right, mate, she's got muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, so the woman that looked drunk to Andy actually had...
Okay, in my defense, also she was fucking drunk, okay, but the reason she was struggling to get downstairs was not anything to do with drink. It was to do with the fact that she obviously had a very serious disease and issue. I've got a father-in-law with MS, so I get it. So I'm stood there at the bar and I'm just like, oh no, oh fuck no, like
the sobering immediately.
Don is like, what?
First
I'm like,
day,
and I
first
said,
day
babe, in a minute, I need to go and apologise to someone. And she's like, what is? She has no idea. I said, what have you done? I said, there's a 50-50 chance I'm about to get smacked in the fucking mouth, and I think I'm gonna have to let him do it. I was like,
you kind of wish you'd just eaten Turkish Delight, didn't you?
Do you know what? I actually, after I'll tell you the rest of the story, I kind of wish he'd hit me in the fucking mouth. So I was oh my god. So I get my drink, I turn around, and I'm trying to do it quietly because I don't want to draw attention to us. So I just like kneel down, and I just said, darling, sorry, I realized I made a comment. I just heard what you just said. I'm really, really sorry. And then I'm like, because our husband's here, I'm like, just waiting for like, pow, fucking sit down. Our husband was like, oh mate, they were both like from Newcastle, really thick Geordie accents. They're funny as hell. He's like, he's just like, oh mate, that's really nice of you. I appreciate you coming over and saying that, shook my hand and stuff like that. Now I thought I'm done. The next thing I know, I'm sat at the table with them. Again, they are shit-faced. In my defense, they were. She just also had this other thing. And that's it. Dono turns around with her drinking like, what the fuck is happening? Why are you sat there? Who are these people?
The weirdest episode of Bond.
Fucking sits down and stuff like that. And that's it. We're talking for a minute. The next thing I know, he comes back. There's 30 drinks hit the fucking table. That is pretty much the last of that night I can remember. Then at one point I was outside with him smoking a cigar. For some reason, I don't know how that happened. And I just remember we drank so many drinks and talking and shouting and stuff like that. Donna just at one point, she just got up and left. And I was just like, I think we're done. It was like time to go back to the room. Like, thank God our home beacon came on.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
So
it's funny
this is why I shouldn't be allowed outside, basically.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry. There you go.
But in your defense, as you said, they were absolutely.
That's the thing. I was at the table. I was thinking, you ain't fucking sober.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the Turkish delight story and the alcoholic kind of
Dumbassery.
dumbassery.
Kids, just keep your mouth shut. That's all I'm trying to really tell you.
Stay in your lane.
It's a near
Stay in your
impossible
lane.
task when you've been drinking, though.
with people.
No.
We're going to bring this segment of the podcast to a close. We're going to take a very small break, but when we come back, we'll be answering your questions.
Questions.
Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the third part of the podcast where we will be answering your questions.
Questions 2024, baby. These are the
last questions of the year.
Yeah, this is it. Make them good. Make them good.
And the first last question of the year comes from Nick Elliott.
What up, Nick?
As the dude would say, I'll be there, man. Also, Merry Xmas to you and your family. Mad love and respect from New Zealand, as always.
New Zealand, baby.
Okay, here's my question. When will you get around to the dreaded Terminator Dark Fate review? A lot of us have been begging for it because I know Ian is going to go off on another level. Thanks, my brothers, and have a very Merry Xmas. Love yous all. Cheers, Nick. We'll get to Dark Fate once we get past Genesis.
Yes.
We don't have Genesis on the cards right now.
Yes, we don't, it's not yet.
But Ian and I have had a list of, well, I've had this list that I keep bringing up to Ian going, these are all the sequels that we need to do.
Yes.
And it's growing every year because we thought we'd reviewed the entire franchise and now there's 5 more movies.
They keep making them.
They keep making more. We've done all the Saw movies, have another one. We've done all the Alien movies, have another one.
They've done
We've
all the
done all the George
Hellraiser.
Romero movies. I think they're still working on another one.
Here's the next Hellraiser
Right.
movie, the Predator movie,
So we have franchises that we love to review and explore and cover, and we have those playlists and we want to keep them updated and completed. I've got a long list now of all of the sequels to films that we've done. I had them all in folders, thumbnails and films and ready to go, but obviously the PC died or it's all gone, so I need to rebuild it all. But the Terminator ones, obviously financially, or in terms of the channel, they do very well for us. So I would like to nudge them in advance because we get paid for that, which is nice. But at the same time, it's like, do we really want to watch fucking Terminator Genesis and Dark Fate next year? So just immediately goes, well, fuck, 2025 not looking so good.
After Nemesis, did you see Nemesis go up? How has Nemesis, the review for Nemesis, starring Tim Thomason, smashed Notting Hill that starred Julia Roberts?
Because more people in our audience would rather watch Nemesis
I
than
know,
Notting
but
Hill.
come on, like film review wise, well, like one's a better movie than another, and Nemesis is not a good movie. Same as like Dark Fate.
You should do a good idea. You should start doing fucking doubles. Just do that. No, that's a good. Dude, that is genuinely a good idea. Just fucking like I'm just
do
like, when
Genesis,
it's
Dark
films
Fate.
like Genesis and Dark Fate, where you're basically gonna shit all over them anyways. Just like
it's
just
not-
double.
it's
Just
take
double
one
take
shit
it.
and get it
not
over
about
with.
Just take one big shit on the entire franchise.
It's not
Just do
about
that.
shitting
Fucking
on
plan,
them, though.
dude.
It's about understanding how the film came out, where people were like how much money did Dark Fate make compared to Genesis? Why did Genesis push this idea of like starting a trilogy of sending Terminators back before Sarah Connor had done anything with her life, and then all of a sudden you come out with Dark Fate where somebody actually okayed Arnie making drapes?
Christmas, dude. Let it go. It's Christmas. Give yourself a break. Don't send your blood pressure.
I can't, right? because
Don't send your blood pressure through the roof.
I figured it out.
You have a kid,
I
all right?
I figured it out, right? There's going to be like a whole timeline thing. Dark Fate has to be understood because I've got this whole timeline thing, right?
What?
I'm with you.
Right?
Go on.
So, Terminator goes back to kill Sarah Connor, right? Gets defeated.
If you're gonna do this for every question, we're gonna be all fucking.
Yeah.
Go on, carry
Yeah,
on.
okay. So I can't do the timeline thing. But basically, there's going to be a whole timeline understanding of how wrong Dark Fate is for the film review.
A film about time travel doesn't understand time travel.
No shit.
Massively. Yeah, but worse than Genesis.
Yeah.
And so it deserves like a whole
Genesis is
review
more
on
like
its
a
own.
remake of Terminator 1
Yeah, I
and
love how
2.
Genesis turned the Skynet takeover into a product launch.
Right.
Like, the fuck?
Exactly. So
You telling me we Christmased ourselves to death?
to fit Dark Fate into the film review, you've got to do Genesis first, unless we abolish Genesis and count it as something else.
Yeah. Yeah, as film reviewers, we need to break down each individual piece of shit under a microscope and show exactly why. Doing both at the same time might be just too much.
Yeah.
It just might be way too much. But yeah, we did do Jaws 1 and 2 doubles. We did like the basket case trilogy as one video,
Fine, yeah.
you know. But yeah, like some videos like those need their own time because each one of those videos is going to be over a bloody hour long, and that's even after we've edited down some of Ian's ranting. But yes, there's a lot of sequels on the cards that I want to do, including Prey, Alien Romulus, the Terminator films, the Hellraiser films.
Yeah, there's a whole new Hellraiser one that I still haven't watched
the
yet.
Hellraiser remake.
The one with the female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what's that?
I've not watched it.
Dude, that's a good fucking
Candyman.
Yeah, that's why
I like that
man,
movie, yeah.
I want to do it.
This is the thing, right? Would you rather us do the Candyman series or the Terminator films first?
Terminator. Everyone wants Terminator over Candyman.
Yeah, but Candyman's got like 3 movies.
There's
So
4.
in a crazy
including a
thought,
remake.
in a crazy thought of content creation, you'd go with the 3 movies to keep the series going because obviously you get to build on all the lore of that series. With like 2,
Yeah.
you have to go just with those.
I'm going to see Disco Dolly. Alien Romulus will be... because Ian and I still prioritise,
God,
of course,
Romulus.
our Patreons. They're first and foremost on the request list. But without a doubt, in 2025, you will see a review, an off-the-shelf review of Alien Romulus. It's coming. The thing is, Ian's just watched it for the first time. I need to watch it for the second time.
I'll have to watch it for a
with
second
all of my
time.
notes.
I can't wait to watch it for the second time, actually.
Sure.
I'm not the only one that enjoyed it.
I mean, I enjoyed it when I
You
left
need
the
to
cinema,
turn it
but
into a
it's time
drinking
to
game.
gestate.
Every time you notice a homage to another Alien movie, you have to take a drink.
That's not enough drinking for me. Honestly.
Not enough.
Yeah, I'll drink more.
Mate,
I'll drink more than that.
Mate, it starts before.
I told you I've been drinking my feelings, okay?
Next question.
Next question is from Natalie Holbert.
What up,
Well,
Natalie?
Merry Christmas, darling.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas, my kittens. Hope you have all been good. My question is, what are your goals for the New Year's resolutions for 2025? One of mine is to work on opening my third eye.
Nice.
There are 2 reasons for this. One is the good old spiritual growth. The second is that I'm hoping to start dating again, and I need my intuition on top form to weed out the douchebags.
Well,
Natalie, I'll tell you for a start, if I was single and we went on a date and you dropped one of your random questions at me that you normally drop each month on the podcast, I'd be like, I think I'm going to marry this girl. Like, so just do that, darling. Like, oh my God.
the whole idea of
Perfect.
opening her third eye, like, I thought that was like a reference to seeking into the warp,
Oh, thank God.
you know, which might be a 40k reference. She might be a 40k fan.
Are you thinking about the Starship Troopers? I was like, are you psychic?
yeah,
Do you want to
guys,
know
like,
more?
maybe you are. New Year's resolutions, man. Just gotta try to enjoy downtime a bit more. You know, try not to be too busy.
Slow this fucking world down.
Yeah.
You know, because like every year you try to say, oh, I'll spend time trying to look for, like, spend time with friends and family and stuff like that. And then what you start to realize is everybody's actually looking to just chill their own beings for a moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, slow down, and then see what happens at the end for 2026.
Fuck yeah, man. New year, old me. I want to go. I got to sort my.
You're going
fucking
back
head out
5
and go
years.
back. I'm
Yeah.
going back 5 years, definitely. I'm really looking forward now joining a friend of mine. I don't know if I talked about it live or not, but like where we're going to. We're both big NFL fans, so we're going to start playing with the amateur local team that we have. So that's going to be good. I was saying
Nice.
any game that means you have to bring a gum shield to practice, I'm like, I'm down for this. Let's go.
He wants
Yeah.
to
Let's get some
hit.
fucking physical shit out. Let's go.
It's true. I suppose if I do have something, I don't have anything planned, but in the back of my mind, my belly's going, don't get rid of me. Don't get rid of me.
Don't go to the gym.
You know that fucking meme of DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street where it's like, my belly fat, I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. Yes. So I probably do need to lose some pounds, but it's half-assing
Come
it,
gym
really.
with me, mate.
So-
It's fucking good life. It's cool, man.
What time do you go?
I normally get up like 5:30 in the morning, but I can go later.
How much later?
How much later?
5:45.
I was thinking PM.
I'll go in the evening too, man. I really enjoy it. That's the thing.
Well, for your first session.
No, the segment, I really fucking enjoy it, man. I wish
may
I
be
still
something we would
mate,
need
this
to
is the thing.
discuss.
That's why I said like 2019, because 2019, I remember I was getting ready for like charity boxing match, so I was in the gym twice a day.
Yeah.
I was fucking down at the boxing gym multiple times a day, just fucking sparring with people. Like
Oh.
I was in absolute like the best shit. I was frightened at the shape I was in 2019.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I've got pictures where I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Jesus, that's a killer. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, beer. So,
Yeah, if I do join you in the gym, I'll just be a good spotter.
See, gotta go for the switch, man. Gotta get the switch.
be a
Gotta
spotter.
get
Like, that's definitely an exercise. A
Man.
spotter.
Cheers for the question, Natalie, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, darling.
Next question is from Nick Louisi.
What up, Nick?
Merry Christmas, my bros. Definitely going to be there for that. Excited for the podcast. Here's my question for you. Believe me, it's hard thinking of one that I find others may not have asked before.
Oh no. Okay, we'll go.
There was a film that came out not too long ago where I actually was very close to the events that transpired, as well as knowing a couple of the people and how they were portrayed. It was pretty surreal, and the portrayal of the people were not accurate, reversed even. Have you guys ever had that occur, where you've seen a person or event dramatized, that you end up basically having a Cannibal the Musical moment where you're like, that's not what happened? Cheers to you both. Love to you and your families, and cheers to Hans Gruber for taking his yearly header off the Nakatomi.
Yeah, it's coming tomorrow.
Cheers, Nick. Honestly, no, I don't. I've never been around an event that was repurposed for entertainment or documentary in any way that was changed from how it happened. I
Not
don't have
studied
any of that
anything
first.
or
No,
anything?
no, I'm not. I'm talking about first-hand experience.
Oh, first time.
Yeah, I don't know
think
anyone-
also studied.
that got misrepresented in something.
No, I don't
No.
know. I don't think I can, to be
No,
honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in Plymouth. It's an asshole end of nowhere. Like, other than Sir
Yeah, like,
Francis
I'm not being
Drake.
funny. Like, I'm kind of
Like-
you know, like I was surprised that they didn't make a fucking movie or show about that fucking shooting that we had not too long ago. You know, like across the road from me.
Bring
There
down
was one
Christmas,
down
man.
where I used to live.
That's
down
what I'm
in-
saying.
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
sorry.
it happened. I was like, I bet someone
I
writes
mean,
a
yeah,
fucking
it's going to
film
be on
about this
BBC
or something.
iPlayer probably
Yeah.
next year. You know, the guy's like writing 4 episodes of him just writing in a diary and then the fifth
Probably,
episode.
yeah.
No.
No, I can't think of anything like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It must be fascinating, though, to like
mine-
know that the real events and see them.
Mine's more, it's not so much like true events, but it's like I always have anything like I was talking earlier about like fucking watching Terrifier when he starts like the first bit of the movie is like he's about to fucking chop this kid to pieces with an axe, and I'm like, becoming a parent, you struggle when you see a lot of like violence towards children, or anything like that.
Relatability.
Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah.
You can't help but put your loved one's face on it. Do you know what I mean? That, and that's not quite your question, but that's the closest I'll probably get to it. It's sort of like there's a few movies where I've been like, oh, I can't.
Relatability, yeah.
I'm thinking that it's happening there and stuff. You know.
Yeah. Great
I can't
question,
do
though,
that.
Nick. But yeah, it's yeah, we're
Do you know what? It must
Yeah,
be
I'm
so
still
fucking
trying to think
crazy.
of something.
No, but to be fair to him, it is a great question because
Yeah.
there's so many events in life that are,
get misrepresented
used.
or retold
I mean,
for entertainment.
you know,
Repurposed
in the
that
States, like the amount of movies made about 9/11. You know what I mean? There's
I think-
so many people in
I-
that city that directly
Yeah.
affected.
Saying
you know,
that.
Sully on the Hudson, loads of random shit like that. You know,
The wife always complains at me of that because I watch a lot of films and a lot of entertainment where a lot of dramatic things happen. People are like, Ian, you're always over worrying, right? Now, I'll give you an example. My wife watched La Palma. Did you see La Palma on Netflix? Some dramatization about an island down in the fucking Caribbean, which is like a live volcano.
Oh,
and
okay.
It just explodes.
Oh, is it them
know.
two, the couple that were on it?
I don't know. My wife was watching it, right? I'm not supposed to worry. But somebody goes, hey, you want to go to an island in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a live
No, they got
volcano,
volcanoes
but
there.
it's fine. You know, relatability, dramatization at the same time. Like, I'm not supposed to worry about anything, but when people go, hey, do you want to go to a Christmas party? I'm like, can I keep my shoes on?
Can I keep my shoes on? In case I need to sprint. Nice. You okay? We're about to move on, but Gary's doing some weird internet shit
Yeah, it's
right
okay.
now.
I'll get to the next question
Sorry.
before I go
Give me
and
some text up.
help someone in the chat. Someone in the chat was looking for help. I was trying to do that. But yeah, thank you for the question, though, Nick. Next question is from David Allen Evans.
Well,
What up,
David?
David?
Hi, lads. Hope you all have a good Christmas and a New Year.
You too, sir.
This will be my last question, as I am leaving
Ever?
Facebook soon.
Oh.
Oh, good for you.
Abandon
Yeah,
ship.
I sometimes think about that, but then we lose questions. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But I'll be watching the reviews still. My question is this. I am intrigued by seeing Johnny Mnemonic in black and white. From what reviews I've seen, people say the change has made the film a lot better by changing the cinematography and controlling the contrast. What film can you think of would benefit from a change like that? Not just changing to black and white, anything, for instance, like the music.
Yeah, see, that's funny because they did like the Logan black and white version. I remember when I think I've said it a bunch of times, when I first watched Logan, I did not fucking connect with it at all. And then I think Donna bought it for me on Blu-ray or whatever, just to say, and I watched the the Logan Noir version, and for some reason that really fucking hit. I didn't know there was a Johnny Mnemonic black and white version coming out, to be honest. That's the first I've heard of it. As in, I wish you'd have told me that earlier, because I'd have got that for my wife for Christmas, because she's a big Keanu Reeves fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's not saying... Sorry, go back to when you're done what you're doing. He's not specifically talking about just black and white, right? Just
No,
anything-
but any
okay.
changes that you like,
Okay,
but black
okay,
and white
okay.
in
Pulp
essence.
Fiction.
What, if you put that in black and white?
Turn Pulp Fiction in black and
So I
white.
say definitely don't want to change the music in Pulp
You
Fiction,
wouldn't
because the music's
actually
amazing.
change the movie at all. You would actually just make the focus more on everything that's going on the screen.
Some scenes,
Like,
maybe.
Tarantino-
I can see Tarantino doing certain scenes because of the way he jumps around time-wise.
The funny thing is, Tarantino, I've always felt, makes his scenes exist as if they're in a black and white movie. But because he's got the extra thing of color,
Yeah.
he gets to be able to do more. But
Imagine Jaws in black and white. Wouldn't Jaws be good in black and white?
I
You know,
don't know,
all the
you
blood
kind of
being
need-
really fucking black.
Dark,
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
you
Like-
kind
Yeah.
of need the extra of the Kinter's fucking yellow thingy, don't you? Though,
Oh, what if they did it
fairness,
Sin
it's
City
like-
style? You know, where like Jaws, it was black and white except the blood.
That's it.
Right.
I'm thinking
And the
Yeah.
blood was red.
With
You know,
blood.
that
Every
kind of
movie
thing.
was-
That
It's a
could
very
be fucking-
Spielbergy thing
That
to
could
do.
be fucking baller. Yeah.
the question is, like, what if every movie was made by Alfred Hitchcock in black and white, and what if Alfred Hitchcock made it to color?
He'd definitely done Psycho 2.
Yes, that's a badass movie.
That's definitely cool. Yeah. There's definitely. I don't know about changing the music in a film. I bet you could go back and update a few.
Like what?
I don't know. Like maybe I think if you like went back and updated like the Matrix movies with a few more recent sort of like rock and trance tracks, I think you could do some damage there, like in a good way. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't change any John Carpenter movies music wise because his
True.
composition. So do you know what I mean?
His-
So
Yeah,
I wouldn't think
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could definitely do like.
Well, I've always felt
Some
like
good
music
work
is
in
a
that.
real heavy product of its time. Like,
Yeah,
look
definitely.
Look at Terminator 2 and Guns N' Roses. Like, even if you couldn't redo a Terminator movie with updated music now, it wouldn't work. You have to have electronic
Oh,
rock.
dude,
all the
don't worry.
time.
There's way worse stuff with a Terminator movie nowadays than the music.
Yeah, true.
You
Yeah,
don't even got to
yeah.
worry. You could
I'm
put
over-
the
I'm
Teletubbies
overthinking
fucking
it,
soundtrack
yeah.
over a Terminator movie will make no difference. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Good question though. Yeah.
Yes. The only one that I
few.
really was surprised by was the Mist, when that one came out, like on the
yeah.
Blu-ray had the black and white version, because he wanted to release the film in black and white, and the studio was like, no, like we're releasing color, like we're not
Hey.
releasing in black and white.
Isn't it funny that it's like, oh, we have to wait for a black and white version? And back in the day, we used to just set our TVs to black and white.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
CRT TVs, we
Or
could
a
just be like,
pirate version.
nah,
Somebody
fuck
gi-
it.
Yeah.
Somebody give you a pirate version of the movie. They're like, oh, here's the movie. It's just in black and white. You're like, yeah, okay.
When I was a kid, I legit had a TV that had a color function that you
Yeah.
turn. He's like, you want it in black and white? Just fucking turn it. Like,
Saving Private Ryan. that would be good in black and white.
Yeah.
Could be good in black.
I mean,
and white,
but when that film came out, a lot of the best war films I'd seen at that point were all in black and white anyway. So
Can you imagine if you changed the soundtrack to Saving Private Ryan, if it was sort of like the opening scene is sort of like as it gets up where they come over the crest of the hill and it's like disrespect your surroundings, like fucking goes mad or something. That'd be fucking amazing.
Man, Saving Private Ryan, yeah.
Like your granddad's like, this is so disrespectful.
What are you doing? What are we looking
Great
at?
question, David. Sorry,
Yeah,
we are
sorry,
struggling
we're
like
just-
fuck because Gary is like
it's jumping all
is
over the
all
place.
over the
Like,
place
why
on
are
the
you
screen
doing
right
that?
now,
Like-
and we're dying on our asses.
Okay, next question.
What's all that?
cheers for the question, David. Next question is from
I
Josh
was on a
Del
podcast.
Monte.
Josh.
What's up, Josh?
You just need to focus on answering the questions and
Okay.
There was some like Minority Report shit going on there. No?
just make sure everything's working.
Gary, note this question has been edited for time.
Yes, I do apologise, Josh, but yeah, your question was an essay.
It was.
So I've trimmed it down.
It was good, but like I read it and I was just like, "There's multiple questions here." Let's
Multiple
go.
questions and lots of statements. So
Yeah.
I've tried to tone it down a little bit. So a few questions. Which film will win in the December box office records? The Hedgehog or The Lion? I'm going to go out on a limb and go, I don't know either, but I'm going to say
I
Sonic.
think the Hedgehog has already won, actually.
Yeah,
I think
like,
we're talking about Sonic 3 and Mufasa.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Mufasa.
saw a meme where it was, you know, the guy who played Barry in The Flash and the CW and stuff, and he's at the grave and he's like, like it's like in between shots, and it's like,
Right.
it's Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and it's 3 different movies that it beat over the last few years, and he's just like, I killed it. Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I think
The Hedgehog
I wouldn't be
all
able
the
to
way.
tell you what I think, but from what I've seen, I think the
The
Hedgehog
Hedgehog
won
looks
out.
like between
and
Jim
fucking
Carrey-
good for Sonic, by
Good.
the way.
Jim
I would
Carrey,
rather
Keanu
watch
Reeves.
any Sonic movie over any Drek that Disney are putting out and calling it live action.
Can you imagine after that first trailer
Yeah.
with the weird
With- oh, the weird
cosplay
Sonic.
child Sonic
Yeah.
that we were
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, Sonic looks really good. It's like that's a
Yeah.
great example of like a studio going like, okay, we get you. It looks like
I
shit.
love the fact
Yeah.
as well. Jim Carrey's like, "I've come out of retirement for the money," and everyone's like, "Okay," and he's like, "Sweet."
Yeah.
You know, and him and Keanu Reeves like, how, you know, we're working on this project, right? We're going to make a lot of money from this. And Jim Carrey's just like, yes, we're going to make so much money from this. Like, I've already wicked it. I know
He's
the
in that
plot.
new one twice as well, right?
He
fucking
plays
senior.
two characters.
Yeah.
And I'm so up for buying like the entire trilogy of the Sonic movies with Jim Carrey in it, just simply for Jim Carrey. This Mufasa movie, why? Why would you make a
Oh,
movie
do you know what?
about
100%. I saw the trailer. I was
Simba's
like, who the fuck asked
dad?
for this? But
like,
yeah.
so Simba's dad is going to go through an entire 2-hour movie under threat by something, but he's not going to die because he's going to get trampled by wildebeest in the
I
future.
get that. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like I get that they're sort of like, oh, we're gonna sort of like explain how him and Scar become brothers and blah blah blah. But you're like, yeah, but he's still gonna toss him off that cliff. So who gives a fuck?
So yeah,
Like, he said, oh, is he gonna betray him at the end of the
like
movie?
I'm
Oh,
sure
what a
the
fucking shot,
CGI looks really really nice, and he looks like a lion, and they look like they're doing what they do. But
We're going for the hedgehog.
yeah, Hedgehog.
Team-
Hedgehog
we're
all
Team
the way.
Hedgehog.
Team Hedgehog, Team Sonic.
So, yeah, Hedgehog all the way. I just want to also interrupt here and just let these guys know what I'm clicking around for. And also answer another question in the chat. That is,
Okay.
if anybody wishes to join our Discord and they
Yes.
don't know how to join, in every single film review on YouTube, in the description box underneath, there is a link
Link to Discord.
our Twitch page,
Yes.
our Patreon page, our social media pages, and of course our Discord link is in there. You just need to click on the link, make an account with Discord if you don't or have one already, and absolutely feel free to join our Discord. Keep the conversation running, talking about films, wrestling, music, sports, even politics.
Even politics.
So
We
yeah,
did do
everyone
that
is welcome to
some
join.
It's
The links
just
are in
under
all the
of
descriptions.
Gary's OnlyFans links.
That's right. I mean, those priority, right? The moneymaker.
If you like feet, we got you covered.
All right, carrying on from Josh's question.
Steve.
What's the best Christmas movie? It's a difficult question. Josh,
Oh, sorry, we're still going. Sorry, my
Home
bad.
Alone is up there for nostalgic reasons, but also Die Hard and Lethal Weapons. So
Man, Die Hard.
best Christmas film.
I mean, I'm gonna say Die Hard's a good call. I'm gonna say Scrooged is always been my favourite. I always do the double bill of Scrooge and Die Hard on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That fucking last speech, man. When Bill Murray hits that last speech, I'm like, fuck you, that's Christmas. That's
Hell
so
yeah.
good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm up there with Scrooged and Muppets Christmas Carol.
Muppets is great.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I love recent editions as well because I think Violent Night absolutely goes in my top 5. I love
I haven't
Violent
seen
Night.
it yet. I still haven't seen
Oh,
it
dude,
yet.
they're making a sequel next year.
I
Dude,
know.
I love
It's
Violent
like a
Night.
7
Okay.
at
Do you know what's
least,
funny?
man.
No, but do you know what's great about Violent Night is it's like
Hobo Die Hard?
no, but it's like it's like Die Hard, right? It's kind of like it's parodying the Christmas movie that isn't a Christmas movie in a lot of people's eyes and stuff.
Yeah, but
So I love it.
I'm so glad he's brought that up. Why are we still living? Well, it's 2025, people. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. This isn't an argument. It's not a statement.
We did a whole podcast on this.
We did a whole podcast on it. Anything that is said at Christmas with any
Souls
type
have
of
put a good one in the
Christmas.
chat. Klaus is a fucking 10 out of 10 movie. I gotta admit, I love for an animated movie. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. Me and my wife always like cuddle up and watch that movie every year. It's amazing. And Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Hell
Die
yeah,
Hard
it
is
is.
a Christmas movie.
But I'm also going to back it up with Krampus, Gremlins,
Nice.
and
This is great.
the Holdovers.
The
as well.
Holdovers.
But
I've not
quickly
watched that
risen
Paul
up.
Giamatti one, right?
Yes,
I've
yeah.
not.
Paul Giamatti.
I've got it lined up to watch. I haven't watched
Excellent.
it yet.
Yeah, watch it over the holidays,
Yeah.
dude. I think you'll love it like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the holdovers is
Fat Man's a
Christmas
fucking
movie-
Fat Man is an unknown banger with Mel Gibson. Actually, I like Fat Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one last question from Josh. Why did the Marvel Cinematic Universe fail?
Sorry, the Sony
Marvel
Marvel.
Cinematic
Because the
Universe.
Marvel Cinematic Universe didn't fail.
It did for me.
The
I haven't-
Sony one.
No, it's
I
not fair,
haven't
man.
cared for the Marvel Cinematic
You don't
Universe
have
since
to.
Endgame.
It's
There was
soon-
one good Spider-Man movie and one
Bro,
good
bro,
Guardians movie. That was it.
It
since.
hasn't
Deadpool.
failed.
Okay, yeah,
Wolverine?
true. Yeah, that.
yeah.
The weird thing is that film was the bookend of 20th Century Fox's X-Men
Right,
movies.
okay, but-
and his introduction into
But if
Marvel.
Marvel
So, yeah.
drop another movie, you're going to watch it,
Sony
right?
Didn't, That's a good point.
I'm waiting for the next Fantastic Four because I like the cast.
Which is a
that's
Marvel
good, yeah.
movie.
yes,
So you're
Yeah.
going to watch the next one.
but I'm saying for me, this has been the biggest lull of I'm not watching that. I'm not watching. Before I watched everything. Now I'm at the point where I'm watching 15% of what they're putting out.
The Sony Marvel Cinematic
it's not
Universe
dead, but
and the Marvel
life
Universe
support.
both died the same fail
Listen.
because they weren't able to keep up the fan love so quickly because they were trying to knock out so much and cover so many bases so quickly that
Dude, Sony failed because they didn't write fucking scripts.
Yeah, they don't. They have terrible
so
writers.
so I took the girls to watch Venom.
I was
3,
being
right?
played.
Yeah.
I was being reasonable,
Jessica
but-
really enjoys the Venom movies. She really, she just likes. And listen,
I like the Venom
The
movies.
problem, I do. And listen, I'll say straight away, the third one is absolutely the weakest one of the fucking three. But so first of all, it's like right, we're gonna build a Sony verse, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the villains from a famous superhero world that we don't have the rights to and try and convince you that's a universe. That doesn't work for a
No.
start.
No.
But
the Venom
so
movies.
I haven't watched Madame Web, but I've been told this by people about. Oh no, this is the thing that they
And
do.
Craven.
When I was
Craven
watching,
dropped,
I'm not fucking watching that either. But when I watched Venom 3, I was like, oh shit, this is what they're talking about. There's so many scenes in Venom 3 where all you get is the back of Tom Hardy's head. Do you know why? Because they're like, Tom,
wasn't there.
we're just going to fill this script in later. We don't even know what this scene is. Do you know what I mean? And I know it was worse in Madame Web because a friend of mine that said it, saw it, he said like, dude, this point's where like the bad guy is talking and you're like, that's not what you're saying. Like they've just overdubbed it regardless of
Yeah.
what his mouth is doing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
The reshoots. Yeah.
They didn't have it.
reshoots, yeah.
I mean, they pushed Null into the last Venom movie,
Right.
and it's like Null's in this, and I was like, fuck, is he? That's fucking awesome. Null's a fucking bit. Oh, he's not in it. I was bait and switch. Oh, fuck you, Sony. Like he's not in the movie
Damn.
Because
You
they
know-
don't, because they can't afford the rights, or they didn't buy
because
it.
they didn't fucking think of it before they released it, and they just threw some CGI together and pushed it out with the final project. The difference is, look, I absolutely agree. There's been like peaks and troughs with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but
Yeah.
at least they had a fucking plan.
They did. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like
had
at
a
least
10-year
they're like
plan.
we've heard a million times about
Yeah.
Feige, like, working on movies, like, no, you can't say that because that pulls into this movie over here. No, you have to do that because that pulls into this movie over here. That's how you build a fucking universe.
Yeah.
Sony were just like, we got 6 characters and we're going to throw movies out.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the script? The what?
I did all the Captain America movies back to back during September, October. And Linda did all the Thor movies back to back. And between that, I realised 7 movies. Fucking great writing.
No, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, I disagree. The Thor movies are terribly written. They're
you
well
said
acted, but they're terribly
I watched
written.
the entire
Captain America.
Captain America's great.
I watched
Yeah.
the entire Captain America series.
What was good as an origin?
Then watched
Winter
the
Soldier
Thor
was excellent.
series.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you watch the Thor series, yes,
Did you get to 7? What? So 3 is Civil
you got
All of
War.
them
4,
together.
You got 4 Thor movies and 3 Captain America
Oh,
movies.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dude. I
Right.
didn't need to-
So the Thor movies, yes, I
Right,
will
was
admit.
Civil War a Captain America movie?
Yes, it was.
Avengers?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Now, yes, I will agree that the Thor movies do get weaker as they go along. Right? Not a lot of people love.
I think they do this.
Not a lot of people love Love and Thunder, but I'm a big, massive fan of it.
Oh, I like Love and Thunder.
Exactly. And Ragnarok is fucking brilliant.
Ragnarok's the top.
I'm a
Ragnarok's
massive
peak.
fan of Dark World, and the Thor first movie is great because it's introducing Thor. The 3 Captain America movies are fucking super duper fucking just back to back. I watched Winter Soldier and then I went straight into Civil War.
Winter Soldier's fucking badass, dude. I
Yeah,
love Winter Soldier.
but mate, when you're about to, when you know you're about to start watching Civil War straight after, and that Cap is gonna have to tell Tony, he knew.
Yeah, dude,
Fucking
it's
killed his
badass.
parents.
I know, but you're talking about the
But-
beginning
but
of the MCU.
To
We're talking
to
about
answer
modern
Josh's question,
MCU.
the reason that the Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe failed is because they didn't have any of that.
It
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
succeeded. It never
Yeah.
even
No.
succeeded.
Yeah, it didn't fail because
No,
it never
no.
fucking got to good yet.
None of that.
But yeah.
Ah, well.
Next question.
Yeah. The next question is from Stephen Sloan.
What?
What up,
Steven?
Steven?
Hi guys, Merry Xmas.
Merry
Let's
Christmas,
talk
man.
sharks. I'm in.
Yeah, I knew Gary.
I
I'm
love
gonna let you read this, so I gotta pee.
Go
I'm
for it.
sorry.
Yeah, you
We're
go.
doing all day, we're gonna have to pee.
I
Sharks.
love the first 2 Jaws movies, and the big reason for that was the practical effects.
Okay, yeah.
And having a full-scale animatronic shark on screen. Jaws 3 and 4 also had animatronic sharks. Deep Blue Sea used the same.
Oh, yeah.
But most shark movies now only use CGI. I feel that's a big reason most of them are rubbish. I know it's costly to make a full-scale animatronic shark, but I'd love some shark movies to take the gamble and go back to animatronic rather than do poor CGI. What do you guys think?
I think the waters of the world right now are so polluted. If you try to put an animatronic shark in
It'll
there,
melt.
it'll freaking melt, and they're like shit. No, all joking aside, I was reading this question and I thought it was great. Obviously, because we get to talk about sharks at Christmas for a laugh.
Christmas shark.
They should make a Christmas shark movie. Set
Santa's
around
shark.
it. Santa's shark. Santa's shark. Oh my god. But at the same time, yeah, like Under Paris was all CGI, wasn't it?
Which one? Yes, yeah.
Under
yeah.
Paris, with
Yeah.
the with
I'm
the
pretty
sharks
sure.
and
Like,
the
I
Paris.
actually didn't see the making of, but there was some atrocious CGI in that film. There was some atrocious CGI in that film.
Yeah.
But the film played it straight, like, and they had good actors, so it didn't feel like an Asylum movie, but it felt like it borrowed from Asylum's budget in terms of the effects.
Especially towards the end, like I'd like to see practical sharks, but in more of a location like Deep Blue Sea again.
Well, the thing is, Deep
You know?
Blue Sea was, like, as far as I'm aware, Deep Blue Sea was like 90% CGI.
Yeah,
like,
it's 99,
I think when
definitely.
they had the shark that
The
they
sharks
were
when they were-
operating on, when
and
they
they're
pulled the
operating
sharks
on.
out of the water,
Yeah.
and they had it there. I think that was the actual animatronic.
this up.
But the rest of the time, it was CGI.
I think it was when you see her in the room and she's dropping the electric as well. I
Yeah,
think
so
that's
like the
practical sharks as
thin
well.
prop. So yeah, well, you don't need the full shark. You just have props to it. Yeah.
Feels totally better, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
standing strong, Chad.
Like, I'm like 9 pounds lighter.
I'm gonna keep drinking until I just go.
I'm feeling the same, but now we're talking about sharks and water. It's kind of getting a bit touchy.
Under
break
Paris
the
was a
water.
piece of shit.
It was an
throw
entertaining
that
piece of shit. I'm looking forward to the second
But we're
one.
talking practical sharks.
I gotta admit, like,
Practical shark effects.
the best thing that happened to Under Paris was Roadhouse, because that meant that Under Paris wasn't the worst movie of the year for me.
Oh yeah, was Roadhouse this year?
It was, yeah. That piece of shit was this year. Sorry, what were we talking about? Practical shark
Practical
effects.
sharks
shark
over
effects.
CGI
Jaws
sharks.
wins, yeah. Oh god, 100% just having it practical.
Yeah, but why they don't use it now and it's more CGI?
Because it's actually
It's cheap.
probably cheaper
Yeah,
to fucking do it on a computer.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, man.
But
The thing is,
Shallows was a good fucking movie.
Yes, I agree.
It's insane.
I
I really
like
enjoyed
that.
The Shallows.
I mean,
They weren't sort of CGI at the end, didn't they? Just like follows her down. Sort
Yeah,
of thing
yeah,
and that,
full
but,
CGI.
It probably was
but
full CGI.
I'm
but it was
of
really
the
good.
argument, like, my argument will change eventually, like 10 years from now, maybe 15, maybe 5. I don't know. I've been banging the drum since the channel started that practical effects are the best and irreplaceable. After a while, I was like, you know what? Practical effects, touch it up with CGI. In the future, CGI will be indistinguishable from practical effects. We will get there. CGI will not stop until it gets there, and we can't tell anymore. The boundaries and the blurring of the lines is already starting to show, where some people are questioning, was that practical or CGI? I think the evolution of film will take us to the point where it will all be digital. It's just going to be that way. It's cheaper. Like, people, we will still get people going onto locations and making films, but it is costly. It's the travel.
Yeah.
It's the travel risk. It's the
Definitely
actors.
the work.
Everything else. So, yeah, the steps have been taken since George Lucas's Episode 1, Phantom Menace. You know, like, let's make a movie in that one room, shoot it all in there.
Yeah.
Like, that has just grown and evolved so much now that it is an industry. Like, everyone thought George Lucas was insane when he did that, and maybe he still gets criticism for it. But the evolution of filmmaking is going at such a rapid pace. It will be exciting to see what CGI can do, but it all comes down to the artistry. Ian and I have been talking. We were talking about Phil Tippett the other day, who a stop motion animator who, like, basically just got dejected after he saw CGI T-Rex, and he was like, "My life's work has been replaced now by these
computers."
You know, and it's soul destroying for those artists, but they're learning and they're adapting and they're evolving and they're making it better every time. They're trying to make it better, but then at the same time, I do worry when you see at the end of, like, I'm not bullying Marvel, picking on Marvel, but at the end of a Marvel movie where you've got like 50 actors go past, and then you've got 5 minutes of CGI artists, and you're just like, what did that guy do? He probably did some sparks.
touched up the cheeks
that guy
and
did
the
some debris
sparks.
from a building collapsing, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but they are no different. I would say those guys are no different than back in the day, 70 years ago, the guy who just highlighted the white paint around the back of the set.
Yeah.
Just before they captured that
It's absolutely
frame.
the same concept.
But
It is. It's just
he
evolved.
didn't capture his name. He was just asked to
You're
touch
still
up
drawing.
the paint. Yeah, you're tracing. You're all over the place.
You are a fucking tracer.
You're a tracer.
fucking tracer.
Man, just yeah. Touch up the special effects. I want more practical effects as well, but I can't deny CGI makes things work. They really do make things work at a certain steady pace. With certain films this year that I've watched, I've actually been like, certain films work on the big screen, some don't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much CGI, 4K, 8K kind of fucking Blu-ray, whatever you throw at the movie, it won't work.
I just love the artistry of miniatures and animatronics and all the work that goes into that. Ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated by that stuff.
We
I'm
watched
not
it when we were
fascinated by
kids.
CGI.
We weren't jaded anymore.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
It's, like, it's kind of, it's a bit off track, but it's like Cars
Yeah.
now. I remember watching the last Grand Tour, Top Gear, whatever you want to call it, sort of thing, where they did their last fucking big tour. And like Jeremy Clarkson, he said, he was talking about Cars, and I like Cars. And he was just saying, he's like, the reason we're finishing this is, he's like, I'm done with cars. They're not interesting anymore. And the way he described it, he said, they're white goods. They're washing machines. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you're right, dude. All these, like, you know, self-driving fucking one-note cars that are coming out. He's like, there's nothing interesting about them. And it's the same thing where we start just pumping out this stuff, you know, that's like, just got a formula to it. It ceases to become interesting. But that's why, again, like, the best thing about it, though, is you find those gems. You get those, like, you know, but even with like, you know, silly example, but even with Terrifier, where I'm like, you know, dude, the practical effects in Terrifier, I was like, fucking cool, man.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah. Well, I hope we answered your question there, Paul.
Merry Christmas, Paul.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Oh, wait, that was Stephen.
Stephen, sorry.
Merry Christmas, Stephen.
We've been drinking. Next question's from Paul.
Merry Christmas, Paul.
Merry Christmas to you and family and friends. Hope you all have a fantastic day. No doubt you'll still be sober come Christmas Day night.
Okay.
My question is to all three of you, and this is, of course, your top 5 movies from 2024 that you've seen and enjoyed, and what movies are you looking forward to in 2025? My top movies from 2024, in no particular order: Deadpool and Wolverine, Doom Part 2, Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Inside Out 2.
I've only seen one of them.
Wicked.
I was thinking, the only one there that's not a sequel is Wicked.
Yeah, I've only seen Deadpool and Wolverine out of that entire
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to save
actually-
our top 5, man, because that's the next
That's
podcast.
all right.
Otherwise, we've
Fairness.
got no content.
Yeah.
So
Inside Out 2 was pretty damn good, I gotta say. I watched that after I watched the first one. And if you've got kids, it was
yeah,
really
man,
good for that.
Pixar don't fuck about, do they?
No,
They tend to
Pixar
knock
don't
out a
fuck
good
about.
movie.
Was it one of the
Deadpool-
highest grossing movies of the year?
I believe
think?
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine was fucking
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Loved it.
just like, oh my god.
Deadpool
Like,
will be on my top 10.
funniest,
Absolutely.
it's fucking easy. Well, the easiest top 5 movies of
Could
the
be.
year.
I mean, it was definitely the best comic book movie of the year.
Wicked, I'm not a fan of. Gladiator 2, I still don't understand because there's no way he's the child of Maximus fucking Aurelius.
No, I've not seen Gladiator 2
No, I've
yet.
not watched
I'm
it
not in a
either.
rush to see it either.
Spoilers,
Do
they
you know
fucked
what?
up the entire story.
My in-laws went to see it and they actually really enjoyed it, but my father-in-law was literally like, he was kind of like, the fucking fighting in the arena is really good. I was like, and? He was
Yeah.
like, I said what I said.
That's
You know, I was like, okay.
story wise, yeah. I'm not putting Alien Romulus on there.
That's a good point. Wicked is a prequel. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's Paul's list. I'm still putting my top films together of the list together. All I know without a
I
fact,
think me and you have the same.
it's
same
the Substance is on there.
Yeah.
Strange Darling is on there, along with the Penguin
Nice.
TV show.
Nice.
Do you know what
Those
will
are-
definitely be on there is was it Mr. Bait versus the Post Office?
That
I
was-
think
was that this year?
That
Was
was
that this year?
That was January this year.
Okay,
Wow.
okay, yeah,
And
'Cause that
was
was great.
Fucking
That was
stellar.
really good.
that felt
I
like
also
last
really
year.
liked Smile 2.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched that yet.
That's very good.
And there was another one as well. Like, I need to get my list together. I can't pull them out of my brain right now.
Not right now. No
Not
way.
right now. I've been drinking for the last 3 hours. But Paul Atherton has also been saying that the things he's looking forward to in the new year includes Wolfman, Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, Bad Guys 2, and Minecraft the movie.
Minecraft.
Also looking forward
Minecraft.
to the final
I'd say-
5 episodes of Cobra Kai before its series
I've
ends.
not watched
Ooh,
any
it
of
wasn't
that.
good.
Thoughts
It
on
wasn't-
season 6?
it
I've
wasn't-
not watched any of it yet.
I've not watched
I've been
any of
saving
it.
it all.
It wasn't good.
Not good.
I'm gonna
No,
wait to
I was
binge it.
gutted.
Oh shit.
I think that's why they split it up so much because it
Into
wasn't
3 parts. That was the annoying. When they split it into 3 parts, I was like, oh wait, then.
the
Oh, wait.
final was just gonna come out. And
I'm looking forward to Wolfman and definitely Nosferatu.
Yes, not
Because that's not out in the UK until January. So I think
Unfortunately, yeah.
if you're across the pond, you've already got it.
yeah.
But yeah, we don't get it till January. It literally is dropping New Year's Day. I
think so,
actually.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But fucking, I've watched some non-spoilery reviews and stuff, and yeah, it sounds. I mean, I was already in.
I'm just gonna see if the wiki's out.
Oh god.
Well, don't tell me if it's about fucking Nosferatu.
But Paul
What?
also finishes by
Nosferatu's a
saying,
vampire.
yeah.
can't wait to watch you guys. I'm sure it'll be awesome as always. And guys, this time do us a favour. No toilet breaks.
No
You
way.
should have read this at the start.
Man,
Sorry, Paul.
This
We're in our
Disclaimers.
40s, bro. We're gonna
we're
fucking pee.
our
I'm
bladders
peeing.
like-
I'm peeing right now.
If we-
I'm
No
holding
one knows.
Paul.
I'm
like,
peeing right now.
I'm holding it together at the moment. Barely
Next question is
holding
from
it together.
David Morris.
What
What up,
David?
David?
Now then, fellas, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas, David.
Christmas.
Hope you're all
David.
doing great. My question is as follows. My local cinema has been doing a month of cinema showings related to genres, actors, directors,
Nice.
etc. Kubrick films, Xmas films, Ridley Scott, and so on.
Yes, boss.
My questions are, if you could curate your own film month, what would the theme be and what would the films be? Cheers and fist bumps all round.
Tarantino.
Tarantino
all month.
Yeah, Tarantino month is good. Mine would obviously be all John Carpenter.
Yeah, I
movies.
was going to say John Carpenter marathon, but because you've got Carpenter month, I would go sci-fi horror month. So all the Alien films, Predator films,
That'd be cool.
Event Horizon, You know, just sci-fi horror, anything sci-fi horror from any decade. You know what? I think we might just go, 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties. Like that will be the month. So 1 week in the 70s, or like similar to what we did our horror theme this year. That would be my cinema show.
So, some of the movies I've watched this year on the big screen has been fucking mind blowing. Like I said, Alien 3 on the big screen.
It was great.
I know everybody watched Romulus. I watched Romulus. There's no music in Romulus that fucking hits when that music hits. Da, da, da,
I will say the Alien quadrilogy has a cracking soundtrack. I will say the Prometheus tune is pretty memorable because when they play the Prometheus fire track in Romulus, I'm like, it's a Prometheus tune. Like I recognize that. So.
Man, I fucking.
But yeah, Alien Romulus doesn't have its own music
Warriors.
score that.
I did the Warriors this year when that radio presenter comes through.
Keep on bopping.
Nowhere to run to, baby.
Nice.
Hide. Nowhere to hide.
I like when they sort of like did the take on it in John Wick 4. Do you remember that? He's like flying around there, and she's on the mic. That's
she came out.
And they put it like they did it like the game as well, didn't it? It was like a shot over the top, and he's like
something...
walking through that house with like those hellfire shells out of a shotgun, just like wrecking shop. It's like
if we don't get if we don't get a chance to bring her up, I'm just gonna bring her up quickly now. John Wick 4 I watched this year. Man, that ending was so fucking stupid.
He's still falling down them stairs.
He's still fucking falling down those stairs.
He's still falling down.
It was so fucking like
he's gonna be falling down the
Christmas. The Triumph and getting hit by all those cars. Everyone's like, John Wick's fucking amazing. I'm like, there's not a police car anywhere. Nobody's even stopping their cars. They're just driving around. It was like Burnout
because it was all CGI. That bit.
It was like the infinite fucking.
I hated the CGI of those cars. I was like, that's awful.
And then he runs up those stairs.
Every car was the same.
Like, I enjoyed the film, but that was a bad scene.
Yeah.
That was a rough scene.
Yeah.
But then you do get that fucking very cool, practical looking film where he's flying down them stairs.
True.
This is good again.
That was
Great question. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Next question is from Cassandra
What
Forward.
up, Cassandra?
Good
How is the void?
Good morning to you and all shelfers. I shall be there with bells and whistles. Consider it a late one for me that night.
Nice.
Very Merry Christmas to you, Gary. Andy, also you and your family, Ian, spoil the babies. Love all the way from New Zealand. And that was Weevil.
Love up, Weevil.
Thank you so much, Weevil.
There wasn't a question in there, but...
No, that's fine.
Gary just called it anyway.
Sometimes they just want to shout out. Just want to say thank you.
Everyone. Fist bumps all round.
Next question is from Craig's house.
What up, Craig's house?
Not a question. Just wishing you all a fantastic Christmas and a great New Year.
Merry
Fist
Christmas,
bumps.
Craig.
Merry
Cheers,
Christmas,
Craig.
man.
Merry Christmas.
I really fancy a mince pie anyway.
Next question
when
is...
Linda dropped us off here, he was like, we got out of the car and he was like,
you
get to work on that fucking mince pie thing you make or whatever. I was sat in the back of the car with a dog.
In my defense, my wife makes these amazing mince pie turnovers every year. They're like little...
What's the difference between a mince pie and a turnover?
So a mince pie comes in like a little round kind of cakey tin thing.
Pie.
And a turnover is kind of like a weird triangle shape with icing sugar thrown over the top.
Oh, icing sugar.
Fucking sick. Like, she makes like 24 of them. It's fucking... Like,
Kids get 4.
Anyway.
Dylan's yet to get one.
In fairness, in my defense, Linda bought the rolled pastry box thing like a week ago, and it was in the fridge. I was like, "Ooh, when are you gonna make them?" I'm gonna make them the weekend. And I went to work, and then it got to the weekend, and I went to work at the weekend, and I came back, and she didn't make them. She didn't make them on the Sunday. She didn't make them on the Tuesday, and I was like, "Oh, when are you gonna make them?"
Building anticipation for me.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I forgot."
Linda, why are you not in the chat right now?
Could you possibly make them
making Ian's mince turnovers
while we're like at the podcast? She knows she could. She's been enjoying the time off and just chilling recently.
What did you say? Left though.
I was just like, please make sure you.
No, but if you were like, if you could like,
if you could
when you pick us up, if you could turn up with these mince pies, that'd be great.
Just a thought, man. Yeah. Turnovers.
Alrighty. Next question, which is also not a question. It's from New Zealand Nick.
What up, Nick?
Just put in the comment. Oh my god, they're made.
Nice, Mama Bugs. You have made Ian's day.
I'm gonna eat two of them.
Stop fucking talking about
two of them.
it, dude. Now I'm kind of like, when she picks us up, if I don't get one of these mince pies, I'm gonna be kind of pissed.
No,
Why
Ian's
are you
going to be pissed if
baking?
you take
I mean,
one.
you look
I
cooking.
dropped
What are
off
you
fucking
baking?
pate to you the
You
other
make
day. so
pate.
I'm like-
You got to be
like,
baking. Like, where's your Christmas
No, I
muffins?
don't bake cakes. That's the kid.
You should do.
No, the kid makes
Man,
the
you
cakes.
should go on British Bake Off. 2026.
What be like, I made this
Andy
pate.
should be on British Bake Off. Seriously.
I'd go on British Bake Off and be like, I made this steak, now fucking eat it.
On live
It
national
was
television.
supposed to be a gatto. He's like, I've made you a steak.
Do you know I had to do that this year when I dropped food off to you guys, and then Linda, bless your heart, she was like, "Do you want me to make you a Black Forest gatto like I do every year?"
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And she's like, "Why?" I'm like,
I'm
"Because-"
trying
I was
to-
like, Linda, I eat it for fucking breakfast. I can't have it in the house. And the kid was so pissed. She was like, "What do you mean not get the Black Forest gatto?" I was
We're
like,
not
"You don't
getting
really
cake."
eat it anyway." She was like, "No, but it's funny when you eat it for breakfast and then cry that you're fat." And I'm like, "You suck, kid."
Stop
Like,
it.
All that is.
well, yeah, do me a favor. Oh my god.
Alrighty. Not a question from Nick. He just wanted to wish us all a very Merry Xmas. Big hugs and fist bumps all round.
Fist
Cheers,
bumps.
Nick.
Merry Christmas, Nick.
Next question is from Richie Cornbread.
What up, cornbread?
Richie?
It's Christmas!
Yeah, boy.
So, Merry Xmas, and I hope you all have a better 2025. Awesome podcast as always. At this time of year, most people have a few Xmas movies to watch. What is your favourite non-Christmas movie do you like to watch this time of year? And no, Die Hard doesn't count as a Christmas movie.
Oh, you're gonna fight.
Nah.
See,
Did I read that
we've
right?
had this we've had this conversation, haven't we, about sort of like there's Christmas movies and then there's movies you watch at Christmas.
Yes.
Definitely the Indiana Jones trilogy for me is.
Oh,
I
nice.
Good shout.
I love watching.
Nice.
those
shout.
at
Back to the
Christmas.
Future.
Back to the Future is a great one. Fucking Star Wars trilogy, but definitely Indiana Jones for me.
For me, for me and my brother, actually, growing up, every Christmas Eve was Jim Carrey night. We'd watch
really?
as many Jim Carrey movies as we
Oh,
can before we
nice.
fell asleep laughing.
Yeah.
So it would be the
That's
Ace
a good
Venturas
fucking
and
night.
Liar Liar and stuff like that.
He keeps teasing about a Mask sequel, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm so here for that. Like,
Yeah, because I love Jim Carrey. I love him in interviews, behind the scenes, like of course the Andy Kaufman stuff with Man on the
Man
Moon.
on the Moon
Like
is
broke
amazing.
my heart watching his.
I've
performance in
got to
that.
bail my boy out because Richie has put that he says it is an Xmas movie. It's a mistype.
Oh, okay.
nice.
Sorry, Richie. Thank you.
Nice.
I just want to say we're going to be war, Richie. There's going to be cornbread being thrown you away, my dude. But for Richie, his non-Xmas movies include Starship Troopers, Pitch Black, and the
Brilliant.
Evil Dead series of movies.
Oh, the Evil Dead
But
series.
for me, it's probably still just going to be anything.
Ours
Jim
is all
Carrey.
going to be like the stuff that you only got to watch as a kid because we only had 4 channels that they only
Yes.
showed at Christmas.
Man,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like stuff that was released the year before that you didn't get to
I've-
see and stuff. So
I've actually
fucking Labyrinth
been-
is one for me.
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason.
I've actually been watching weird films at strange times. And what I mean by that is, like, a couple of nights ago, it was like 11 o'clock at night. Linda had gone to bed. I was in the front room. I should have just gone to bed. I was on my 4th beer. I was just fucking... I was not
Oh my
going to be
God, he's on
awake.
his way out.
I was
Yeah.
on my way out, man. I was not going to be awake for long. And I was like, you know what? I really fancy watching A Sword in the Stone.
Classic.
And I put The Sword in the Stone on at 11 o'clock at night. And what I mean is, it's like...
yeah, I haven't seen it in so long.
I started watching that. I fell asleep. I woke up. He was talking to a squirrel. I went back to sleep. The
I'm an ugly, grouchy old man.
the TV turned itself off. And then the next morning, me and the dog woke up really, really early on the sofa. And I'm like, oh, man, I was watching Sword of Stone. I should have gone to sleep.
Oh, man, I'm
Fucking-
so watching Sword in the Stone when you guys leave tonight.
Like, I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, I'm just going to get a coffee. Do you know what? I kind of really fancy watching Coneheads. You know, and just
Banger.
get a movie,
Yeah, banger.
right?
Oh, not for me.
It's
I hate Coneheads.
no,
Really?
but
I
Oh, I
hate
love that
it.
movie.
They're
Bro, no,
so
no.
annoying.
What I'm saying is you find a movie that, like, for me, Coneheads is funny as fuck. But like a comedy or something that's really like warm and heart lifting, like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Like at a really
Classic
obscure night,
Disney.
at a time of night or morning, just before you have to hit the day. Like The Black Hole or Warlords of Atlantis.
Nice.
Like you said, Jim Carrey. Why don't you fucking watch Man in the Moon at 6 o'clock in the morning before you have your coffee and while you're eating your breakfast? Fucking Andy
you very
Kaufman,
much.
Liar Liar, you know, fucking... Yeah, man. Short Circuit and Flight of the Navigator.
Battery's not included.
Battery's not included. Cocoon 1 and 2.
I like watching like Short Circuit because Ali Sheedy's in a bathtub. I'm a big fan of that.
Need
I
input.
was about to fucking say that.
Yeah, we do.
Like, okay, right. So you wake up. Here's a quick question for everybody. This for the chat as well that's listening, and for Gary and Andy. Quickly, right?
Yeah.
You wake up 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Right? Yeah. You wake up 5 o'clock in the morning.
Only
You
just
get to
gone to
have-
bed.
You get to have a
I can
coffee.
still taste the toothpaste.
You get to have a coffee or an orange juice just to wake yourself up, but you have to flick on the TV and something has to be on the TV to grab your attention that you're going to watch for the next 2 hours. At
What,
least.
5 in the morning?
At 5 in the
It better be
morning.
fucking porn.
Okay, we got porn from Andy. Like I was
Coffee's not
thinking,
kicked in yet.
film wise, more like I could probably go
Well,
with
at
Doctor
Christmas?
Strange. No,
Do you know,
no,
I'll give you
anytime
this.
it could
Well,
be
I'll
Christmas.
give you
Could be
this.
it's just got to be
It's,
something.
Every Christmas morning, pretty much when we get up, because even at fucking age 14, the kid still wakes us up Christmas morning. Like, yeah, it used to be like Santa's been. Now it's wake up, bitches! I got presents. But we go downstairs, and Donna will always put like the Gruffalo on, like
Nice.
weird, like, old animations like that.
Mate,
you know?
Snowman.
Yeah, do you know what? I fucking hate that shit. I hate that.
I'd sing
I
Welsh
can't
boy.
stand the song.
That's Christmas Day evening. The
Yeah.
Snowman for me, not first thing in the morning.
But yeah, no, she'll put like where the wild things are, that kind of stuff on first thing in the morning. Yeah,
That
she
was
really
James
likes that.
Gandolfini as well, wasn't
But
it?
she,
The live
it's
action one.
kind of like because we started watching it with Jessica when she was really young. Jessica doesn't give a fuck because she's all over her presents, and Donna's the one who's like, I like the Gruffalo. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, 5 o'clock, waking up, something on.
Honestly, the first thing that came to mind was the Indiana Jones movies that you
Yeah.
mentioned
Oh,
earlier,
nice,
because I've watched like. The unfortunate thing is that the last two movies are what's in my mind over the original trilogy, because I haven't watched the original trilogy since the last two indie films have come out. So I'm honestly feeling like a go back, because Last Crusade, when they ride off into the sunset, is such a good ending.
We named a
Do you know
dog,
what,
Andy.
I love watching Last Crusade with Donna and her mum, because we're always there on
5
Boxing
a.m.
Day. Is when the plane goes down the tunnel and knocks the wings off.
Yeah, yeah.
Donna's mum bursts into fits of fucking laughter every time. She knows it's coming.
Is it Sean Connery's reaction, his
Little
expression?
bit.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's like the only thing I like draw parallels to. It's me when Dowboy falls through the bar and only falls north.
Nice.
Like, I will
Yeah.
always laugh really hard at that. She just loses her shit. She's normally had a few drinks as well. Everything's merry, and she just starts laughing so
it's
hard,
just-
and
it's-
it makes me laugh
Yeah.
at her. I'm not even looking at the screen. I
Yeah.
know what's on the screen.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
For
That's,
me,
that's what I'm saying. You put a film on, you don't
Yeah.
even have to fucking watch it. It's just there. And
Planes, Trains, and
Jay,
Automobiles, the moment where he turns
Grinch
into the
Animated
devil.
is a really good call because like Jessica actually started her first Christmas tradition this year. Actually,
Okay.
because like we're big into Christmas traditions in the house. She decided that what was it? She finished on Friday. She finished school. I happened to finish work as well on the Friday. I got my time off or whatever. So I said to her, look, when you get home, what do you want to? It's Christmas. What do you want to do? And she went, I want to watch the Jim Carrey Grinch and the new animated one that Scott Mosier did with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Sure.
She said, I want to watch them back to back.
Nice.
So I said, okay. And she went, from now on, when my last day of school that's when we watch those two movies.
Yeah.
I was like, right on, cool, I'm down with that.
Gotta get the
Nice.
version.
Yeah.
But otherwise, maybe like I'm just trying to think like early Christmas Day morning, like Fellowship of the Rings. I have
Bang that on.
Yeah, man.
You ain't got to do nothing for this 3 hours.
Yeah.
I got to change that
that's
disc
it.
for 3 hours.
But I can
Sit
also
back.
think like I could do this all day.
Yeah.
Man, that's it.
Just
This
keep
year,
going.
I don't need to eat.
this year for Christmas Eve, I'm doing the Hobbit trilogy, and then Christmas Day, I'm doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Nice.
For fucking like literally a month, all I had in my head was, but the ring betrayed Isildur. And I'm like, I have to watch that fucking film.
Thank you for the question, Richie.
Nice one, Richie.
Alrighty, next question is from Neurovisor.
What up,
What up,
Nero?
Nero?
What's up? Sorry, he's bringing it back.
What's that?
That's all right.
Bring it back.
I can bring it back.
We usually talk about the movies or the games of the year, but what about albums of the year? You guys have any album of the year for this year? And happy Die Hard Day. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Merry Christmas, Neuro.
Question.
Not big.
I
big
haven't
on
listened
music?
to any new musician this year because I'm old and all new music sucks.
All Gary's music is copyright free. He doesn't listen to anything that costs money.
I've just been listening to AI generated synthwave crap. I don't know.
I have to look through my Spotify. I'll pull out the. They obviously dropped the new Linkin Park album this year with a new vocalist, and that was a good album.
Okay.
That took me that took me some time to get used to because they didn't really let her come at the forefront. But it was a good album. That one, I'll give it that one. I'm trying to see what's coming this year.
So I usually listen to new albums when it's like, hey, Metallica released a new album. It's like, oh, aren't they dead yet? Let's listen to what they did.
If you listen to that latest album, you think they might be.
Right, yeah.
I'm always Spotify. All my Spotify is just stuff I listen to work just to keep me working through work. So it's all music that's been out for
I'm going to have to turn to our audience and to the younger generation and say, what should I listen to
I'm
now?
not going to say
What's your favourite album?
so much albums, but like a lot of artists that I've turned to this year that maybe are a bit newer to me. Like Chris Stapleton is one that I've discovered because a friend of mine, she really loves Chris Stapleton, so we had to listen to it every time we went around there. So thank you for that because it was really good. He was pretty awesome.
Man, Puff Daddy dropped some bars this year.
Fucking hell, Ian. Actually, I do have an answer, but I don't think it's a new album. But if there's one band or one group that I don't know if I don't think they've released beyond YouTube, but they're a group called Gunship.
Gunship, yes.
Gunship,
they've been out for a couple of years, yeah.
They've been out for years now, and their music videos on YouTube are re-edits of all of your favourite 80s, 90s movies with some real upbeat synthwave sounds and lyrics. They're really, really good. I've been listening to Gunship almost on loop for most of this year. So if there's any band I listen to more than anyone this year, it's Gunship.
So
that's my answer.
Gunship
I'm going to say, album-wise, I'll say Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse. That's a banger.
Nice.
Oh, fucking, actually, an album my son introduced me to. I've not heard them very much. I think they're called Killjoy. I think I spoke about them on the last podcast.
I was going to say, this sounds, I'm getting deja vu.
Killjoy? I want to say Killjoy. Named after fucking the TV show on BBC One. You know, starring Ian McShane.
Killjoy.
Yeah, Killjoy.
Lovejoy. I mean Lovejoy.
Lovejoy. Sorry, there we go. Lovejoy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lovejoy. That's how I remember. Lovejoy is the new album my son introduced me to. They're pretty badass. Yeah, check it out.
Right on.
Yeah.
I give them a go.
Nice.
Good question.
Yeah, thank you for the
question.
question.
Ian
No.
McShane.
Next question is from Dying Star TTV.
What up, Dying Star?
What has been your proudest moment since starting Off the Shelf Reviews? Also, Merry Christmas, gents.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers, my dude.
Getting to episode 70 of the podcast.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, man.
Cheap,
like,
but nice one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it might be cheap, and I want to get in there before you guys have to think, because then I can nip off to have a wee. But I'm going to make my answer really extended, so it looks like I really know what I'm doing, and then I can nip out. So, getting to episode 70 of the podcast is one of the proudest factors, because we've actually got to 70 episodes of a podcast. You know, it's just three guys sat in a room with a bunch of microphones trying to record and talk about things. But we also relate really heavily to everybody else who is listening and in the chat because, well, we're all normal people just trying to get through this Mad Max kind of life.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm not trying to sound like over hypocritical or like some kind of patriarchal Bill Paxton kind of fucking figure, you know, wagging my finger to everybody. But Jesus Christ, like we're right near Christmas of 2024. We're about to step into 2025. Like at some point in my childhood, that was the future, and all of a sudden it's tomorrow.
God, it's so weird when you watch films like that. Set in the distant future of 2017, and you're like, man, fuck you, movie.
yeah.
Fuck you.
You know, but where was I again?
Oh, fuck, I got
On your way to the bathroom.
On my way to the bathroom.
Yeah, desperately trying not
Man,
to piss
here
you
we
out.
are though, like off the shelf reviews, proudest moment. Me, Andy, Gary got us some really kick-ass Christmas presents. They're gonna go off and have a really cool kick-ass Christmas. Hopefully, you all have a really cool kick-ass Christmas as well, and then we'll get on to the other side of 2025 and have other films that we have to review. And I think I've extended my answer really good, so now I can dip out, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
You got it. You got it.
I'm good.
My proudest moment.
Fuck, that was close.
a lot of
We
flailing ape
we
monsters.
nearly lost so much audio then.
Excuse me. My proudest moment was a moment that was snubbed almost instantly afterwards by myself. And that was the moment when our Terminator 3 review went past 1 million views. It's the only video on the channel that's
awesome.
even close to 1 million views. And I was super excited. Super excited. I shared the news. Everyone, family, friends were like, congratulations, well done. That's an amazing achievement. I'm like, yes, it is. Actually, it is, isn't it?
Fucking
like,
it is,
getting
man.
that feedback was like, actually, that's really awesome.
Especially you did it with Terminator 3.
Terminator 3, right? So I was like, yeah, we best do the rest of the Terminator movies. People are hot on this. And then I looked at the analytics for the video. And 99% of the audience had switched off within 10 seconds of hitting the play button. So it's like, yeah, okay, so I feel like we suckered in 1 million people to click on that link because they thought they were watching the film. And then as soon as they saw Ian and me turn up, they were like, off. Like, no subscribe, no follow, just off, and never came back.
You know, if you'd have just listened to our review, you'd have noticed that this was probably better than the movie.
So yeah, thank you to the guys that have watched our Terminator reviews. But like, I mean, it's a huge milestone. Still, it's still a milestone for us to hit 1 million views on one video. But it is soul destroying a little bit when you realise that 99% of the audience just switched it right off after it started. So it is what it is.
Hey, I'll take the money. That's what you want to say.
Well, unfortunately, there was a few. There was pre-roll ads, so yeah, there was a few pence there.
There you go. Are you planning your route?
Swing him back in.
There you go.
But I will say my proudest moment, I guess, I'm going to say is similar to Ian.
Thank you very much.
It's right now. 11 years, going into our 12th year next year.
Jesus, yeah.
Ian and I are still friends. We've talked Terrifier movies. You know? we've discussed the Terminator franchise and the Hellraiser franchise and so many franchises, and we have argued and we have showered at each other over our opinions and thoughts on films. But at the end of the day, once we've finished recording, once the cameras are off,
It's like, next.
it's like we hit that reset button, and that can only really happen when you know each other intimately well, when you are lifelong friends to the point where you are family. And Iain and Andy are my family.
Fucking A, dude.
So I couldn't. We have an extended family of Off the Shelf Review members, of course. They are all a part of it. That's what I'm proud of.
Yes.
It's the fact that we can still do this and be friends, because everybody tells you don't go into business with friends, you know. And I hope Ian and I are proof that you can do it. You just got to love each other and respect each other and appreciate each other and what you both bring to the table when doing something. Yeah, so yeah, I'm hyper proud of where we are today.
And don't buy cryptocurrency.
Right, don't be stupid.
If you bought Spitcoin, you're a fucking idiot.
But I was going to invest in
that
the
was
Hawk
Hawk
2
Tuah girls.
coin. Right, what's that one?
To be fair,
Shit.
Spitcoin, I was like, it's actually quite clever.
Like, I'm just.
So I was like, you buying it? I'm like, no, I'm not fucking buying it. You out of your mind?
I always thought my problem
Gotta
was
spit on that thing.
I wasn't technically sound, and then as technology kind of fucked people over, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not technically sound.
Oh yeah, dude. You don't want to know about like Bitcoin and NFTs. You're right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next question is from Solza.
What up,
Solza?
Soldier?
What is the biggest twist you've come across in a film? One where your jaw just hit the floor, like you just had absolutely no idea. Appreciate that's major spoiler territory, but I don't care. Cheers, Solza.
Nice. Do you know what? I'm going to give a really fucking kind of generic answer, but it is the truth that it absolutely knocked me off my chair. Was No, I Am Your Father.
Star Wars.
When I watched that, when I was a kid, and when he says that, I'd lost my fucking mind. Like, you know, and obviously it had already been out for a long time, so because of, you know, not having any internet around or any other stuff, no one had told me. I just started watching the Star Wars movies and found that out.
Yeah.
It was fucking insane. That was a great twist in the movie.
I
Absolutely diluted now and doesn't work because it's so, you know,
to the point of parody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always loved the ending to Psycho 2. Now, the ending of Psycho 2 to a lot of people, Psycho 1 is
I put
amazing.
3
It's
in
by
there when
Alfred
you say
Hitchcock, you know, Norman Bates, killed his mother, and then he obviously takes on her persona in his mind, and he kills a bunch of people, and he gets
Jay,
locked
you
away.
pulled my next one, mate.
Psycho
Well done.
2 is just like, how the hell did they beat that sequel? And at the end of that movie, this woman, this old lady that you've seen at the start, comes up and says, well, Norman, I'm actually really your mother. And the woman that was your mother was actually my sister that you killed. And I've been helping kill all the people who've been torturing you through this movie. So actually, you've not killed anybody. I've been killing them all. And then he kills her with a shovel to the head. And then he puts her up into the bedroom in the window. And she talks from the voice in his head. And
Yeah.
like Norman Bates is back.
You mentioned it earlier, Primal Fear.
Primal Fear, yeah.
Edward Norton.
Edward
That's
Norton's
a good
twist.
one. Jay pulled the best one in the Book of Eli.
Book of Eli. Oh, where he's actually blind.
But that's one that when you realise it, you're like, oh, I'm dumb as fuck. How did I not understand that until this point?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm dumb.
Because there's actually a couple of
Fight Club is.
There's a
fucking
couple of
brilliant one.
sequences in that movie where it looks like he's looking like he sees, wait for the glasses on, but then you realise actually he's just blind.
Mine that made me realize is like when it goes back and then
Sixth Sense,
I remember back to him walking up the steps and he kicks the steps every time he walks up it, so we can understand where the steps are. And I was like, shitbag. I can't believe I spent 90 minutes and didn't work that out.
Yeah, honestly, I can't recall one.
What one that spoiled?
No, not one plot twist like the like. I mean, you mentioned, which one did you mention? You mentioned
Primal Fear.
Oh no, Star Wars. But like as a kid, I was just like, all right, he's his dad. Like I was not like.
I saw it on your
affected by the twist or anything like that.
The list there, Frailty was pretty good.
Yeah, but it was not like jaw dropped. Like,
not
oh my god!
Like,
like I cannot think of a single film twist that really did that. The Usual Suspects is a good one.
A good one, but
the Seven, the head in the
box.
It's not really a twist.
Though,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. There was The Others with Nicole Kidman. That one was a good twist. That one was the one that I was shooked by that one. But not to that extent. It's
Prestige,
really tough.
what a fucking pull. Yes, mate.
Prestige
is a great one.
yeah.
But Prestige is great because it's like that twist is like where they give you like 10-15 good minutes of them explaining it all to you in like plain English, like you're stupid and you're sat there like, yeah, I am dumber than this.
Why
movie,
did I not see that coming?
Awesome.
Jesus.
Yeah, so good. So good.
The Game. The
Michael
Douglas one,
yeah,
yeah.
Good one,
Yeah, that one was a good one. But again, yeah, I guess I'm just not shocked by plot twists, I suppose. I'm more intrigued or excited by them, but not shocked.
That's another good like comment in there from Dying Star where he says it reframes the movie. Those are the best plot twists. Where it makes you go back and like
so
you're
Sixth
sat
Sense
there
and the Others
and you're like, I've got 10 seconds to rewatch this movie in my head real quickly and like, oh god, that's why they did this, that's why they went here, oh that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Those are absolutely the best ones. When it changes the movie for you there. Donnie Darko I can't say is a plot twist, so I don't understand what the fuck happened all the way through that movie anyway. So but you are right.
Thank you for the question, Solza.
That's a great question.
Next question is from Codude.
What up, Codude?
Santa gives you the following gift for Christmas. Ooh. You can remake any one movie, choosing the director, actors, writers, and so forth, effectively having complete creative control with a more than adequate budget. The catch is that the original movie will be erased out of existence, never to be seen again. What movie do you choose and why?
Well, I was going to say The Thing, but I can't erase the original Thing.
Well, no, we got a chance to get rid of a shit movie here.
We do.
Well,
you can remake Dark Fate.
Well, no, I wouldn't make Dark Fate.
No, what you do is you just be like, at least just, you know that scene where he's a driver? Cut that. We're done. We're fucking done.
I would, okay. Jumping out on the limb right now, I would remake Romulus, and I would have the entire...
You fucking hate this movie so much.
I would have the entire crew, including Rain and Andy, start off as...
Quick question, Ian.
Yes.
Which movie is the worst offender? Halloween Ends or Alien Romulus?
Halloween Ends.
So you're not choosing Halloween Ends as a remake?
No, because
carry on. Sorry.
You stop at 2016 or 2018. Sorry,
They're
Halloween
just one movie, no sequels.
Where he's in the
I like that movie. I like that first one. That was really good.
End it. Kills and then I'd remake Romulus. I would start them on the ship. They wouldn't be on any kind of Weyland-Yutani planet. They'd be scavengers. They'd be looking for shit. They'd come across a space station.
I like the planet.
The planet shit. Fuck the planet stuff.
Good.
They get
Added
onto
more
the
flavor.
space station. Mother starts talking to Andy. Andy realizes he's never had a mother before, but he's already talked about this to Rain,
I'm like,
about some kind of relationship, about mother. Mother is voiced by Sigourney Weaver. And it turns out, yes, they've been biogenetically making aliens, but these are different types of facehuggers, which have been infected with the black goo stuff. So when the chest bursters come out...
So you get a chance to remake Romulus, and you're actually going to keep the black goo.
I'll keep the black goo.
Do you know what I would do? Is actually, I would just at least I would name the black, because I think the biggest problem we've got with the black goo is that we keep calling it the black goo.
Yeah, but it's called like the Promethean
Fire, Blood of the First Deacon. Any of these are better.
It's like
everything I see is like black goo. And you're like, maybe that's your fucking problem.
The black goo makes chest bursters that she blasts, and yeah, Andy helps her escape, but he actually sacrifices himself at the end and says, "Look, one of us has to jettison this whole thing," and gives his life. And it's just her floating off.
See, this is what I'm thinking. We need to go back further.
You're gonna remake Covenant, aren't you?
No, back further.
Oh, you're
Prometheus.
Okay.
Go back further, because
Prometheus.
Prometheus was the alien film that when you got questions, we got fucking answers,
Okay,
mate.
how
You
do
got
you remake
questions,
Prometheus?
we'll tell you how the alien got where it did and all this happened. But all it did was open up the floodgate of fucking questions.
Yes.
So Prometheus is the one that introduced the black goo. It retconned the engineers and screwed, and all the problems go back to Prometheus. But I'd also say Alien 3 is also... you know I love Alien 3. For a long period of time, Alien 3 was my favourite film ever. Like, I wrote essays on Alien 3 because of how profoundly I was affected by it in terms of storytelling, especially when you kill beloved characters off screen between movies. Like, it was an eye-opener into the filmmaking industry and an eye-opener in terms of storytelling. So remaking Alien 3 and going, for the love of God, Hicks and Newt survive, that changes everything going forward. The franchise would be completely different.
They should have gone with Neil Blomkamp from fucking...
Yeah.
I'm gonna remake Resident Evil.
That was actually my answer. I was following on from
because
but Resident Evil deserves a good movie.
I get to delete all of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
By
do.
this logic.
Do the
Including
first one.
Welcome
Welcome
that's
to
important.
Raccoon City.
Yes.
And I just make it a, as best as I can, shot for shot remake of the first game.
Yes.
And I do keep the line Jill sandwich in.
Yes, of course you do.
Because
We
that's
need
somehow
that line.
still better than everything that Anderson did, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I honestly think that remaking or just making Resident Evil 1, the game, into a movie has got to be one of the easiest tasks.
Fuck me, they've
for
even
a
set up
writer
look,
to
they've set up
do.
the cameras for you. It's really easy.
We have had nearly 100 years of haunted house movies. That's all Resident Evil 1 is. It's boiled down
100%.
into its archetypes. It's the most simplistic recipe and formula. Jesus Christ, I don't understand how they've screwed it up more than 8 times already. It blows my mind that they can't get that right. So
But
yeah,
they
my
did.
answer is also Resident Evil 1. Because I'm not going to touch
Resident
Alien.
Evil 1.
I'm happy with where it's at, good and bad. But Resident Evil is just fucked from the
The fact that you
get-go.
get to Thanos snap that entire universe, that to me
Yeah,
is like...
it's done.
I can just hear fucking Madonna in the back. Bye, gone, you fucking piece of shit.
Man, I don't know. Slipknot, My Plague is still pretty badass.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would still bring back the same musicians that did the Resident Evil 1
Oh, I'll put
soundtrack,
Jonathan
because that
Davis
was
into
great.
it. Yeah, fuck
That
right.
was great.
I might go home and watch Resident Evil 1. Christmas movie style.
Oh my god.
I mean, Michelle Rodriguez
There you go.
shooting
That's the
zombies.
type
It's
of movie
pretty
you
fun.
watch it. That's the type of movie you watch at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're like, what the fuck should I watch?
That's the movie that you watch at 5 in the morning and go, shit, I'm drunk. I'll go
Yes.
to bed. I'll go to bed.
Yes. Thank you, Kodu, for letting us rewrite history
Yeah,
for a
fucking great
moment.
question.
Yeah. Rewrite history.
All right, I'm just going to refresh the page because we might be on our last question of the year.
Last question of the year.
We
We're
are
4
on the
hours
last
and 10
question
minutes
of
of
the
a
year,
podcast. Love it. 4 hours and 10.
Thank God, because we've all got to pee.
Me too. I've been holding it on this whole
Yeah,
time.
he's still holding.
These motherfuckers, they broke their seal.
Yeah, fuck.
Last question of
medical condition.
2024 comes from Jay Hines.
What
my
up,
man,
Jay?
Merry Christmas, fellas. Andy, how many tattoos do you have, and how much have you spent on ink altogether so
fucking
far?
hell.
And do you get mates rates?
Oh, I absolutely don't. I absolutely, okay. All right. Interesting. Right now, no, I do not get mates rates. Me and Donna have both found an amazing tattooist that we love. Sophie, she's brilliant. She totally gets the kind of stuff that we're into. Donna's working on a leg sleeve at the minute. She won't see this either. So it's like her birthday's in early January. So I've got her a voucher to go see our tattooist. Random one. Sophie's tattoo studio has moved into the old location of me and Donna's first hair salon that we bought up on North Hill.
Oh,
so that was weird. Going up there the other day, she's like, "So you knew how to find the place?" I was like, "Yeah, this is
we
freaking
used
me
to
the
work
fuck
here."
out." You know? Anyway, let's have a look. So, what was it? How many tattoos? Can't do
What's
that.
the total cost?
Can't do that. It's percentage.
How many tattoos you've got?
Well, I don't know because it's like this arm's done, this arm's done.
Hold on.
Hands and stuff, so.
I would take a vague guess because I know him quite a while, and I've obviously seen you.
I don't really know the answer.
No, you've had at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You're looking at them as you count them, so that's cheating, surely.
I would say at least. I would say at least 10, but you don't have your back done or your chest.
I've got one on my back.
What?
I've got one across the back. I've got a wolf and a tribal thing on
Wolf
my
and
back.
tribal thing on the back. Like you haven't got anything all the way back.
I've got anything on my
your
chest.
legs
No,
aren't
that's
completely done yet either.
No.
No. So it's mainly just your
Mates
arms.
race. So this kind of sleeve here, I didn't actually pay for. A friend of mine did do it, and it's unfinished, and it's going to get blacked out and covered because that's just how I'm going to move forward. So rough estimate. I don't know, man. Okay, give me a second. Okay, there's at least all right. There's easily at least, based on the stuff that Sophie's done, and then this was quite a big piece of work. That was quite a big piece
Got
of
to be
work.
like 5.
Easily £1,000. I'm gonna say easily £1,000. Yeah. Because like when I get something that's a bit more sort of like detailed, like Frankenstein here, this one. I mean, I've got I can't pull this out. If I take this top off, I'm literally wearing a vest underneath, and I'm not doing that.
Take it off.
I know, right?
Take it off.
The one of Papa from Ghost here on my arm,
Nice.
and then I've got Tim Curry from Legend underneath there. That was recent. Like those are running like £200 a pop each. So I'm gonna.
Do you want to stretch the other one?
No, not really.
I mean, I
Those are all
don't,
my Batman
I don't
ones.
understand why you're blacking out your Batman ones.
No, it's just the Batman one here that I'm blacking out first. I don't know. It's just changed stuff. I'm gonna black some stuff out. But yeah, easily about £1,000, if not a little bit more. That I've spent on it. Mates race, yeah, I did get a lot of this done for free, I'm not going to lie, and then there's other one, you can't see, there's one that's part of this under here that I got with my best mate.
You should totally
when he signed up for the army, we had the same tattoos done.
You should totally get my face on your thigh.
I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
At all. Because
Why
for
would you get
one,
my
me and
face on your
Sandbags
thigh?
have got a tattoo planned actually because we're both getting Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd from Trading Places done.
That would make sense.
Nice.
Yeah, I am going to get a chest one done, and I've got an idea, once I've blacked this out, is I'm going to bring something down onto my chest that resembles the Fiend mask, and I am going to have the colour red and the word
Bray
black and white on the
Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt
Bray
style
Wyatt, yeah.
tattoo on my chest.
He's been playing WWE.
I'm
That's it. Oh my
learning.
god, I know a wrestler and it's not Triple H.
I learned something this year.
Fucking right. Yeah. Hey, listen. Once I've got my way, I'm like. I mean, I don't work customer facing, so I can do what I want. I want to. I do. I want to do the chest because I want to bring it up on my neck. That's what I want to do next. Is bring it up here. If I won the lottery,
nice.
oh my god.
Sleeved.
I do one of those things that people keep doing now, where they're having themselves put under an anaesthetic so they can have their whole fucking body tattooed.
Yeah. While they're under.
I swear to God, you must wake up from that like fucking
Ow!
Everything just stings.
Right.
Well, I would totally fucking do that. Yeah, man. Good question.
Great question.
Maybe
great
question my
question.
financial decisions.
2025, here he comes.
I'm under 100 still.
Yeah.
Great questions, and thank you for all the questions, because we cannot have this part of the podcast without your questions. And so if you are leaving Facebook, where we do accept most of the questions, you can ask them live during the podcast. And if you can't do that, if you are listening to this, join the YouTube, put a comment in on this posting when it does go on YouTube, put a comment in there, and I will persevere to make sure I do get questions from the YouTube comment section, because it's something I've overlooked way too often. But I will do that for those of you that are leaving Facebook. With that being said, this brings us to the end of the podcast.
Oh man,
think it is.
It's Christmas Eve tomorrow.
It's the last one of the year. It's
The
Christmas Eve
last
tomorrow
one.
for us right now. So I just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making off-the-shelf
Thank you.
reviews as
Thank
special
you.
as it is.
Thank you.
It means a lot.
you.
So thank you. Thank you so
you.
much. We hope
Thank
you
you.
have an awesome holiday
Thank you.
with family,
Thank you, sir.
friends, or if you do choose to do like I prefer to do, spend it by yourself, treat yourself, look after yourself. You're special. Thank you.
Protect your fucking
Thank
peace.
you.
That's what you
Thank
do.
Hell
you.
yes. Do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Just thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. This was Podcast 70. See you in the New Year's. We recap our best of 2024.
Spoilers, it's going to be Substance.
Substance 1.
Substance all the way. I might watch Substance for Christmas Eve.
You really should. It's fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucking masterpiece.
Cheers, everyone. Good night.